Yo, what's up? My name's Petrowski, and welcome back for the 16th installment in the Iron Man Progress series. If you happen to not know, the PokeMMO Iron Man is an account that cannot trade nor use the GTL, but still wants to engage in a lot of the endgame content like the upcoming raids, like a normal account and normal player would. For some reason, one day I woke up and I said, PokeMMO is not grindy enough, and I want to feel that old school sense of achievement, so I created the Iron Man. Almost entirely inspired by the old school RuneScape equivalent, which I am very familiar with, having a maxed Ultimate Iron Man on that lovely game. Which is why you hear so much of old school RuneScape music throughout this series. It's kind of my nod to them. But welcome to a new episode where we are starting with 426 OT Pokedex entries, 1.2 million Pokeyen, 27,000 BP after our last massive PvP arc, and then 681 hours played. Now, our goals for this episode may include, but are not limited to, playing a little bit more PvP since I have 4 days left until these rewards kind of switch over, so I could actually earn myself a vitamin pack and maybe even a extra free choice specs. But I don't see myself doing a whole lot of this since we just ended our PvP arc, and I think I've had enough after 80 games or so. I might play a few more games if I have some extra energy or time. But this episode is mostly going to be focused on two things. Number one, raid preparation. I want to be fully prepared for the upcoming raids. That is my number one priority in the upcoming event season. We still have around 2 months or so until it approaches, but I'm taking this prep very, very seriously. For those who don't know, raids are a 4-player cooperative activity, and I will be damned if the Iron Man, if I am the person bringing down my team, I will feel way too much shame. So I'm putting a lot of effort into creating fantastically powerful PVM Pokemon. On top of that, I might work towards some Pokedex progress, since getting the Pokedex complete is literally one of the most beneficial things I could possibly do for my account. Gotta catch 'em all is still a very strong slogan that stands true in PokeMMO. With the Pokedex complete, you get access to Mount Silver over in Johto, and that gives you one of the best shiny hunting spots at Larvitar, one of the best XP trading spots. That's the big one for the Iron Man. We do so much XP training. One of the best XP training spots, as well as some new EV training spots, a limited one-time static Alpha Tyranitar spawn. It's actually the only way an Iron Man can get Alpha Tyranitar from my knowledge. And I will only ever get one spawn at it, one catch, that's it. So I will treasure that thing dearly. But here's our goals list, just in case you haven't seen it enough. We have catch the legendary Pokemon on here. We're not going to be working on that this episode, don't worry. Amulet coin farming, Everstone farming. We should be good for a little bit. I do need to get back on my Jimmy runs. I don't want to be Jimmy running at all during event season. That's something I actually can do to prepare. I don't really need too much Pokeyen for event season as an Iron Man account. That's mostly a main account activity. However, if I need to breed up any Pokemon, I'm guessing there's going to be some competitive, some PVM Mons that I have to breed up last minute. And if I don't have like a ton of Pokeyen stocked up to breed those Mons for the braces or just buy Pokeballs, like I don't want to worry about Pokeyen during the event essentially. So stocking up with Jimmy runs and stuff prior is really, really important. As well as farming Apricorns. I want to go ahead and start doing that this episode as well. Just farm a few of them, since there are some really cool Pokeballs. If you don't know, the Apricorns are a mechanic over in Johto. You can get things like heavy balls or fast balls over with them, and sometimes it's very possible that those are meta during some of the specific event stuff. You wouldn't normally go for these. Let me actually move this really quick. You wouldn't normally go for these outside of like event season or for most activities. There is a heavy ball Ditto catching strat that I'm aware of, but I don't know if it's super worth it, just because these balls are so expensive, right? But on an Iron Man account, you just go farm the Apricorns yourself and you pay a flat fee and you make the balls. So hilariously, Apricorn balls might be one of the cheaper Pokeballs you can actually get on the Iron Man account. So I'm actually really curious if Heavy Ball is actually meta for catching Dittos with a certain Snorlax strategy. We'll have to explore that here in the future. I want to start things off just by farming those Apricorns. And you know what? When it comes to Apricorn farming, why wait? You can only farm them every so often. So here is our first Apricorn being picked ever on the Iron Man, I believe. One white Apricorn. I might have gotten some passively during the storyline though, but right now we only have 2 black Apricorns, 2 white, 1 pink, and 1 green. That is our starting count for this episode. I also still need to work towards that ability patch. I need to make sure that I get a fire ability patch before the event season begins, and if I don't, it'll be a nightmare. I would have worked hard for that 5x31 Charizard for no reason. I know I still have 2 months, but there's so much to do. Like I've been saying, oh, I still have 3 months, so it's plenty of time to prepare. And then I'm not ready yet. There's still so much to do. So I'm really in kind of entering that crunch time. Not quite yet. Once we enter that like October, once October begins, that's real crunch time. That's like 25 days left. And also I always try to tell people, you don't want to be grinding up until event season. That is how you burn out. You want to be done all of your preparation at least a week or 2 prior to Halloween, and then you can take a nice break from the game and come back refreshed for the event. Defeat HUUUGEEE 4 times will also almost guaranteed get completed in this episode since we have it ready to go, and we've done it 3 times. So one more time, which we have ready, will be our 4th. All right, but if I want to complete raids, I need to figure out exactly what raid Pokemon I need. I've been creating, breeding, training up, and making a bunch of raid Pokemon, sure, but I don't know exactly what I have. I need to make a list and catalog what I have and what I still need. And I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to do that by checking my main account and seeing what raid Pokemon I use over there, as well as checking my own guide called Every Raid Pokemon You Could Possibly Build in PokeMMO. If you're interested where I'm getting this information from, you can go double check it yourself. And that's how I came to this shocking realization. Wait a minute. Am I done? How could that be? How could I be done? I have essentially completed an entire raid fire type team. As you can see over on that left, that's the raid team that I use on my main account. And I essentially have it done on the Ironman account. The only difference, the only problem is the hidden ability Murkrow up there at that top left-hand corner. I can't get that without getting an alpha Honchkrow or alpha Murkrow spawn. Now, thankfully, you normally only need one Murkrow per team. So, if I don't get my hidden ability Murkrow by the time event season rolls around, it does put me at a disadvantage, but it's okay. Someone else can just run that role, and then I can run the Drought Ninetales to set Sun for my team. Other than that, I have 6 fire raid Pokemon. I'm just done. I have 3 special attackers, 4, 2 physical, and then other options as well. I'm literally ready to raid, aside from maybe some leveling to do, but I'm just speechless. This is the first raid fire type, the first raid team I've completed on the account, and I didn't even realize I was done. It just sort of happened. And I think this represents like so much of PokeMMO. If you just play the game, if you have fun, if you do things like set goals and passively do things, things get done. It's hard to not achieve things if you put hours into the game. Okay, so I accidentally built one raid team. So what? Well, that might not necessarily be it. I accidentally built and finished 2 full raid teams. The 2 most important teams any account can have. I did them. I'm done. And I didn't even notice. I was so focused on making progress, I didn't even take a second to stop and smell the roses. I didn't even realize I had achieved one of the biggest goals, one of the most important goals I had set out to do on the account. And I find that just fucking hilarious. Now, don't get me wrong. I still have to do some training. So this Metatite, for example, has to be fully EV trained. It's not EV'd at all. This Lucario needs to be XP trained up to level 80. This Primeape needs to get XP trained to level 80. Some of these might even need to get level 100. I believe the Darkrai fight might require level 100. I always kind of forget everything. There's just so much going on during events. It's hard to remember everything. But yeah, I'm basically ready to raid, which is insane. Aside from maybe some items. And that becomes the next step, is working on making sure I have more items. But with the BP acquired from the last PvP episode, I should be mostly good. The question becomes, what do I even do now? Don't you worry, there are still tons of things to do on the Iron Man, so we're going to go ahead and start things off by Apricorn farming like I was just talking about. And a quick shout out to PokeMMO and Angry Gorilla, who both made Apricorn guides, which are going to make this process a lot easier for me. So I'm going to go ahead and go follow their guides and see you guys with how much Apricorn progress we make. All right, I just completed my first ever Apricorn run on the Iron Man account. Here is the loot, what it looks like. We got about 3 or so of each, not too shabby, 6 blacks, which is nice. I think those make one of the better ones. I think that's the, yeah. Oh, if you hover over each of them, it tells you. Red is for level ball, blue is for lore ball, yellow moon ball, green friend ball, pink love ball, white fast ball, and black heavy ball. These are still like a newer mechanic in PokeMMO to me. I haven't really explored these too much. The Iron Man is a perfect excuse to go ahead and learn about this. And then you go talk to this guy over in Azalea Town to the top left of the town, and you can give him the Pokeballs, and you can pay a price, and you'll craft them into the Pokeballs. Now, I don't need to do that yet. We're going to keep just stocking up Apricorns for fun, and eventually we'll turn them into the Pokeballs. But for now, we're chilling. All right. I didn't want to make this clip until I was done Amulet coin farming, but this has been a generational travesty. Oh look, I was gonna finish this fight, but I found another Quick Claw, so there's no reason for me to even stay. It's the only item frisked here. I'm just gonna run after this battle. I have been Amulet coin farming for around 4 to 5 hours, pretty inefficiently and casually off camera. And I started with 7 Amulet coins, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to farm to 21 Amulet coins. That will get me up to a goal complete, I believe, as well as get myself a ton of Amulet coins for the foreseeable future. I'm at 16 Amulet coins. I've been farming for over 5 hours. My luck has been atrocious, like insanely, ridiculously, ludicrously bad. I have 63 Quick Claws. I have gotten so many quick claws and so few amulet coins. It's just been hilarious. And I think I'm just gonna keep going. Like, I want to really meet this amulet coin metric, but I had to show you guys. It had been too long. All right, and it finally happened. I finally finished it. Dude, I don't know why this grind was a nightmare this time. I think just RNG happened. I can leave this fight and go take this amulet coin off of my Weavile. I farmed 14 amulet coins. That is a tier 1 goal achieved. That is 2 more weeks of gym running. But dude, that took a stupid amount of hours. I'm pretty sure that took like 6 hours, if not even 7 hours. I think I started with 681 hours played at the start of this episode, and now I'm at 688. What happened? That was, I was inefficient, and I did AFK at times, and like I've had a very, very chill weekend work-wise. I had a lot of other IRL obligations comes up, as I'm sure you understand. But dude, what happened? That was such a weird, just one of the weirdest grinding sessions I've ever had to do. It took me so long to get, I think it literally took me 6 hours to get 14 amulet coins, which is insane. Now, the fucked up thing is, even if that shouldn't be the average, that just felt unlucky. Even if that was the average, I think that's still worth it. Because I think the math is, as long as I can get over 2 amulet coins an hour, which obviously 14 in 6 hours is more than 2, as long as you're able to do that, it's still worth it. Because you're gaining 50% Poke Yen per gym rerun. You're essentially saving 30 minutes every time you use an amulet coin. That's the way you got to think about it, at least on an Ironman account, right? On a main account, it's different. You factor in Poke Yen, you factor in like the cost of the coins, you're just buying them. But on an Ironman account, every single amulet coin you see represents 30 minutes of time save. That's really powerful, even if it takes 6 hours to get these. But you know what? That's a goal achieved. We'll take it. I also ended up with 67 quick claws, for anyone wondering. I think I must have started this with like a 30-ish count, maybe 40. I didn't gain all of that, but I gained double quick claws to amulet coins, way more for sure. All right, yo, what's up? It's another beautiful morning over on the Ironman account. I finally got a haircut. It only took 8 months, okay? Now, this is our to-do list for today. We have the HUUUGEEE Refight to start things off with, get some more legendary lures for the visual, just to collect them in the thing for fun, I guess. We are working on, we're getting those rainbow quills. Once we get one of those, like Entei, ideally in October, it's going to be massive to have all these prepped for that. We're going to do the gym rerun after that. We're going to work on our Pokedex. I think right now, I have way more raid Pokemon ready than I realized. That's what's been so crazy to wrap my head around. I really just want to work on the Pokedex, specifically the Johto Pokedex, and going for that fire ability patch. To have that for my raid Charizard specifically is going to be beautiful. So we're going to do all of our daily progress orientated sort of day, okay? Nothing like super flashy, super exciting, to be totally honest with you. That's a lot of, it's an MMO, man. It's a grindy game. I'm not gonna tell you guys every morning, oh my god, today's gonna be insane, we're gonna change everything, we're gonna unlock the craziest fucking, like, some days it's like, okay, we do our daily stuff, we do what we put in the work, we get the rewards, we use those rewards for the crazy days later down the line. That's the truth of the matter. So let's go ahead and jump into the HUUUGEEE fight. All right, there is HUUUGEEE defeated. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 10 more rainbow quills, 3 more legendary lures, 6 stocked up. Also, hey, that was the 4th time I've done HUUUGEEE, which is like a tier 2 or some sort of goal, some sort of short-term goal. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I don't know what I'll change this to. I'll probably up this to maybe like 10 times beaten, We will reach a point where we stop doing HUUUGEEE. We don't do HUUUGEE forever. Like, I mean, you could do it for fun, for like the legendary lures, to like stacking up the legendary lures on an Ironman account is a cool goal. Maybe in hopes of like a new legendary coming out. Like, that honestly is the best reasoning. But once we get a certain amount of legendary lures stocked up, it becomes like, what's the point, once you have enough rainbow quills, once I have enough rainbow quills to like adjust every legendary, we're pretty far from that, don't get me wrong, but we will reach a point, is what I'm saying, where we stop doing them, versus like we'll almost never reach a point when like gym runs stop. We always need Poke Yen. We're always gonna need more Poke Yen. And speaking of, let's go get our gym run ready and go work on that. Perfect timing for that. All right, let's finally pop some of these amulet coins. I'm excited to get started on these. I farmed these up recently. These took forever. I couldn't believe how long they took to farm. Oh my god, they were a pain in the butt. But we got them, so now we can actually make our Poke Yen. So every amulet coin used is 30 minutes saved. It's so nice, dude. It is so good. It saves you so much time. It is so worth it. We're going to be XP trading with our Reamplifier. We're going to be XP trading our raid Lucario in the back as well. So, we're, you know, this level 40 into a lot of levels. On level 46, we're making some Pokeyen, we're making some progress, and we're leveling a raid Pokemon. All right, gym rerun done, up to 1.4 million Pokeyen, and Lucario got up to level 66. That is not too shabby. Now, I'm looking for something a little chill and brain dead to do while I talk about movies for a little bit on stream. So, I think we're gonna head over to Hoenn and just do a little bit of like casual XP training in the background. Might not even make too many moves. And then after that, we'll go work on our Pokedex a bit more. All right, it is time to make a little bit of Pokedex progress on the Iron Man. We're mostly focusing on the Johto Pokedex to try to complete that, get a fire patch. We're going to wait on Magnezones. I want to make a competitive Magnezone, so I don't have any interest in like going to catch one right now and just get a Pokedex entry. We'll save that for when I want to breed up a good one and evolve it, right? We don't need to worry about stuff like that. You know, I don't see myself making a good Magmoarter anytime soon. Well, I could for raids. This starts to like beg the question of what mons should I wait and save and yada yada yada. Like Jinx, I actually do want a good one, but it needs to be hidden ability access. So I need to wait for an alpha Jinx spawn. Because alpha Jinx, dry skin Jinx was used in the Suicune raid. Yeah, which is tough. Alpha Suicune. But for now, I'm going to head over to Pokemon Mansion, and I believe Magby should be a lore spawn here, maybe Magmar as well. Should I run back and forth in this early part of the mansion and see if we find anything? Oh, hell yeah. Okay, that wasn't too bad. We were worried that it wasn't even findable at this, like, floor. We didn't know because the Pokedex doesn't say. We didn't know what floor Magby would be on. So I'm honestly just happy we found it. We were worried we wouldn't be able to find it. So hopefully no takedown. I probably should have spored first. I specifically wanted to come to this Magby, not the uncommon spawn, because this one's level 36 in the wild. So that allows me to catch it, level it up once, then get a Magmar OT Dex, and then if I want to, I can evolve it into Magmoarter as well. Maybe I'll breed it down first. I'm not sure. Like, build a decent one for raids. I probably can breed a good Magmoarter for raids, like really, like just just 31 attack, 31 speed, modest, or even like I might build a really whatever Magmoarter and just take the time to do it because it's just so easy. And I have plenty of breeders, so just take advantage of it. We can Dust Ball this, I believe, but this should hopefully be a pretty easy catch. See, with the stats will matter. All right, there's the Magby caught. Let's check the stats. Hardy Nature's nothing, but that's okay. No real stats, but not a big deal. This should be a pretty easy breed. I actually do want to level it up into a Magmar, evolve it. I do actually want to kind of breed this up over time. So we'll keep this for now. I'm going to like write on it, like keep for Magmoarter. Can I even fit it? Keep for Magmore. Close enough. All right. We could go level it up now, or we could go move on to another Pokemon and do that later. I kind of want to go at least level it up now and look for like the first breed. We can finish the breed later on. Let's go Hoenn really quick for a quick XP. One Horde should do it. All right, here's the evolution on our Magby. This will do two things. It will give us a Magmar OT in our Pokedex, which is huge. Also, we started at 426 Pokedex caught OT before this little grind, and now we're at 428 after this Magmar evolves. Perfect. And now we can go ahead and go get a Ditto, redo this Magmar. I think Magmoarter generally goes special. I'm going to double check its base stats, though. Okay, dude, honestly, Magmoarter is faster than I thought. 83 base stat speed is not bad. I thought it was like 60-something. 125 base attack, 83 base speed. Definitely going to build this as a special attacker. Like Flamethrower, Thunderball, you know, whatever it can. It has some insane coverage. Whatever it can do, and just use it as a backup, like fire raid. This is a totally viable raid mon. So, and it should be a pretty cheap. I don't need to go defenses on it. I'm not going to make a good Magmoarter like it's just for raids. Okay. We need Dittos for sure. Let's go check if we can find ourselves. Do we even want to do 31s? Do we want to try to like high roll one of the Spatach or the speeds? I would just look up any Ditto with like a 31. Why is this Ditto over in the... I need to look through this box a bit more clearly. I thought this was... I almost bred this Ditto. That means I almost bred this Ditto as a rare shiny roll. I thought I looked through these. I might need to like double check these. Like that's a 31. What the fuck? Okay. I might need to check these Dittos. I thought I checked these and came to the conclusion that these didn't have any stats. Let me just go. I'm gonna do it right now. We'll do it live. Fuck it, we do it live. Okay, the rest is fine. It's just those two. That's so weird. Okay. Move these over here. Okay. We just need any Ditto with 31 attack, no other stats. It doesn't need to be that good. And then we can get a field, or is it field group? Actually, you know what we should do? Humanoid. Okay, humanoid's a little bit different. Before I get a Ditto, we should check egg group, humanoid. What Mons do I have? Humanoid, male, 31 attack or speed. See how many breeders I have. See if any of them have like natures. Plan out the breed a few more steps in advance before I just go through with it. Oh my god, I have no humanoid breeders. What? I haven't put this at... I have 0 humanoid breeders besides my competitive Mon with a 131 attack or speed. How do I have like 8 boxes of breeders and then 0 of certain egg groups? That's crazy. Okay, anyways. Oh no, wait, I'm dumb. Oh, I'm just bad at the video game. I had Ditto typed. Okay, whatever, mind. We have a few. Still not that many. No, we have a few. Okay, we have a few. Okay, perfect. Okay. We've got... This is 2 times 31. 3 times. Don't want to use that. This is perfect. I might use this. Oh, but it has all the other stats. I don't want to waste those on a Magmoarter. Oh, now it becomes the meme. What about this? This is perfect. 31 speed. 15. A little lower. 31 speed. Probably this. Okay, so what we learned is we have some 31 speed humanoid breeders, but basically no 31 attack. So I'm going to go grab that Gothorita. That's exactly what I want. I'm going to look for a Ditto. A shitty Ditto with 31 attack, and that's it. Probably just this. Or this, I guess, works as well. It's also equally bad. We'll grab that. We start with this breed, putting 31 attack on it. We'll add the 31 speed after, and we'll have to figure out the nature in the future, but that'll be a different, a task for a different day. Okay, I did not know it was going to cost 9k to make this. That's a little annoying. And then I have to level this all the way up to 30 just to be able to breed it back down. Baby Pokemon suck, dude. Okay, we're going to do it, though. We're going to go for it. We're going to breed that. We'll level up the fear. While that's hatching, let's go get ourselves a new Pokedex entry. I'm on the way to the Jinx spawn. I was about to say, there's no way I have Delibird in my decks, right? If we could just catch this, perfect. I'm on my way to, trying to get a single encounter Jinx here as well. Get Delibird done. Jinx. I don't know if Delibird's in the Johto Dex, but a fantastic one to get. Get a few Dex entries over here at Ice Path and Johto. All right, Delibird caught. Not bad IVs. I don't know if I'll end up, it'll be like a flying A group breeder. Whoa, sorry. Water A field. It's a penguin, I guess. Can't fly. Water A field. 31 attack. We'll take it. Why not? My nightmare is ice puzzles, but you got to do what you got to do. This one's like really easy, to be fair, I think. Well, let's see. Can 10,000 hour player beat ice puzzle? Challenge level impossible. Ooh, I want to get that though. We could get, okay, we can do this. Can I get the Pokeball? Nah, I don't think I can. Too hard for me. We're looking for Jinx now. Now, this spot at the very bottom of Ice Path like this is actually, I think this is where you shiny hunt, or maybe up one more ladder actually, but you would shiny hunt. It's a 50-50 horde spot between Jinx and Delibird, and I've been here for a fair bit. I got one Jinx and never got the Delibird. Both cool shinies, but I was going for Delibird for sure. Jinx is not a bad fail though. I'm gonna go ahead and we got our Jinx horde. We're gonna seed bomb a bunch of these down so I can just catch one of them. And then just get that Jinx and then hopefully breed it down into, what's the name of the Smoochum as well, and get that Pokedex entry done. All right, but here is the Jinx caught. We'd love some nice IVs on it. Once again, like Dry Skin Jinx has been a raider in the past. Nothing worth noting here, but that's totally okay. Can't expect that on every catch. I'm going to go ahead and escape rope out of here. Always nice to have a few escape ropes on you. That is another Pokedex entry. I do want to go try to as well breed down the Jinx. I don't think this one needs Incense, but I always forget what Baby Mons need Incense, which ones don't. I'm going to try to just breed like a Ditto and just try to breed it down into the Smoochum and get a free Pokedex entry that way. We'll also go grab our Magby, which is hatched. All right, random Ditto, random Shitto with the Jinx. Boom. Just a nice little Smoochum breed. Just wanted for OT Pokedex. Love to do that. And then we have our our Magby. How'd it come out? Serious nature, no nature roll, no other IV rolls. Totally fine, as expected. I love look at the color on the Smoochum egg. That was one of the coolest dumb little updates that they did, but I love is the different colored eggs. It just adds so much style to the game. It's so cool to see. Breaks up the monotony. We're gonna go grab that Magby. We're gonna like passively XP train him, but I think for now, this is honestly going to get moved over here just for future things. And then this Delibird will get moved over to some breeder box. God, I have so many way too many breeder boxes. All right, and now we're gonna wait for that Smoochum to hatch, but on top of that, there is an Absol spawn right now. This is perfect timing to go get an, I don't have Absol on my Pokedex. Go get Absol on my Pokedex, as well as you have a chance for Life Orbs. It's very rare, but you have a small chance to get a Life Orb Absol, so that would be amazing here. A free Life Orb would be so, so good. I literally was saying, like, oh yeah, I think that Absol has some fucky-wucky move. Is it like Takedown or Double Edge or what is it? It's fucking Perish Song. This goddamn loser has Perish Song. I don't know if he had a Life Orb. I couldn't catch him. It is what it is. I literally spored him instantly and he stayed asleep and then he insta woke up and immediately Perish Song. It is what it is. I'm gonna go heal up. And I'm going to grab a Friskmon as well. So after I catch the one Absol, I can just Frisk check the other ones. But there's only so much. You could spam Taunt, but it's just... It's one of those things where it's not that serious. You should be able to get one. It's faster to just fail a few. And then eventually, you know... I would say sometimes people like over-efficient size, I think, some of these catches. I could bring a Taunt Pokemon. It's just not needed. Unless it's got Shiny, you know, but you can Master Ball it. I'm gonna grab a Friskmon. Here we go. Yes, that's funny. That Absol used 2 moves that whole fight, and both were Perish Song. That is quite funny. Okay, let's head over for Absol number 2. Attempt number 2. There we go. Okay, we did catch an Absol. There we go. In an Ultra Ball, not too bad. The other ones were tough catches, man. We will take it. That is our Pokedex entry for Absol. No IVs, no Life Orb, totally fine. We're gonna lead with Frisk for the next ones. The only shitty thing that could happen, there's a really funny situation where if we frisked a Life Orb and then on turn 1 they Perish Song, I might lose the Life Orb. And there's a question like, what do you do there, you know? No Frisk proc. All right, no Life Orbs. It's a really, really rare chance, so that's expected. I'm gonna go ahead. I keep getting asked in chat, oh, why no Dust Balls, Petrowski? I'm just out, guys. So I'm gonna go buy some more. We need to stock up on Pokeballs anyway. This is a good excuse / good time to go stock up on some Pokeballs. All right, I need a ton of dust balls. I've been understocked for a very, very long time. I'm going to just bite the bullet, buy 200 of them. I use them in caves. I use them in nighttime. I use them for Ditto farming, to start Ditto farming. This is a lot of them, but we need a lot. I'm going to go for it, man. We want balls more than anything right now. So grab a bunch of those. Net balls I can always stock up on as well. I'm just going to go like 27 or 17 up to 50. No. Let's do like 77. Up to 110. That's a random number, but sure. Nest balls I use for catch events. I'm at 145. I'm pretty happy with that amount for now. Timer balls, you literally, the most used ball on the account, timers, always need more of those. I'm gonna buy up to 200. I'm spending a lot of yen right now. I just spent like 500k, but there's a lot of, you know, you need to catch stuff. Everything else is probably go by like 3 dream balls. This is all probably good. We'll stop there for the time. A lot of poke yen spent, but on required resources. Dude, how do we get like 5 Pokedex entries? Wait, no. Wait, yeah. 432 from like 427? Or no, 426? We did 6 Pokedex entries like wickedly fast. I'm really happy with that. That was like not long at all for those. Hell yeah, okay. So we still have some like easy Pokedex entries to do, which feels amazing. We need to do Elekid. That's kind of annoying. Elekid, and we still have some like rare spawns. Elekid, Electivire. Electivire is another model where I could make like a really easy like vault, like a really fine enough Raidmon, like pretty easily. We'll probably do that. Oh, is that our Smoochum? Our Smoochum hatched. That's an extra. We'll release that. We added that to the deck. We'll release it later on. We need a XATU caught. And we need a Quillfish. Quillfish is like a decent fish. I think we could end today's little progress on Quillfish. I feel like that's a good little dawn fishing. I think it's kind of a wholesome little end. It's kind of like an uncommon spawn. Let's go Super Rod. Where do we want to go? Super Rod route. Where are we at? We're in Unova right now. There's no Unova spawn. There's somewhere over in Kanto. I'll see you guys at a cool little fishing location. All right, there we go. There's the Quillfish encounter. Shouldn't be too bad. Oh, please don't have take. This like, took me a sec to get. Okay. I was like, oh no, don't have takedown. Should be a decently easy catch, hopefully. Yes, that's a good fun fact. Oh, so fun fact, Quillfish was one of the few shinies not caught during Shiny War. There was only like 7 shinies not caught during War, and this was one of them, which is really funny. There we go. There's our Quillfish caught. No IVs. Totally okay. Just add it to the Pokedex. That brings us up to 433 caught OT. And then we're at in Johto Dex 236. We're 20 away from the Johto Dex, which unlocks our Raid Charizard fully. That I'm excited. Well, actually, no, we need less than that. We don't need to catch. Legendaries do not count towards OT Dex completion, so you don't even need that. I don't have Aerodactyl. Wait a minute. I have my old Amber, don't I? I can just go get that right now. Okay, I was going to end on Quillfish, but let's go. There's literally 0 things stopping me from just going to revive that old Amber right now. Let's just go do it. All right, here it is. One of the easiest Pokedex entries we'll ever see. An old Amber fossil revived into an Aerodactyl. Where do I see the stats? Look, it says on my PC. Let's just go grab it. We already have Ammonite and Kabuto, both of those full lines. We don't need to worry about that. I think we can just release this Absol. There's no use for this. Same with the Delibird that should be in here. No, not the Delibird. The Smoochum. Let me go throw the Smoochum in my box and release that before I forget, because otherwise I'll forget. And then the Quillfish we can also release. Sorry, fella. And then the Aerodactyl. Oh, I revived the storyline one, so it's just 15. I do have another one. I think I went and picked up an extra old Amber. So I actually did have 2. One's the 15 IVs across, one's the but I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna like slowly save fossils on the Iron Man account, and then if I ever one day need breeders, need them for some reason, want to shiny hunt a Fossilmon, have donator status or a shiny charm for some forsaken reason, I'm just gonna hold on to them for now. There's no reason to pop them. I'm just gonna save them. So I'd love to see like how high our fossil stat can get passively over the years. Would be kind of funny. All right, we're here for the off-stream Iron Man progress. Still working on the Pokedex. We got ourselves a good spawn for Elekid, okay? Elekid is over here at Route 10 in Kanto. We can go ahead and pop a lore. Should be easy peasy. Get ourselves an Elekid, and then we can eventually evolve it up if we really want to. But I'm going to be honest, it might... Did I get a first encounter? Wait a minute. Okay, no, it's a Sandshrew. Faked me out. I'm going to be so honest, though. Elekid, if I catch it, you know, it's level what in the wild? Level 18. I'd have to level... I think I'm just going to catch Elekid in the wild, and then just also go catch Electivire in the wild. Or I could wait until I breed up a good raid Electivire. There's so many things to consider here. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I'm going to do the 2 lures. I think it's easy. I'm going to just hard. There's so much lawn planning you could do on the Iron Man where you start entering like analysis paralysis, you know? So, you know, oh, okay, we're so lucky. There we go. Second encounter, third encounter, second encounter. Elekid, we're going to catch this. We're going to go to the power plant, do the same thing for Electivire. All right, there's the Elekid catch. Let's check these IVs. If there is something usable on here, we will use it. Nope, it's trash. We're going to head over to the power plant. Apparently, you can also go lure encounter Electivire, the evolved one, over at the power plant. It requires an an electric box to evolve. So, you know what? We're going to save one of those items. Use it in the... I think I should have 1. We have 2. We're going to save one, though, use it in the future, and just go lure encounter one over in the power plant. All right, that did not take too long at all, thankfully. Here's a nice double encounter with that Electivire. We're getting pretty lucky on these lore species. They should be about a 5% chance or so. All right, we got the Electivire caught, and then also got a free electric box on top of it. Hell yeah. Now, we started today at 426 caught OT. We're up to 436. We have 10 new entries. Now, I'm going to go XATU next. I'm going to be a little weird. I could go headbutt this over in Johto, but headbutting stuff is a pain in the butt, and it's really inconsistent. I'd rather just go Ruin Valley where I know it spawns and go for the rare spawn there. It's kind of weird, but I don't think it's that rare of a spawn. I've shiny hunted at that spot a fair bit, so I know the spawns pretty well as I have a chance there for Jolteon, which would be an awesome wild catch. The only downside of the spot is you run into Shadow Tag Wobbuffet. So I'm either going to want a high-level Ghost type, which I think is what I'm going to grab, to avoid the Shadow Tag, because otherwise that becomes a massive pain in the butt getting trapped in multiple battles. You know what? I actually already have a high-level Ghost type in my party, the Frisk Bayonet. That honestly works perfectly. And before we go, I'm going to throw this Elekid over in my box and just release it, keeping that PC box space nice and healthy. Same with the Electivire. I also caught an extra Electabuzz. Both of these have no stats. I literally caught the whole line, just passively, I guess, but now we're releasing them all. All right, I should have showed the fight, but I did not think it would actually matter. I was single encountering my way down to, obviously, the spot, the Ruin Valley location for the Natu and the Jolteon, and I ran into a random Slowpoke, and I got a Frisk proc. So I was like, you know what? I got a Frisk proc. I'm going to thief it. Why not? And I got a Lagging Tail. Lagging Tail is a really, really weird item. Lagging Tail is an item you put on a Pokemon to make it slower. Now, you would normally never want that. However, Lagging Tail is actually crucial for helping sketch moves onto Smeargle and other utility things. So this is my first ever Lagging Tail on the Iron Man. I actually needed this in the past for sketching, so this makes a lot of that way easier from this point forward. This is actually a really random, like, good item to Frisk Thief. That's actually so sick. That's just like the representation of the Iron Man, dude. Randomly single encountering your way down to a different spot, and on the way there you randomly thief a Pokemon. I'm gonna thief, why not? You randomly thief a Pokemon and all of a sudden get an item that's gonna be like massively helpful for the rest of your account. It's so funny. It's just so interesting. There's a Bidroot, sure, that's not anything crazy, but we'll take it. There's so much room for progress. There's so much room for growth on the Iron Man, where it doesn't always feel that way on a main account. Are you kidding me? Within a few encounters I got the XATU? My luck today has been stupid. That is like, that's supposed to be like a rare spawn, like a few percentage, but I do feel like it's kind of misleading. I do think it is like less rare than it implies, but that is still very lucky. Happy to see that. And there is the XATU catch. Hell yeah. Another big Dex entry out of the way. I could stay here for Jolteon. I might stay here for Jolteon. I think I'm going to stay here for a quick sec for a Jolteon. Honestly, not bad stats as well. Rash, and then 20 plus in like 3 of the stats that it needs. It needs defense and speed as well, but not too shabby. Okay, my luck was really good on these lore species until now. My luck has been so rotten on this Jolteon encounter that I had to double check. I was like, wait a minute, is it even at this location? I've been running back and forth here for quite a while on lores and no Jolteon yet, but obviously, you know, luck's gonna balance out. You can only be so lucky for so long. So if we have to sit here for a few hundred encounters for the Jolteon, so be it. All right, there it is. That took quite a while, but you know what? That's the one Jolteon catch we'll ever need. All right, there is our Jolteon catch. It'd be a cool mon to have some decent stats on. This could be a budget, like, raid Pokemon against, like, the Gyarados raid or certain things. I mean, 31 HP, it's not the worst. You know what? I'll take this. It's not amazing. Hasty nature. It's got 20 plus in a few stats. If we breed up that Spatak, we can make this somewhat usable. All right, but that's probably it for today. I'm taking a pretty chill time on PokeMMO recently. I mean, don't worry, I'll still be making my Iron Man progress, but as it's the off season, I'm trying to treat it as such. Event season is going to be hectic. It is going to be like, there's gonna be a fire under my ass at all times. It's gonna be so busy. I'm probably gonna be playing PokeMMO, I kid you not, like 14, 16 hours a day. I'm gonna be on top of everything during event season. So because of that, let's take the time to relax while we can and actually strategically plan around that. But we ended up getting up to 438 caught OT, so we gained 12 Pokedex entries today pretty casually and comfortably. All right, it's getting a bit later, but I've been mulling over and looking through a lot of the old raid information for PokeMMO, and I'm probably going to make a whole video about this topic because I think I have a really solid list of only 20 Pokemon that you need to make, which honestly I say only, but 20 is a lot of Pokemon, a lot of competitive good PVM mons to have, but you really don't need that good of stats. Don't worry about that too much when it comes to raids, but the 20 Pokemon that you need to actually do all Halloween raids, I should have a video or guide out on that by the time you guys are watching this video, but more importantly, here is some of that information. So I actually went through and I compiled every single Halloween raid, and then the team that either I or Cav, it was 2 different content creators, myself and Cav, shout out to him, he makes my favorite raid guides during the Pokemon Halloween, or all the event seasons. But here is the, for example, for Galvantula, there's the Galvantula raid, and then we used, or I forget if it was, I think this was me, I don't remember who this was, might have been him. So yeah, credit to Cav for a lot of his work. But Alpha Drought Ninetales is the lead. Then you have your Moltres as your backup, your fire damage, your Charizard, your Chandelure, your Typhlosion, and then your Archeops. That is a Pokemon that I don't have. Next up, you have your Baynet raid, which had Archeops lead, which allows you to set Tailwind and do stuff like that. Torkoal is, I believe, just there for Sun. I think that this was my team. You can tell because I didn't have, I believe I didn't have a Drought Ninetales quite yet. So I just used that to set Sun. Did the same thing at the time, basically. Not as much damage, but we're upgraded now. Typhlosion, Blaziken, Volcarona, Darmanitan, and then next up, Hypno raid, and that used Streens, Prankster, Sableye, Honchkrow with Sucker Punch, Heracross, Crocodile, Spiritomb, and Shiftry. Next up, we had the Golurk raid. This is all the Halloween raids. The Golurk raid, which consisted of Pelipper, Crawdaunt, Empoleon, Vaporeon, Blastoise, Samurott. You don't need these exact mons for a lot of these. You just need, like this one is a good example. You just need like water types, like decent water types that can do a lot of damage. Next up, Scolipede, Typhlosion. Scolipede raid used Typhlosion, Darmanitan, Volcarona, Blaziken, Houndoom, and Murkrow. The Houndoom was once again kind of just like an extra fire type to slot in. I don't think you need Houndoom specifically. Mandibuzz was a raid I forgot about, though. Kind of a weird one. Rampardos, Murkrow with Prankster, Tailwind, Magnezone. That's a mon I need to make. I'm thinking about that, working at that. Zapdos, we got that, thankfully. Pikachu with Light Ball, we have that, thankfully. And then an Ampharos as well. And then next up, we have 2 more raids. This is the 7th raid, so there's 8 total raids. There's 7 main raids, and then the Darkrai raid itself. Here's the Absol raid, which I used Scizor, Breloom, Medicham, Machamp, which is not great, but it was just used at the time. Machamp, Volcarona, and Blaziken. You don't need to use the best mons or the most perfect mons for raids. You just have to do good enough to get it killed. That's, really what it comes down to. And then the Darkrai, Blaziken, Volcarona, Durant, Darmanitan, Medicham, and Mienshao. So, looking over this and compiling a list of mons I still need on the Iron Man, I came up with this list. All right, so this is the list of raid Pokemon that I for sure, not even for sure, but like, I think I very much still need on the Iron Man account. The Archeops for sure. I feel like I'm really confident on that one. I'm definitely gonna have to get an Archeops, and that'll be a tough Pokemon to get. I'm gonna have to fossil farm in one of like the rarest fossil spawn regions in PokeMMO. And then the Magnezone I've wanted to make for a while. Technician, Breloom, Water Spout, Blastoise I've been putting off for my Jimmy run. This is a good excuse to go ahead and do that. We have multiple different Alpha Crawdaunt's Quants, so I have to just breed one of those up. Durant would be used for Darkrai, and then Samurott as a water and fighting type attacker. And then these 2 are down here because they're a little bit awkward. Ampharos needs hidden ability, and that's just kind of caught during the Lunar New Year event, so there's not really a way for me to get this, I think, as an Iron Man until the event season comes around. So not a whole lot I can do about that. And then Murkrow, I need to wait for an alpha spawn of a Honchkrow, and that's been tough. I don't think I've seen one, or I've missed one. Yeah, that one's out of my control. I'll keep an eye out, but that is my current updated list of new raid Pokemon I need on the Iron. And of course, completing my Pokedex would help with all of that. It would speed up the EV training, massively speed up the XP training, which is a huge time sink right now, so we still have plenty to do. And I'm kind of at this point of just trying to nail out a list like this, nail out a list of what I want to do, and then just take it step by step. Sometimes I give myself too many things to do, and then I get scatterbrained, and it's hard to achieve any one thing to a very finite degree, right? So I want to go ahead and just nail down one Pokemon, one Raidmon to build, and just focus on it, or just work on Pokedex progress. Pick one thing and stick to it for the day. All right, but all those raid Pokemon are a problem for another day. Today, we're going to focus on just continuing what we started. I want to go finish this Magby breed. I'm kind of just chilling out for a late night, so a little bit of XP training over in Hoenn to get this thing up to level 30. Shouldn't be a problem. I honestly love late night XP training. XP training to help yourself, make yourself fall asleep. The best way to do it. There is also, however, a Lumineon swarm over here in Kanto, so I'm going to go take advantage of that and go catch one of the most forgettable Pokemon in all of Pokemon really quick for the Pokedex, because otherwise I'll probably forget that it exists and never get the entry. The thing is so rare and niche, I didn't even have it seen in my Pokedex. So when I tried to look up Lumineon, I literally couldn't before. Now I can at least see it in the dex itself. This should be a pretty easy False Swipe, Spores, multiples. If it has Takedown, whatever, we can get another one. False Swipe, Spore into like a net ball. All right, there is the catch itself. Any good IVs would be nice, but we really want to just breed this down into, I believe, a Finneon. Also, we just gained some XP on our Magby. Hell yeah, some free XP on the way. Why not? I want to see the stats, though, on this thing, please. Come on, Magby. Get through your moves. All right, here we go. Let's check them out. Male Lumineon. Wow! I mean, I'm really glad I checked the stats. What the fuck, dude? That is sick. 31 HP, 20 plus in every physical stat. That will be a phenomenal breeder. The only downside is that it's only in the water B age group, which is kind of an awkward age group. I'm going to go ahead and try to catch one more Lumineon, so I don't have to, because I don't want to breed that one down for Finneon. I want to catch a shitty Lumineon and just breed with a Shitto to get it down to a Lumineon. This one will be kept. This will be a nice actual breeder in the boxes. All right, there we go. A mediocre enough Lumineon to just breed down for a Finneon. Even this one is arguably worth keeping as a breeder. It's 20 plus attack, 30 speed, and then rash nature. So it's a really good special attack breeder. I'm going to catch one more Lumineon just in case. The problem is, when am I going to need a special attacking water B age group Pokemon? I doubt ever. I'm going to go check the list really quick, but I doubt ever, or very rarely. Okay, you know what? I am going to keep that Lumineon. Do you know why? There is one singular reason I might need a special attacking Water B age group Pokemon. And that one singular reason is possibly, perhaps, for a Wailmer / Wailord breeder with Water Spout that could also breed with Artillery or whatever. Some sort of Water Spout egg group breeder to get over to my Blastoise. I'm going to keep this just in case I need to do that for some reason, but we should be fine. I doubt we'll... Usually with egg moves, you want to breed the egg moves onto a Pokemon that has 0 stats, and then breed the stats on after. Because once you get the egg move onto the Pokemon, it'll sit there forever. It'll always stay there. But there is a list of Water B egg group mods if you want to see it, but it's not very powerful Pokemon, of course, as you would expect. Here we can browse the list in the background as I throw this net ball to catch this last Lumineon, but it's not very good mons. You know, Golding, Seeking. Lantern is interesting. I would love a Lantern comp, honestly, for NU, but I don't see myself doing that for a very long time. There's tons of other breeders in that egg group. Not super worried about it. Carvana, Sharpedo. I do want a Sharpedo, but I don't need to use a breeder like this. And what is it's still a pretty good catch. Like, all of these Lumineons are like quite good. It's so weird. Should I just catch the 4th one? This has to be a sign. I'm gonna catch the 4th one as well. I guess we're just using all of our time here, whatever. But like Sharpedo, Barboach, Whiscash. It's a very small egg group, honestly. You can see like in total, there's 1, 2. Actually says 34 Pokemon are in this egg group, and that's out of you guys can't see that. One sec. Sorry. That's also out of the full 1,000 Pokemon that exist. Yeah, this actually tells me there are only 34 Pokemon in this egg group out of all 1,000 Pokemon. And there's obviously less of those in PokeMMO. Like, we don't have Bruxish, like all this shenanigans. So this cuts out, oh man, how many? Also Basculin in like multiple different forms. You'd cut out like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 there. And then cut out Palafin, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 out of the 34 Pokemon aren't in PokeMMO. Wow. Yeah, there's just not that many Pokemon with this egg group, but the ones that matter with special attacking ends up being things like Wailord, Octillery for that, you know, that stuff. Weirdly, Gyarados/Magikarp is in the egg group as well. That's honestly one of the biggest benefits. So you could actually use Lumineons to breed them over into the Dragon egg group, right? So you basically can breed a male Lumineon with a female Magikarp, breed up the stats, and then end up breeding that Carp over to like a Garchomp or a Hydreigon for special attacking. So there is breeding over to transferring to different egg groups. Definitely underrated. All right, here's the final and 4th Lumineon. Surely this one won't have good IVs as well, because I think like all 3 of the other ones were good IVs. Okay, one had to be not amazing. That's literally so understandable. Let's go do that XP training we were talking about over to our Magby. Got to get it up to level 30 to evolve it into a Magmar, and then we can breed it back down and keep getting those stats up. Right now it is 31 Spatak. That is the biggest pain in the butt with breeding any sort of, you know, mon that can become a baby Pokemon. It's such a pain to keep breeding them up, man. Just getting a 2x31 Magmoarter is a little bit of a pain in the butt, but you know what? Worth it. We'll have it forever. Doesn't need to be that good of a Pokemon. I'm excited for this. All right, here's the Magby evolution. After this is fully done, we can go ahead and rebreed it, and I think I have a breeder picked out. I'm going to try to finish this thing in one breed. It's a little greedy. It might cost me if I don't at least medium roll the speed, but I'll just show you what I'm talking about. All right, here's what the breed should look like. I keep getting bullied. People always say it's kind of funny to me, but you know, it's a good meme. It's just a good example of change. People always laugh at me. They say, they leave in the comments, I laugh every single time Petrowski puts a breeding item onto a Pokemon before seeing the summary. If you don't know, they just recently updated it within the past 1 year or so. You can actually just, you know, view your Pokemon in here and click this little button down here and like choose your item. And it's kind of a bit more convenient. Don't get me wrong, it's a bit better, but at the same time, guys, you gotta understand, I've been breeding like this for 10 years. You know, am I doing something a little funny? Sure, but it's at the end of the day, I like doing it. It makes me happy. Well, I'm not gonna worry about it. But anyways, this is what I'm talking about. We got a 31 special attack Magby, modest nature. So it's got the nature, got the special attack. It's just the speed. As long as we can medium roll the speed, 20 plus is fine. Part of me wants to go double 31 on this thing, but it's just a Magmoarter. I'm gonna use this as a backup PVM Pokemon, and there's a good chance I never use it. So I don't want to over put resources into it, and that's something I'm kind of prone to doing. So I'm going to go ahead and should I put it in a Luxury Ball? I'm going to put it in a Luxury Ball just in good faith, hoping that it comes out. If it doesn't, I'll have to rebreed it and waste the Luxury Ball, but you know what? It's under Pokemon. That's fine. Let's hope for this speed. At least medium roll. High roll would be incredibly good. Incredibly lucky, because 30 speed is, like, you know, it's almost 31. So that would be, fantastic. All right, while I'm waiting for that Magby to hatch, I was looking through my boxes, and you know what? I've caught 4 different Alpha Crawdaunts. I think I have a breed ready to go for a possible raid-ready Crawdaunt. Having it have hidden ability is really important, so honestly, having all those Alpha catches is super, super nice. You want it to have that adaptability ability, which increases its damage tremendously. And then also, super crucially importantly, I need to give this thing Aqua Jet, and I actually can with this male Dugong. I am going to have to, I think, Heart Scale. I think it'll be my first time actually using Heart Scales ever on the account, which is really cool. So I finally am going to get some benefit out of actually farming for those. I'm going to Heart Scale the Aqua Jet onto the Dugong. That will egg move over Aqua Jet, getting a super crucial egg move onto this Pokemon, a water priority move, where I can basically bring in Crawdaunt, set up Swords Dance, and then use Aqua Jet to do tremendous damage at priority with adaptability. That's kind of its whole thing. And then sometimes even under rain, you're just doing so much physical damage, and it's just gonna be really powerful. It can be used in my rain team, like in PvP, which is really cool, as well as in PVM. So it's gonna do a lot of cool things. I've been wanting to use this Dugong forever. This 3x31 Dugong has been sitting in my boxes for so long, and I'm finally gonna get the perfect usage out of this, because generally you want to go mixed attacking on Crawdaunt, at least historically. I think nowadays it's not as prioritized. A lot of people seem to go full physical from what I was looking at over in the PvP statistics, but I like the idea of going mixed. I always liked Life Orb plus adaptability. You can go Ice Beam and have like a mixed, or like a Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, Dark Pulse. I think nowadays just Swords Dance just does so much damage, to be fair, but I always like the idea of going mixed. So if I end up with a Crawdaunt that is adamant, lonely, naughty, jolly, hasty, what's the other one? Hasty. Oh, there's another mixed attacking plus speed one I always forget. Naive, that's the one I'm thinking of. It could roll Naive, it could roll Mild, Rash. I could also work with those. There are so many natures this Crawdaunt could roll. I'm really hoping to roll one of them, because otherwise this thing is going to be a monstrous pain in the butt to rebreed if this does not roll a reusable or a usable nature. So I'm going to hope that I don't have to worry about that. Let's go hard scale this Dugong and go through with this breed, and then we'll check. As you can see, our Magmar has hatched, but I'm waiting to check that with you guys to see how that speed rolled. But first things first, if you don't know, you head over to this guy, I believe, or yeah, this guy. Click the Dugong, click Aqua Jet, and he will consume 2 of my heart scales. There's honestly not that many, thankfully. 2 heart scales. Teach Aqua Jet over onto our Dugong. Yup. And then when I breed this Dugong with my Crawdaunt, it should carry over. Now, I'm going to be bracing the... It'll be a weird brace, actually. Bracing the attack on the Dugong, the 31 attack, letting the defense roll, and then bracing the, I think, Spadef on the Crawdaunt. Weirdly, right? It's kind of really weird breed, but it should look really nice. The 31s can roll so well here. This breed is also just absolutely 1000% purely a product of how busted alpha Pokemon are. Like, without alpha catches, this would have never been possible or been a lot more difficult. I can't imagine creating an Iron Man prior to alphas existing. That would have been a whole different ball game, crazily. But I'm going to do Luxury Ball on this and hope for the best. 31 attack, 31 Spadef, 31 speed, all guaranteed. 26 plus HP, 26 plus Spatak, but it could roll 31. We could get a 4 times 31 Pokemon if we're lucky. And then defense should be 19 plus, and hopefully should at least medium roll to 21 plus. This could be a sickeningly good Pokemon. Let's hope for the best. Choose female so we can rebreed it if we need to, but I really don't want to have to rebreed it. Let's hope for the rolls, and let's finally check our Magmar as well. Moment of truth. No way, did it? That is so sad. That's okay. You know what? If you didn't notice, we low rolled our speed. We low rolled the speed. We now have to level this up back to level 30 to make it rebreedable. The walk of shame. The absolute walk of shame. You know what? What I call it, we're saving up our good RNG for the Corphish. This is the Magmar, easy breed to fix. The Corphish should be a lot more of a nightmare. This is actually not too shabby. I'm just going to copium and pretend that I'm saving my RNG. That's definitely how that works. All right, there's another evolution on the Magmar, so I can finally rebreed it yet again. All right, in perfect timing, our egg did hatch, and as soon as we open this up, we're going to see the most important roll, okay? The most important roll on this Corphish is how the nature came out. Let's go ahead and check it. I'm scared. Gentle. Oh, that is not good. Oh, we did, okay. Medium rolled, or low rolled this attack? The defense medium rolled. Everything rolled pretty normally. Aqua Jet is on it. Gentle's not great. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. I don't know. When it comes to natures like this, it's just really hard to justify. I think it's got to get rebred. That's so sad. You know what? It'll be worth it, though, in the long run. It'll be a very, very, very powerful Crawdaunt one day. All right, then next up, I do need a 2x31 breeder to actually fix this Magmar, so I'm going to have to go ahead, or I guess I could If I wanted to be super lazy, what I probably could do is just go grab like a 25 speed. Ooh, would that actually work? I'm not even sure. If I grabbed a 20 plus speed, 31 attack, I could do this if I wanted to be super lazy, but I don't know if it's worth it, honestly. If I wanted to be super lazy, I could go grab... Do I have nothing? I don't even really have any humanoid egg group breeders that really fit the bill, to be honest. Yeah, I'm just going to make a breeder. I'm going to make a breeder for this. What I need to do is create myself a 2x31 humanoid egg group male breeder. We have the Gothorita. We need to go get ourselves a Ditto, because I already checked. I don't have a humanoid egg group breeder with the other right stats. Just water a field. I don't want to mess with that then. Let's just look for any shitty Ditto essentially from here. All right, here's what that breeder breed should look like. This will come out 2x31. Want to make sure that I make this male. That's actually very, very important here. Gonna cost me 9k, which kind of stinks. We're spending a lot of Pokeyen today, but you know what? It is what it is. This will come out as a breeder. I can then go ahead and Everstone my Magmar. I'm actually going to put that on that thing now before I forget. And then that will allow me to brace the speed on this, and we'll have a complete breeder ready to go. So 9k male should be good. And while we're waiting for that breeder to hatch, I'm going to go ahead and see if I have something in my boxes that can solve or fix this Crawdaunt. But man, I feel like it's going to be a project. I feel like this is going to be a project from this point forward. But you know what? Let's see what we have. Let's see. Roll the dice. See if we have anything. I did have this Ditto. So this Ditto is Lonely Nature. I could use this Ditto. Lonely Nature. 31. I would basically... what I would do is I would Everstone the Ditto. Raise the speed on the Corphish. The things that would happen, I would lose the alphaness on the Corphish, which doesn't really matter, but it'd be a little sad. And then I'd also be losing the 31 attack, which sucks. I'd be lowering the Spatak. I'd be lowering the defense. I'd be lowering every stat just to get the good nature on it, which is honestly worth it, but I'd rather just be more patient, I think, for a proper breeder. All right, I think I might have actually found a breeder for this Crawdaunt, but it's going to cost me a pretty juicy resource. I have this Alpha Ditto. I mean, look at this. Jeez Louise, look at all these. Oh my goodness. I mean, okay, the upside is that technically this could roll 5x31. But I think if I roll 5x31 on this thing, I probably should go hit the Powerball, because I'll win that too, because what the fuck. That would just be insane. So yeah, you see a bunch of, that's insane. 4 possible rolls here is crazy. I'm bracing the HP weirdly. I just want that, because otherwise the HP would roll between 28 and 10, and I don't like the idea of that. I want it to be like in the middle. So we're going Naughty Nature on this thing, which is actually ideal, because the special defense on Crawdaunt is nothing spectacular. The defenses in general are just not great, but the defense is like something. 85 defense is something to take note of. 63 HP is pretty terrible. It's pretty much a glass cannon Pokemon, but I already have the defense stats, so I'm trying to carry them over sort of thing. But here's what it looks like. It's going to be an expensive breed. It's Aqua Jet. It has the egg move. It's Naughty Nature. I'm going to pay for it to be female. I'm going to put this in a luxury ball for sure. This should be good. I'm trying to think if anything could go. I really don't think anything can go wrong. The more high roll stats, the better. I think no matter what, this is a complete good breed, which is what's the good news. It's just expensive. It's just costing an Alpha Ditto, which is a liquid diamond resource. But I think it's worth it here. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to complete this amazing Pokemon, consuming one of my most expensive, valuable resources on the Ironman account. Poof, there it goes. It hurts to see it poof away like that, but it is what it is. Let's go grab the Gothorita breeder over from the PC, and I can go ahead and pair that up with my Magmar. I need a speed brace for that really quick, and I'll show you guys this breed, and that will also be, that'll be 2 Pokemon done. The Magmoarter done. I'll have to eventually EV train it, obviously, and then also that big, bad Raid Crawdaunt. Oh my goodness. Oh man, did I not pay for this gender? I just realized I made the oldest. Oh my god, I'm so sad. I made the oldest mistake in the book. Gothita's male, Magmar's male, and I'm cooked. I really thought I thought I was on top of things. I thought I remembered to make this female. Oh, that's a bummer. I think I might be able to, we can still fix this. I kind of bred this for I want to say no reason, but you know what? This will be a breeder in the future. We slowed things down a bit, did kind of things like an obtuse way, but this actually is fine. This honestly, like, the mistake could be so much worse. This is a breeder that I now put in the box for the future, and this is obviously a very easily fixable Pokemon. It just has to be bred with a Ditto now, but that's okay. Okay, I end up in a similar situation here to the Crawdaunt breed where I'm a little bummed because the resources this breed is going to drain is a lot, but dude, I have way too many good breeders sitting in my boxes anyway. Honestly, I should not feel bad or stressed at all consuming good breeders. I should just be consuming them, just getting them out of my boxes, cleaning things up. That's what this is all about. So we're going to end up with a 31 Spatak, 29 braced speed, and modest nature Magmoarter. That's going to get the job done in PVM. All right, our Crawdaunt breed is ready, and I'm gonna be honest, I already peeked at it. No 31s randomly rolled, so come on, man. Apparently, I'm having the worst breeding luck tonight, but that's okay. We still got it done, honestly, so I'm happy with that. 28 attack, 28 attack, and 31 speed, and then naughty nature. It's gonna be a fantastically powerful Pokemon. Have Ice Beam, have Aqua Jet. That's awesome. Yeah, gonna rock with that, I guess. Awkward situation, but it is what it is. While our Magby is hatching, I'm going to head over to Pastoria City in Sinnoh, which is honestly right here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and try to... Do I not have a Super Rod here? I might need to go get my Super Rod, step one, because I was going to go for a Octillery for the Pokedex. Get myself a quick Octillery encounter. Let's see where that was at. I believe it said Pastoria. Pastoria City, Super Rod, Sinnoh, very common. That's what I was going for. So let's go find the Super Rod in Sinnoh. Can't believe I didn't pick that up yet, but you know what? It happens. All right, I'm starting to see why I don't have the Super Rod in Sinnoh. The reason why I don't is because it's over at the fight area. So you know what? I think it's finally time we go unlock the Sinnoh post game. Kind of hilarious. I didn't do that yet, but I'm going to take this boat. I believe this is where you give to. This boat over in Snow Point City. It's like pretty just southwest, very close to the city. I'm going to say yes, go with him. Uh-oh. Is something going to happen? Do I have to fight her? I have no Pokemon on me. Please tell me I don't have to fight her. I'm hoping this takes me to the post game. Okay, no, she just fucked off. Thank Arceus. All right, we can set sail, and yes, we are over at the fight area. Okay, whew, big relief. That's huge. That just unlocks this. I don't know why it took me so long to just pick this boat. It's always easier than it sounds or what you're worried about. All right, and then once you're on this little location, ooh, we need to head up here. I just realized. Have you been to the Battle Frontier? Okay, this NPC who's just barely outside of my reach, this fisherman. My hotbar is blocking him. This guy has the Super Rod. So I've got to do whatever I need to do to get these guys out of my way. Okay, I think I have to do this little double battle really quick with our boy Barry. Is that his name? Dude, I'm terrible at storyline runs. Got to do this goofy battle really quick and hopefully unlock the Super Rod. All right, I just clicked surfed and it killed him. But then this guy's coming out of nowhere screaming words like this. I don't know what's going on. Throw me a 30-hour grind. Throw me a challenge. I can do it, okay? Throw me a storyline or a fucking post-game thing, a quest line. I will quake in my boots. All right, I got invited over to the survival area by somebody else. Barry finally went ahead and just went on its own. Okay, honestly, the fact that that's the only battle we have to do to unlock this, phenomenal. Fantastic. Very little effort. Love to see that. So, yup, the Super Rod is super. Thank you so much, Mr. Fisherman. Also, we can see our Magby did go ahead and hatch. We didn't have any, like, special thing here. 31 attack, 29 speed, and modest nature. Both these Mons are ready to be put over in the UT box now, the comp box. All right, here it is. These are two new Pokemon that just need to be EV trained, and they are ready to be used in competitive, whether PVM or PvP. Well, I guess, to be fair, Magmoarter wouldn't be in PvP, don't get me wrong, but the Crawdaunt for sure. So we have some more Pokemon lining up over here. I'm going to move this down. This is getting kind of lost in the way. A few of these Mons, this can be moved down. Anything that's, like, leveled especially can be moved down. Some of the stuff that needs XP like this can, like, stay up here, but, like, Weezing. I want to move down the high-level ones. There we go. Organize our boxes just a little bit, a wee bit. And these all need to be EV trained still. That's why these are up here. These all need to be EV trained. Metatite, Magby, Crawdaunt. Trying to stock them up because, you know, you can only EV train so many Pokemon. And it's nice to have as many as possible because it's just more efficient. But on an Ironman account, you're almost never going to have, like, proper 5 stacks of Mons to EV train. All right, but we did all of that Super Rod shenanigans just so we could go catch one Octillery for the Pokedex. So let's go do that. And I got it first encounter because I'm the luckiest sack in the world. All right, and this should be another Pokedex entry off the list. It should put me up to 443 when it catches. My Johto, we are at 243. We're about... Is that 13 away? Wow. Wait, we should... Okay. Oh, my goodness. Wait. I probably... There's no way I don't get it tomorrow. To be fair, tomorrow's a pretty busy day. I don't know if I have a whole lot of time to play the Ironman account. The biggest thing holding me back is... Now we have the Machamp access over at Route 226. Magnezone I want to make a proper comp of. So that's going to take time. That's tough. Magmoarter I'll have to EV train, but like, wow, we're almost done. I could maybe finish the Johto Pokedex tomorrow. That would be so sick. Or very, 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 very soon. Worst case scenario. I'm going to wind down a little before bed. I'm not going to do a whole lot more before bed. I am just going to go... I like doing like rare spawns and like chill stuff. So essentially, I'm going to go to all the different evolution locations. You know what? I need all of these for the Pokedex. Vaporeon, Espeon, Umbreon, Leafeon, Glaceon. I could evolve them. That sounds like a pain in the butt. And then to evolve them, I have to go catch like 10 EVs anyway. And that sounds horrible. So... I might as well just go lore encounter these. So I'm gonna head over to like Cape, Brink, and Kanto. I'm not gonna show you guys each little journey for these, but I'm gonna go through a few evolutions before bed and just catch as many as possible while I wind down. Oh, I thought it was gonna be 440, or sorry, let me see this. I thought it was gonna be 243, but no, it's 242. Excuse me. We do have the artillery added though now, which we did not have before. All right, that should. So I have 14 Pokemon left, but it's also minus the legendary, so it's 14 minus 4. That's 12 Pokemon. Or no. Oh my god, my math is atrocious. 10. What? I'm lucky to be a content creator. Holy shit, it's moments like that. 10 Pokemon left, okay? 10 Pokemon left to go grab. I think I can do that. Let's go ahead and do what we can. I'm gonna head over to Cape Brink once again. Okay, I got super lucky. When I say that I was gonna go to bed in like 3 to 5 minutes, I mean like 3 to 5 minutes. Like I have some food in the microwave and that's it. I was gonna, log off, but there is an alpha Ditto spawn right now. This was last minute, super lucky, perfect timing. Otherwise I wouldn't have seen it. My game is lagging because there's so many people here. I'm gonna catch this and then head to bed. All right, super happy to have this Ditto catch to hopefully replace the alpha one we literally just used in a breed. It's also naughty nature, exactly like the one we just used, hoping for 3 times 31. And what? I mean, yeah, hell yes, dude. 3 times 31. The nature is kind of irrelevant with these stats, but 31 special attack, 31 speed, 31 HP. Phenomenal alpha Ditto, dude. You got to catch every one of these. They're just so good. Well, I'm going to go hit the hay. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. All right, it is the next morning, the next day on the Iron Man account, and we get to start today with a nice little alpha spawn. There's an alpha Sandslash over here. We can go ahead, or sorry, alpha Marowak, excuse me. Sandslash was actually the last one. An alpha Marowak spawn over here. We are also up to 244 out of 256 in our Johto Pokedex. I should have the time to complete this today, and I can't wait, dude. There's not that many Pokemon left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11. Oh, there's more than I realized actually. 11ish if my math is. I'm terrible at counting. 12 maybe with the Magnezone. Something like 12 or so. Oh wait, did I just realize? Did this? Oh shit, am I dumb? I think it's 12. I think the legendaries don't count in this number, and I didn't notice that. So I actually do just have a full 12 left. Okay, I mean that makes sense. It was late last night, so also doesn't surprise me that I missed it. It is what it is. That's okay. Good to know. All right, here is the Marowak caught. It actually took me quite a second, but Jolly Nature's good. It's a monster egg group breeder, which is also fantastic. 31 HP. The Spatak is not great, but I don't know. That could be used on like a Garchomp. We need to make a mixed Garchomp with Fire Blast, so you know what? We'll happily take that. It's like an Ice Beam, weirdly. It was a weird alpha Pokemon, but you know what? We caught it. We got it done. Jolly Nature, the Thick Club. We'll use it as a breeder in the future for sure. The free 2 times 31, plus the XP candies, honestly. Can't sleep on those. I do be using those for like Pokedex and other things. I'll probably also be using the XP candies once raids roll around and I need to like quickly level a Pokemon to make it usable in raids. That's honestly will be the main use of these. All right, we have a crucial alpha spawn over on the Iron Man. This is a massive one. Getting a hidden ability version of this Pokemon is absolutely like needed for PvP and even certain PvM activities. This is a hidden ability, Magic Bounce, XATU Alpha Swarm. I'm going to be just speeding over to this as soon as possible. I'm going to heal up first though. I have missed this alpha spawn once before, so I'm super glad I can hopefully finally get over to I have plenty of time. There's no way I should be able to lose this. I'll probably even catch the baby Natus surrounding it just to have as many rolls as possible towards a good hidden ability one. Magic Bounce is an extremely powerful ability in PokeMMO or just Pokemon in general that bounces back things like Stealth Rocks to the opponent, right? I think it even bounces things like Toxic and stuff like that. It's a really, really powerful ability that is really nichely distributed. There's only 2 Pokemon that have access to it. It is Espeon and XATU in PokeMMO. All right, we caught the first baby Natu, no hidden ability access, but it's still worth doing. Same with this one, we're going to go the baby spawns first and then the big alpha. We should have plenty of time. All right, I misclick and ran from one of the Natus, and I also didn't see it get an early bird proc, so it's possible that was hidden ability. We're just not going to talk about it. Go on to the next one. All right, we just quick balled this one to reduce the odds of misclicking. Here we go. Let's see if I can get extra hidden ability one. Nope. Okay, we are relying on our XATU then. Our XATU better be decent. Unironically, the stats in this are going to be pretty darn important because flying egg group breeders just seem kind of difficult to get without going out of your way. I could go over to Route 1 in Kanto and catch Pidgeys, don't get me wrong, but it is male as well, which is not great. I'll have to breed this with a Ditto if I need to rebreed it. I mean, what are the odds I just catch a wild, competitive ready XATU, right? Surely that won't happen. All right, we got it. It was a somewhat tough catch, but not too bad. Jolly Nature's not great, though. 31 attack, 31 defense is fantastic. We're just missing HP. Okay, this could be fixed in maybe one breed, most likely two at the most. The Jolly Nature needs to be replaced with something, but we got our Magic Bounce. That's what's important. Just having the Magic Bounce Espeon is honestly a massive, massive deal, dude. Nice. Oh, hell yeah. I actually super needed that. I'm over in Eterna Forest in Sinnoh going for a Leafeon catch for the Pokedex. I actually went over to the Ruins of Alpha and Johto for an Espeon catch, and I realized that's going to be hell on earth to actually get to the proper location needed within that annoying little puzzle location. So that might be the one evolution that I actually just do by evolving the Eevee. But right now I'm over at Leafeon, and I got myself a free Soothe Bell. I just picked up a random Pokeball on the ground over here. I recently lost my Soothe Bell. I don't know where it went, but there we go. We reclaimed one. And now we also got to catch a Buidu. I'm going to catch one of these fellas on the way to the Leafeon. Hell yeah. There's a free new Pokedex entry I wasn't even planning for. See if it has any stats. Nope, nothing. Totally okay. I doubt I have a Baniri caught either. Yup, exactly. There we go. We can catch this as well. All right, here's the Baniri, and that's a legit breeder. I mean, I think it's like Field Egg Group. Field Humanoid, to be fair. But that's a special attacking breeder for sure. I'm going to mark that down as noted. All right, there is the Leafeon catch. I think that's number 245 caught OT. In the Johto specific decks, of course, not the overall decks. Stats are irrelevant. That's okay. Not good. 3 7s. That's a weirdly statted Pokemon, but that should be, let's double check, 447, almost 450 in our national deck, and then over in our Johto decks, 245. We have 11 Pokemon left. A few things. We could evolve a Porygon. We have actually like a shit ton of upgrades. So we could do, like, I'm pretty sure, because we used to like get them payday picked up in. Yeah, we have so many extra upgrades. This is a thing we could just go ahead and waste one of those on a Porygon and just get the quick Porygon 2 entry. No problems with that. Miss Magius, I will have to go catch. Do I have a Miss Drevius I can Dust Stone? Do I have extra Dust Stones? Not really. So I'll probably end up going to actually catch that. But let's get out of this forest. First things first. Let's go get that forest. Let's go get that that Porygon 2 encounter. Because why not? I have so many upgrades. There's just literally no reason to value these. I could do it to any shitty Porygon. Now, you used to have to trade Evo a lot of these Mons. I don't know if Porygon's one of these, to be fair, but now you can just use the trade item or use the evolution item on them and it works. So there we go. Porygon 2. This will bring us down to, that'll be 10 left, right? Yes. This brings us to 10 Pokemon left to complete the Johto Dex, get our first ability patch on the Iron Man. All right, next up, the final evolution I'll be catching in the wild. I'm going to be manually evolving that Espeon later, but for now, let's go grab this Glaceon over at Route 217 in the grass in Sinnoh. That is down here below Snow Point City, so we have to do a little bit of a trek, but it'll be worth it, of course. All right, it took a while to find like all the other evolutions, but there is the Glaceon encounter. Honestly, decent enough stats, but nothing super crazy. That puts us to 247 out of 256 in the Johto Dex. And next up, I'm going to go single encounter over at the Battle Frontier in Hoenn, hilariously, and get myself a Mantike lore encounter. All right, and this should be the Mantike catch. Nice. It's a weird one to get off the list. It's just pretty rare to run into a Mantike. It's almost impossible to run into a Mantike in the wild on accident. You really have to seek out this kind of Pokemon. That's how a lot of these later Mons are, though. When you don't have it done in the Dex, it's usually because it's kind of a hiding Pokemon. And I think that's what we're going to go ahead and call it for now. I might see you guys later today. I had a very long work day making tons of other videos, and then I have to go help my mother-in-law later with some yard work as per the end of summer. So I will see you guys later, maybe with some more Pokedex catches or tomorrow morning on stream. All right, I'm back later that night. Probably going to work on my Pokedex for about 30 minutes, maybe an hour. First things first is Miss Magius, I'm really close actually. We can go to the Johto Pokedex. 248 out of 256. I need 8 more Pokemon. This thing is a lore encounter over at Bell Tower. I feel like that'll be the easiest way to just get one really quickly. And then I'm going to look to actually complete the Pokedex tomorrow. I'm probably going to do it by like EV training and XP training up my Magby, getting that Magmoarter, and then hopefully breeding a Magnezone tomorrow would also be fantastic. But for now, I'm going to just do a, chip a few things off to make tomorrow a bit easier. But I will be completing the Johto Pokedex tomorrow on stream. Okay, I ended up changing locations because I kept getting so few encounters per steps over at the Bell Tower, but I feel like that might just be a problem everywhere that Miss Magius is. Maybe it's just like an anecdotal short thing, but look how many steps I do here. Let's watch this. Keep watching. 250. I also did like 36 on that last one. We're in Lost Cave. Yup, you can get encounters here, believe it or not. That took me 180 steps. Over half a lore to get one Zubat encounter. Oh, this is gonna suck. Maybe there's like a no, I don't know. Maybe it'd be better to like get a Misdrevious and then just use my I only have one Duststone. Might be better to just like Duststone farm or something. I think I just bug it out essentially, but this look at that. I got one encounter on that whole lore. Let's see if I can get one encounter per lore. Let's see. I don't even know if I'll get that. Look, this is insane. It feels like I'm like doing something wrong. Are you serious? No. No shot. No. I'm going to get barely, yeah, like less than one encounter a lore. How is that possible? That's so weird. If you're wondering, this is at Lost Cave over in Kanto. Very weird place. Not a whole lot of people come here. It's very, very niche. Over here to the northeast of Resort Gorges. I'm going to do some hordes as well to see if, like, maybe... I think it's just Haunter hordes. I think people are just shunting Haunter here. Yeah, you know what? I think I've decided. I think it's going to be easier to, like, Frisk Thief some Dust Stones than to... go for this Miss Magius. This thing is just a pain in the butt. So you know what? We're just going to go for that. Can this thing have a Dust Stone? Yeah, it does have a chance. So we're going to do that. We're going to go catch ourselves a Misdrevious. Or we might even... What are the odds we have a Misdrevious in our PC? Let's go check really quick. We wasted a lot of time there, but we're going to waste less time by stopping, cutting our losses. I want to say I did have a Misdrevious, and then I released it because I was going to catch... I think the plan was to go catch... a Miss Magius just in the wild, but obviously isn't happening. So let's head over to somewhere where it's either like an uncommon spawn. These are all nighttime though, and it is not nighttime. It does make things a little bit more awkward, but still better than what we're doing currently. Let's go to like this says Lost Cave. Is this spawn just cursed? Is that what I'm learning? We could try Sprout Tower lore. That's fucked up. That's our best shot. Sprout Tower lore. Let's go for it. Okay, I was getting worried. I was only seeing Rattatas, but that is not too bad. And look at that. Look, we've already had the Misdrevious caught, but we have to catch it again to evolve it to get that Miss Magius. I did not realize Misdrevious / Miss Magius was such a pain in the butt to get. Like, looking over the Pokedex, there is a lot of spawns, but they're all a pain in the butt. That's kind of crazy. So, I don't know. We'll have this one. We'll have it done. We'll go ahead and catch this thing, and then we'll evolve this. And I'm going to keep this one in the PC. If I ever... It's very possible I need a Miss Magius comp for, like, raids or something, like some sort of PVM. So I'm going to keep one in the PC for sure. I like to keep super... Even if they're not that good, I like to keep at least one of super rare Mons. Things like Swanna. Perfect example. I always keep one Swanna in my PC on the Ironman account, because if Swanna ever becomes meta and I don't have one in the PC, I'm never getting one. Like, that Swanna spawns are so freaking rare. They're like a really, really rare niche pheno. I'd rather just take up one PC slot and have one. So I'm going to do that with this after I go ahead and catch it, evolve into Miss Magius, get that Pokedex entry. That will bring me up to 249. Let's check these stats, see if it's any... honestly, like, not quite decent. This is a breedable Pokemon. 20 plus attack, 29 speed, 26 plus HP, 20 plus and 3 stats. Attack is relevant, needs defense and Spadef. Nature's not there. We can definitely work with that. Let's get out of here. Let's go Duststone this. Boom. Bam. Boom. There it is. Miss Magius added to the Pokedex. That's what matters. It's level 10, which is kind of funny. But there it is, man. New Pokedex entry. 451 in total. We're over that 450 benchmark. That feels pretty cool. And we are 7 Pokemon away. No. Yeah, 7. That's why math is terrible. 7 Mons away. We have our... once again. We have our Magmoarter ready to go. That needs to be EV trained. We'll breed a Magnezone probably tomorrow. I don't want to breed one tonight. I want to chill. Machamp is a little awkward. Route 226. I have unlocked that area, though. Maybe I can just go do that right now. Espeon's a pain in the butt. Maybe I'll do that right now because I don't have to do that on stream. I'm distracted enough on stream. I don't need to be doing something like that. Rhyperior. Ooh, that's tough. I do want to breed up a good Rhyperior, though. I do have an extra protector, though, I believe, to be fair. No, I only have one. What? Wait. Do I have a protector in the... Let's go see. Protector. If I have one. I swear I caught one recently. Okay. Only one protector. Item. That's awkward. Okay, whatever. I do want to have a good Rhyperior. There's been times where Rhyperior has been meta, and I could see him being meta for certain really niche raids. It's really niche and rare because he's really slow and tanky, which is not what you want in a raid Pokemon, but he hits really hard, and he can get, like, a really interesting ability. He has, like, Lightning Rod, doesn't he? I mean, he's a ground type, but yeah. But he also does get Lightning Rod, which is interesting, but he's kind of a ground type. What's the point of that? I don't know. Interesting Pokemon. Oh, it's that he I know what it is. Lightning Rod specifically draws in attacks in double battles. That's what it is, if I'm not mistaken. That's why Rhyperior was really good in like certain niche, hyper niche raids. He can draw in if I could be wrong, but I believe he like draws in the attacks themselves and distracts from your opponents getting hit. That's why that's relevant. So I do want to breed up a good comp of this. Maybe I'll do that now. We'll do like the Magnezone tomorrow. Let's see, do I have any Rhyhorns or Rhydons in my boxes? I have one Alpha Rhydon, so it does have hidden ability access, which is reckless. We can always change it after. Maybe I just go ahead, you know what, let's see if I have a breeder for this bad boy. We'll need a Ditto for it. All right, sorted my boxes a little bit here while I can as well. Moved a bunch of things over to my more breeder box, which is honestly getting full, which terrifies me. But these can be released. There's just 5 Pokemon down here that have no purpose. These can go ahead and just get gotten rid of. These evolutions I will keep to go ahead and rebreed those as EVs, as well as one of these EVs I'll go ahead and rebreed and basically level up in Happiness Train up to be an Espeon here in the future. All right, so I started off looking for some 2x31 Dittos to breed this thing up, and I don't think that's going to be an option. Instead, I think it's better to go ahead and just find a 1x31 Ditto with 20 plus in the other stats and try to just like breed up those other stats. And I think I might even have a better Ditto than this one, actually. Let me go back, but I think just breeding up, keeping the 2x31, breeding it into a female, keeping the hidden ability access, and then just like making it an easier breed in a second. I don't like that this one's HP is 20. That means it would roll 19 most likely, and yeah, it's not. Even though the other stats are higher, I'd almost rather go this and then have higher attack and HP here. The speed would get lowered there a little bit, but I feel like that's better. We also have this one, which would raise, maybe this one's the best one, like it would raise the HP and attack a bit more, but then the speed would like super tank. It's honestly really tough to make decisions on stuff like this. It's just also very minute, and it comes down to like what you think you'll need more in the future. All right, so I headed over to Kanto to do 2 different breeds. We have the Rhydon and Ditto breed, which will look like this if we could get through these menus here in a quick sec. I'm going to brace the attack weirdly, but I feel like that's worth it because we can just, you know, control that, keep it a bit higher. There's nothing else to brace on the Ditto besides maybe the HP, but that's even less. 75% chance to roll 20 plus HP, 27 attack will roll, 31 defense, 31 special defense. We're going to make sure we make this female. That's the whole reason why we're doing it. Hoping for a decent nature roll, but if not, we can breed that up in the future. That is okay. Speed's going to be around 19. That's mostly okay. Special attack, irrelevant. We're going to go ahead and go through with this breed, and then after this, we're losing the alphaness, but that's okay. You don't really need alphaness unless you care about going for Shalfa chance, so it's totally visual. It's totally just an aesthetic thing. Next up, we're going to breed down one of these EVs really quick. And the reason is just to probably the Leafeon, I guess. The Leafeon is a female. Maybe we keep that for the time being then. Go Umbreon. It doesn't really matter. All of them have terrible stats. We'll do the Vaporeon. Fuck it. Where is... Give me some Shitto. Mostly there's Shittos, I believe. Yep. We're going to breed this down just so that we can then turn it into an Espeon. Does Espeon need to be a specific gender? I don't believe so. Just going to double check. Happiness in the daytime. Yep. I'm going to breed this down, and when that hatches, I'm going to take it over to Gary's sister, do like the little happiness technique you've seen me do a few times now, and then we could maybe do it tomorrow. It's 10:50 p.m. right now. If we do the happiness trick today, you can do it every once IRL day. I don't know if it's like a 24-hour cooldown or like it resets at a certain UTC time. I have no idea, but happiness stuff's a pain in the butt, so whatever I can do to make it easier, I'm going to do. Then while we're waiting for those eggs to hatch, I'm running out of wild Pokemon to go catch, which is kind of crazy, right? Like, a lot of this stuff, let's go through once again. Magnezone, I'm going to be making a competitive one. Machamp's a wild catch. I'll be wild catching that. Magmoarter, I need to EV train. I have it. Espeon, I'll be doing happiness. Can't do that. Rhyperior, I'll be training one up. So there's only 2 wild catches I have left. It's Happiny and Machamp. So Let's go do Machamp. We'll figure out Happiny last, I guess. Machamp is Sinnoh Route 226. Let's go see if we can access that location now that we've gone over to that Sinnoh post-game area. Got a wild Skuntank to catch on the way to the Machamp. It's quite a journey there, to be fair. I will say it's going to be quite a trek. I have to, like, unlock the path. I'm battling some trainers on the way there. I mean, hilariously, I'm so broke right now, sub 800k, that I'll take the extra Pokeyen from the trainers. I honestly need it. I got 5,000 Pokeyen just recently, bro. We've fallen on hard times, okay? I need to do my gym rerun tomorrow for sure. I'm supposed to be saving up some Pokeyen so I can have plenty of resources going into the event season. However, I also need to make the raid Pokemon before the event season, and that's super expensive, so, you know, I'm at odds on that. The Skuntank died to his own double edge. We'll get him next time. All right, finally made it through this little brush, made it over to the survival area. I'm going to walk inside the PC. That will unlock this area. I can just fly back here in the future. It's funny, we're 600 exactly, well, almost 700 hours. Well, 699 hours into the account. I'm still unlocking areas. I still haven't gone to every location to fly in the game. And I don't think that's that crazy or like that abnormal, which is what's even funnier. But I think Machamp should be right here, if I'm not mistaken. Literally right next to a PC. That's actually insane. I can just run back and forth here. And first encounter? Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. All right. I wonder if it's even that hard to like get a good competitive Machamp then on the Iron Man. I think it'd be really cool. One day I would love to go for something like this. The only way, if you don't know, the only way to get competitive Machamps, Conkeldurs, you know, Gengars, you gotta wild catch them. It's the only way, because you can't trade off all of them on the Iron Man account. So I think it's super cool. I love that shit. I'm gonna go ahead and false swipe him. I doubt he has a self damaging move, but hopefully I'm not wrong. We see a sucker punch. Should be a pretty easy fight. I'll see you guys with a catch here in a quick sec. All right, there we go. Machamp caught. That's a huge Pokedex entry. I was really worried about that one. That was like one of the more daunting ones. I had to like go to a specific location and then unlock it. I had to like take the boat here. Like, I don't know, it just seemed like a lot, but man, that was really easy now that I went and did it. Focus Band, that's cool. Free little item, we'll take that. Terrible stats. This thing will just get released, to be totally honest. Maybe it's worth keeping like a high level fighting type in case I need one for raids, but I kind of doubt it. Look at that. It's a beautiful number, dude. 250 out of 256. Only 6 Pokemon left for our first Pokedex. It's crazy. It's not even the national deck, but even this just feels amazing. Just getting one of the dexes done. And look, wait a minute. Dude, we're getting so... Okay, the cool thing about getting one of the dexes done, right, is that it gets a lot of them, like, really close. Like, look at Kanto. Kanto's only... That's insane. I did not realize that. Also, they're very, very similar, I guess, but 6 away from Johto. 8 away? My math is terrible. 8 away from being done Kanto. We're pretty far from Hoenn. Probably very far from Sinnoh. Probably pretty far from Unova. Okay, but, like, Kanto and Johto, hell yeah, man. That's pretty good. All right, plus both of our Pokemon hatched. Let's go check them out. This rolled modest again. That's so weird. 2 times 31, 20. Did we high roll the HP? I believe we did. That's awesome. Hell yeah. High rolled the HP. The EV just came out as an EV. We're going to put those both in the PC. Go grab both of them really quick. Need to rebreed the Rhydon. Need to go take the EV to Gary Oak's sister. Going to go ahead and take this Focus Band and release this Machamp. Going to go ahead and have some tea with Gary Oak's sister. And she will essentially take care of Eevee and then raise its happiness up to like 49% for free, which is fantastic. Then I'll level it for the rest of the way. Also, I think it randomly came out female, which is like a 12% chance. Okay, it's not amazing, but I think this is good enough / the best I'm going to do for the time being. It's going to be a 2 times 31 Rhyhorn defense and special defense, 25 plus attack, and I'm going for the lonely nature, which... I'm not proud of, but I think going for plus attack nature is pretty important. But then it's also not a speedy Rhyperior. I feel like you're playing this in Trick Room anyway, to be fair. It's already so slow, so like hopefully that makes up for it. It's awkward. It's not great. I don't love it. I can rebreed it down the line if I need to. For now, I'm just going to use it as a semi-comp, like to some extent, like decent to Rhyperior, and it will be used for raids, and it will be used to something to EV train up for my Pokedex, essentially. That's what I'm going for. So, lonely, not great, but I really want a plus attack nature, even though it's minus the defenses, and the defenses are pretty important. I would have loved a Brave one, honestly. That would have been fantastic, but just wasn't in the cards. So, we're going to work with that. We're going to see how that comes out, and we're going to go ahead and I literally can just go XP train this Eevee over at Tentacruels for not even that long, and it should eventually evolve into an Espeon here very, very quickly. So let's just go do that. All right, here is the Eevee into, should be Espeon. I don't know what else it could possibly be trying to evolve into here. It's not nighttime, so it can't be. We'll watch it kind of closely just in case. But yeah, there it is, the Espeon tail. Boom. OT Espeon, Iron Petrowski. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We're getting really close, man. There is actually one more Pokemon that I always miss for some reason over in the decks. So there's 5 Pokemon left. Only 5. Tomorrow on stream, I'll be doing, I have to go not only like breed up a Magnezone, I have to go catch like some sort of breeder. It's getting really, I said I was gonna do it for like 30 minutes to an hour. I've already been doing it for like an hour and 20 minutes. I want to go play some Minecraft before bed, so kind of cutting into my time there. But you know what, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying this. So what's, worst case scenario, playing a video game. Anyways, we got Magmoarter. We'll do that tomorrow. So Magnezone we'll have to do from scratch tomorrow. That will be a fair bit of a, to-do thing. Magmoarter we'll do tomorrow. Tangrowth is a wild catch. We'll just do the rest of this tomorrow, honestly. But yeah, the mon I was forgetting was Tangrowth. That is, for some reason, I just forget this mon exists. I don't know. If I have a Tangela in my box, I probably could just evolve that. You need to have, Ancient Power. It's pretty easy. I might just have a Tangela laying around. Maybe I could do that. And then Happiny. So Happiny and Tangrowth, the 2 wild mons. That's 2. And then 1, 2. What am I missing? What am I forgetting here? Happiny? Rhyperior. Okay. I don't know why it's so hard to see in the big boxes of green. Rhyperior. So 3 Pokemon will be EV training, XP training tomorrow. That is the Rhyhorn right here. We can actually go see how it came out. We should know how it came out. Lonely Nature, 31 special defense, 31 defense, 26 attack, 23 HP, 14 speed. That's fine. We're going to end up... Now, the question becomes, do I EV train this 2v2 attack and 2v2 HP? Or 2v2 attack, 2v2 speed? I don't... Probably 2v2 attack, 2v2 HP, if I'm being honest. I'm probably going to do that. I probably should do that. We're going to do that. We're going to put that over in the PC. We're going to put that over in the comps box. So tomorrow, we will be EV training, HP training some Pokemon, doing our gym run, and then catching those 2 mons in the wild. Maybe even just... I might do the Tangela now really quick if I have one of the boxes. If not, we'll worry about it in another day. All right, Espeon goes in here. Rhyhorn goes over to the comps box to EV train. And then Moment of Truth, do I have a Tangela? I do not. I do not. So that'll be a task for tomorrow. I'm going to go play some Minecraft, do some dumb little builds, maybe chop some wood, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on stream to complete the Johto Pokedex. Alrighty, fellas, it's time for another beautiful day on the Iron Man account on stream. I have, I think, two big things on my schedule today, okay? Gym Rerun, which we're already at the location. I'm starting at under 800k. I'm fucking broke right now. Under 800k, as well as, I'm going to be XP training my Honchkrow. It's level 31. And then I'll be doing my Jimmy run and finishing my Johto Pokedex today. I am so excited for that. My first Pokedex ever completed on the account. It's going to unlock the Fire Ability Patch. I have 5 Pokemon left. Apparently, there's an Alpha spawn right now. I actually am going to go catch that. Wait! That Alpha spawn is going to save me. It's an Alpha Magmoarter. What are the fucking odds of that? I literally just bred a Magmoarter off stream last night that I was going to EV train and XP train up. That's crazy. Alpha Magmar, not Magmoarter. Okay, that's actually good then. Either way, good to know. Someone said, okay, good to know. That's very funny. But anyways, these are the mons we have left in our Johto Dex, okay? Today we have these Pokemon to catch / breed up. We have to go wild catch 1 Happiny. We have a Rhyhorn to EV train and XP train up to a Rhyperior. We have to go wild catch a Tangrowth or a Tangela and level it up 1 time. Or we have to EV train, XP train a Magmoarter, and with the breed, we don't have the Magnezone. We have to breed a competitive Magnezone today and then EV train, XP train that up as well. So we have a lot to get to do. Let's go ahead and get started. Wow, oh shit, I just realized 700 hours flat. That's awesome. We're starting today with 700 hours. That's beautiful, man. Well, anyways, here is our Magmar caught. Jolly Nature's kind of awkward. It can be physical, but it's got the special stats anyway. This will most likely just be a breeder. I don't think... I was going to say, I don't think that Magmar's hidden ability is relevant. But you know what? Vital Spirit is actually good against Darkrai Raid. I wonder if there's any validity to running like Focus Blast, Vital Spirit, Magmortar in the Darkrai Raid. It might be an option for the Iron Man, honestly. I have the Primipto, so we're probably fine, but we'll have to see. All right, that is our gym rerun done. Up to back over 1 million Pokia. Not for very long, though, to be honest. And then our Honchkrow, all to level 61. That's pretty good, man. I'm going to head back to the PC, reorganize my party, and then I think go breed. I think I have to go farm. I think the next step is Magnemite farming. I think that's the next step. Okay, I'm about to start Magnezone or Magnemite farming, right? Generally, for PvP, you would go Timid, but for PvM, you should go Modest. I'm personally gonna go Timid. I think it will do enough damage, hopefully. I'm gonna go Timid so that it's usable in both PvP and PvM. I think that's gonna be my strategy. If I was Analytic, I might go Modest, but with PvP in mind and countering Scizor in mind, I'm gonna look for a Timid one. So I'm gonna see if I have my Timid synchronized Kadabra. Yes, it thankfully is leveled up to 54. I can use this for this. Perfect. We're gonna head over to, I think, New Mauville, I think, is the best location. I'll see you guys in a quick sec, basically wherever is the best location to farm Magnemites, and just start catching some Mons and seeing what works and what doesn't. Okay, I just counted it on Pokemon Hub's catch calculator. Magnemite at 100% HP with no status with a nest ball should be 99.3% catch rate. That's what the catch calc says. That's not always 100% accurate, but if I can sit here, synchronize lead with my Abra, and then just throw nest balls, that will make farming these way easier. So that will definitely be the strat. We're going to try that first. Gentle, no stats. Okay, that's our first Magnemite. We're going to keep going until we get something breedable. This is a weird Magnemite. I might end up using this as a breeder. It's obviously got really good HP, really good defense, really good SPDF. It's got 3 of the 5 stats. The problem is, obviously, nature's not there. I'm going to write this noted. It's missing, yeah, it's weirdly missing 2 times 0 in the 2 stats that you really want 31 in. So it's the total opposite. It's a really, really weird Magnemite. I'm going to keep it. It might be a breeder, but I'd like to get something else better, hopefully. Oh my goodness, we just caught the nastiest Magnemite possible. Timid nature, natural, wild, 30 attack, 30 speed. We're done. We're done. That wasn't even that long. We caught like 5 Magnemites. What the hell? We're done. I'm not catching more. That's all we need. I could go like 24 SPDF, defense and HP are low. It doesn't matter. I don't care. This is plenty. This is good enough. That's fucking sick, dude. Oh, that's so good. Maybe I'll try to breed it up a little. We'll have to see, but I don't think. I'm probably just done. We're probably just done. That's gorgeous. Let's go see if we can breed it up easily, because it's a generalist mon with other Magnemites. But I think we're probably just done. That's so sick to see, man. Okay, I'm not gonna. We've thought about it and contemplated a lot. I'm not gonna rebreed this Magnemite. I think it's just good as is. Maybe I can make another one in the future, but I can make like a modest one in the future. But for now, I think this is fantastic. We're just gonna keep and utilize that. Now, we're not gonna EV train quite yet. Once we start EV training, we'll be finishing up our Johto Dex. First things first, we need a Tangrowth and a Happiny. I'm gonna go do Tangrowth first. For that, I'm just gonna go catch a Tangela really quick. I believe it was I need a a level 25 Tangela, because it will have ancient power, and then I can level it up once, and it will evolve into Tangrowth. So that's super easy, as opposed to like luring a Tangrowth or whatever. I can go to Route 21 Kanto. It's probably my best bet. Level 20, 35. So Route 21 Kanto. Go get myself a Tangela, and then we evolve it once, level it once, we should be good. Right, there is the Tangela caught. Timid nature, nothing else. It has ancient power. We can just go XP train this for 2 seconds, get it to evolve, and get that Tangrowth. All right, there is the evolution. That is Tangrowth. After this, I'll only need 4 more Pokemon, 3 of which I'm just EV training, XP training, the Rhyhorn into Rhydon into Rhyperior, and then the Magmoarter, and then the Magnezone. I'll be getting those guys very, very soon, naturally. Next up is Happiny, which chat is telling me is a lore encounter at Route 209 in Sinnoh. So we're going to head over there right now. All right, it took us a little bit. We got the Happiny encounter. I think this is the last. After this, we can just go EV train. This is the last wild catch, right? I believe so. Hopefully the nest ball works for it. Beautiful. That is the last wild catch we need for our Johto Pokedex, boys. 253 out of 256. I just immediately closed the summary page. That's okay. I doubt the IVs were anything, but now it's time to go EV train and finish up the final 3 Pokemon we need. Okay, I believe that we have to EV train like 6 different Pokemon in attack, HP, and special attack. Maybe speed if we get to it today, but we might not get to that. So we're going to start off with attack. I'm going to head over to Nidorino's in Kanto and do those and surf those down. The first Mons I'm EV training are going to be Meditite. 200, this is a beautiful Meditite with the egg move bullet punch I put a lot of work into. That's going to be 252 attack. Scizor, also the PvP reward, also 252 attack. Rhyhorn, also this will be 252. So these 2 will be 252 attack, 252 HP. This will be 2v2 attack, 2v2 speed. And then this will be, I believe, I'm split on this one. This one either needs to be 252 attack, 252 speed, or 126 attack, 126 special attack, and then 252 speed. And I don't know what I want to do with it yet. I kind of built it mixed, but I think that now that adaptability is here. I think just going full physical is better. And that's the thing I'm like trying to stomach. And trying to like wrap my head around. I'm not quite sure. I might need to ask Spidget if he's around really quick. But anyways, we're going to start off. There's no harm in doing 126 attack EVs in all 4 of these Mons really quick. So we're going to start with that over Nidorinos. Yes, I'm so glad you mentioned it, Tom. I would love to see who it was actually. Oh, who was it? I should know the name. The first, this has got to be the world first. This has to be the world first. An Iron Man got the PvP hat recently. That there is no shot that's not the world first. I would love a screenshot, yeah, if you could find it. I believe it was it the Tentacruel hat or it's either the Dunsparce or the Tentacruel hat. I don't know which one. But an Iron Man got Xerx. Yeah, yes, thank you. Xerx got, it's got to be the world. I could be wrong, but it's got to be the world first. Xerx got the world first PvP hat. That's fucking crazy. Do you know how many games you have to play to get that? I have, for example, 1,200 matchmaking rewards, and that took me almost 80 games. What's the math on that? Like, it would be, let's say it took me 65 games to get 1,000 reward points, something like that. 65 to, so it'd be 10,000 points divided by, I'm making this math, it would just be like 10, right? It would just be like 65 times 10, right? You'd have to play like 650 OU games to get this on average-ish with rough calculations. That's fucking insane. 650 OU games. To build an OU team fast enough on an Iron Man account and then to do that much is... It's just not even is it hard on an Iron Man account, it's also insanely time consuming. That's so much grinding. Okay, well, I kind of over EV trained my core fish, and I'm trying to reach out to a PvP player. I'm trying to figure out whether it's worth to go mixed on Crawdaunt nowadays, but I think I just answered the question for myself. I think because I messed up the EVs, I bred this thing to be mixed, to have that option. I think, even though I did that, I think it's just better to go full physical. I think Swords Dance full physical is just the strat nowadays. So, because I think before adaptability was added, in NU, you would go mixed, but I think nowadays this thing's played in OU. I think you just go Swords Dance. You just go. Also, if I'm gonna play it my rain team in PvP, my rain team is drastically missing out on physical attackers. You know, that's why I have a really hard time clearing Chansey. So, yeah, I'm just gonna lean into the full physical. We're just gonna EV train this thing 2v2 attack, kind of due to a mistake, but it works out anyway. So, copium. All right, here is the final horde, fellows, for 2v2 attack EVs on everything. Beautiful. Now it's time to switch over to, I think we're either going to do, I don't know what we're going to do yet, either Spatak or HP. Just switch on to the next EV. All right, I think we're going to do HP EVs next. I'm just HP EV training Scizor and Rhyhorn, but it has to be done because Rhyhorn needs it. So 2v2 attack, 2v2 HP. This will also complete Scizor, so that'll be fantastic. I'm going to be at Stunfisk because I like Stunfisk, and I would love a shiny Stunfisk on the Iron. All right, this should be the last horde. Let's see. Yep, 2v2 HP EVs, beautiful. That's the Scizor and Rhyhorn done. I will have to XP train the Rhyhorn up to 42, and then I'll evolve him as soon as I can with the Protector into Rhyperior. That'll be that little piece of progress. Next up is Special Attack. I have some Speed EV training to do as well, but I'd like to wait for another day. It's not required for the... I don't believe... Well, maybe it will be, actually. It depends on when Magmar evolves. We might have to... We've been... This, to be fair... EV training's really fast in PokeMMO, but I've had to EV... I'm going to end up having to EV train like 4 different stats. So this is taking a lot longer than I expected. But now I need to go Special Attack, EV train. I think just the Magnemite and Magby. Yeah, just these two. Yeah, just those two. And then I'll need to Speed EV train Magnemite, Magby, Metatite, Corefish, and yeah, just those 4. Okay, so... Yep, we have 2 more EV training spots to do. I want to finish the Pokedex just as bad. I want to get it done too, but you got to do the right measures, go through the right process. I want to be impatient so bad, but we can't do that here. We are so close. Michelle once again. We're at 253 out of 256. I can't believe we're over 24,000 encounters on the account now. That snuck up on me, I feel like. All these numbers, everything's sneaking up, dude. 700 hours, 24,000 encounters. Where did that come? I'm just playing the game. Where did that come from? Okay, chat, I totally fucked up. I promised my wife we would go to Olive Garden at 4:30 p.m. It's 4:42, okay? Never be late for your wife at Olive Garden, okay? That's the moral of today's lesson. I'm going to go use XP candies. I'm completing the Pokedex now. I'm doing it now, boys. I'm completing it now. I'm going to go use XP candies to level up my Rhyhorn into Rhydon. We're doing it. Fuck it. We do it live. Fuck it. We're doing it now. We're doing it live. We're doing it now. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to... What does this need? Some weird item. Magmamizer. Boomba. Boom. That's... We only need 3. We need 3 more species. Boom. That's 1 out of 3. We need 2 more. We need 2 more. Godspeed. Yeah, we need to go level this up near a magnetic field. I believe the Kanto power plant works for that, right? We're going to go do that with an XP candy. We're going to go grab our Rhyhorn. I will see you guys to complete the Pokedex in 2 seconds. Okay, let this be a lesson to never make your wife wait for her breadsticks. XP candy. Okay, we use this on Magneton. 1 level. Boom. Magnezone. Achieved. 1 Pokedex entry left. 1 left. Just Rhyperior. Okay, next up, we level up our Rhyhorn into Rhydon. Level 42. We need 7 levels. Boom. This should let it evolve. Then we use a protector item on it. Okay, here's the evolution. Let's see. Johto. We're 1 away. Okay, protector. We're gonna speedrun this. Speedrun. Watch. Come on. No, come on. You're trolling me. You're wasting ticks, bro. No gold split. Okay, out of battle. Okay. Protector. Okay. Boom. Our 1 protector. Boom. Boom. Johto Pokedex completed. That is our first ability patch on the Iron Man. That is specifically the fire ability patch. That will give us hidden ability Charizard for upcoming raids during all of event season. That is absolutely massive. Woo! There it is. 2v6 and 2v6. Let's head over to Johto really quick and go grab the patch. Okay, we're here in Johto, New Bark Town. I think this is the girl we talked to, the redhead girl. I've done it. Thanks to your excellence. Get this ability patch. But yes! Ability patch fire. The first one ever on the Iron Man account. We use it. Look at this beautiful. We have it. We're going to have it for 2 seconds. And now we use it on a perfect raid Pokemon. Boom. We have a hidden ability Charizard. Perfect for raids on a fucking Iron Man account. I did this shit without trading or using the GTL. And it only took 700 hours. Woo! We did it, boys. That's a huge accomplishment. That's fucking sick, dude. Okay, I am last minute rushing over to this Alpha Lucario over here. I actually had to come back and forth between this cave, and we are really deep into this cave. You have to go to Guidance Chamber, which is very deep inside of Mastralton Cave, and for some reason, I don't have Rock Smash or Strength HM in Unova. I need to go get those after this because I almost just got deeply punished for this. This Alpha Lucario spawn, Alpha Lucario spawn despawns in 6 minutes or 5 minutes or so as I'm looking at the timer. It's a guesstimate. We never know for sure. The other problem is I'm just realizing I forgot my Spinda. So I am deeply unprepared for this Alpha catch, but I'm just going to hope for the best because I had to rush here. It was my only way to get to it. Alpha Lucario, not a very common spawn. I don't know if I've caught one on this account ever. It might be the first one. I can actually, honestly, we can check that over in the Alpha Pokedex. Honestly, the Alpha Pokedex also something kind of cool. Yeah, I've definitely not caught one. There we go. On the Iron Man account, the Alpha Pokedex is actually interesting because every single alpha that you see, you actually did catch in the wild because obviously you can only acquire alphas that you've actually caught on an Iron Man account. But on a main account, the Alpha Dex isn't a cool achievement, in my opinion, because you can just buy all the alphas and rebreed them, and that's how you get Alpha OT. And it doesn't work like that for any of the normal Pokedex stuff, but for Alpha OT, it weirdly does. So, not really a cool accomplishment, sadly, but on, an Iron Man account, it's still a really cool thing. So, I don't want to attack into this thing with Pikachu. I guess I could. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to discharge and hope that I don't one-shot. I don't. I also don't want to paralyze, though. Okay, that's fine. wanted to chip it down a little bit. If I one-shot, I still have 5 minutes. I would basically switch channels or like log in and log out and get the respawn really quickly. Hoping this fight goes okay from here. I'm going to cross my fingers. Wish me luck. All right, I was getting real nervous there, but we did somehow manage to catch this thing. And dude, oh, that stat placement is so good. This will be a fantastic special attacking. I think my current Lucario is mixed, if I recall. Mixed or like leaning physical. This could be a fantastic special only one. 31 attack, 31 speed, or just be a breeder, 31 HP. Or just be used like during raids as like a high level, you know, Pokemon. But this did despawn. This Alpha Swarm did despawn, so that was my last chance. I was running low on Pokemon, as you can see. Because I wasn't able to contrary skill swap, every timer ball that failed was raising the Lucario stats. So it was just getting stronger and stronger throughout that fight. Oh, that was a really scary, scary fight. But somehow I honestly just got lucky. If I lost that, it would have been okay. It would have been like a damn, you know, it is what it is. I was underprepared. That sometimes happens. All right, but like I said, I promised I would never put myself in that situation again. You got to learn from your mistakes. Not having the Strength or Rock Smash HM in Unova almost cost me that Alpha. So I just quickly Googled where to get Strength in Unova. It is that simple. Go over to Nimbasa City over here in PokeMMO, obviously. Over in Nimbasa, it should be, is it this? It's one of these trainers. Should have it. Let's talk to both of them really quick. Maybe it's upstairs? It should be someone in here, I believe. Maybe this fella? Let's see. Inspires me to give you this Sunstone. Not quite what I'm looking for. What are the odds it's somewhere else? I'm just a moron who is in the wrong building. It's this building to the northwest of the Poke Center. Right here should be this fella. Boom. Powerful, man. HM strength. I'm not that powerful. Need to hit the gym, but thank you. I will take it. And then next up is Nakreen City. There's a Rock Smash HM over here. It should be one of the NPCs near Pinwheel Forest. I feel like I got this recently. It's going to be this girl. It's someone over here because, or is it this girl? It's someone near one of the rocks, I believe. Is it her? Let's fight her first, I guess. I think hilariously, I never grabbed these HMs because I didn't do storyline guides for Unova. Or rather, I did my Unova storyline guide like many, many years ago on a different account. I didn't do my Unova storyline guide using my Ironman account. And I think because I did, like, I think it was Kanto and Unova out of a guide, I did a worse job. I like didn't check every nook and cranny and get every detail and resource, which is kind of, you know, funny, I guess. Kind of ironic. Oh, it's even closer than I expected. It's like literally the first NPC you encounter on the way to Pinwheel Forest west of Nakreen City. So she's really easy to find right there. All right, now I will have those in my, you know, in my TM slots and HM bag. So I hopefully will never miss out on an alpha like that again. While we're here, let's go grab this little Pokeball that's hidden over here, a free super potion. All right, and now since my EV training earlier was cut short to finish the Pokedex and go get some Olive Garden, let's go finish it. In case you forgot, we are just speed EV training 4 Pokemon heading over to Rapidash in Unova. There's one being a Magnezone, which will be used for PVM and PvP, a Metacham that'll be used for both as well, a Crawdaunt, which will really be used for both since I already have the Rain team built, and then a Magmoarter, which will pretty much only be for PVM. I don't see myself using a Magmoarter for PvP because it's not very good, and then also these stats don't really hold up in PvP. Once these puppies are finished, that is 4 new competitive Pokemon, like, added to the Ironman account. It's pretty crazy. Like, every time I complete a competitive Pokemon, it's just, like, staying there on the account. It's a weird, like, feeling of permanence I'm not used to. Often when I EV train and XP train and, like, create Pokemon on the main account, I would say for every 5 Pokemon that I make on the main account, maybe even more than that, I keep 1. I'm usually selling off way more than I'm keeping, right? So I'm used to training all these Pokemon over and over and over again, but now it's like on the Ironman, I don't really appreciate the sheer feeling of permanence because every Pokemon I'm creating, I am keeping forever, which is, I don't know, kind of neat. It's another like very similar kind of playstyle difference that you would never think about unless you actually like played the account. Very similar to like how spending Pokeyen on Pokeballs is you are spending that Pokeyen, it is going away forever. You are never getting it back, unlike you would on a main account. You're just trading it for a different resource. All right, and there is the speed EV training done. The honest question now is, what's next? And to be totally honest, I'm going to go ahead and just chill out, enjoy the rest of my Wednesday night, and go play some Minecraft. I think I've earned myself a nice little break completing that Pokedex today, having a banger stream, having some success, getting the Jimmy Run done, and making so many new PVM Pokemon. I'm going to continue to make some new PVM Pokemon hopefully tomorrow, as well as probably complete the Kanto Pokedex, because I was just checking, and look at this. I'm 2 Pokemon away, and realistically, 1 Pokemon away. I just need to go catch 1 Ivysaur and then evolve it into Venusaur, and I'm also done the Kanto Dex. And then that would leave me, 461 after completing the Dex, out of 604. So, ooh, what is that, like 140-ish away from completing the national deck? So it's one of those things, we're kind of still far away, but I don't know. How far is 140 Pokemon really? It might be the final push that I need on. It's the final fire under my Tookus to push for that final Pokedex, and the Mount Silver unlock is going to be so good, dude. All right, it is bright and early on the next morning, Thursday morning, and I've got myself an Alpha Patrat stream. I took today, or Alpha Patrat catch, excuse me. I took today off stream. I'm combining two different sentiments. I took today off stream to focus on the Iron Man and then other projects. I have a lot of desk work, editing thumbnails, so just some behind the scenes little jabber. We're going to go ahead and skill swap this thing, get myself a nice field aid group encounter. Might look to do some breeding today. Maybe do a Jimmy run even off stream because I'm just so broke. We have a lot to do. We'll see what we can fit in today. All right, simply took a few turns, but there is the Patrat catch. Let's check the IVs. I will take a 2x31 in attack and speed any day of the week. Probably the two most important stats in Pokemon. Alrighty, on my chill day, I'm going to go ahead and finish up a breed that I've had sitting in my Iron Man boxes for quite a while now. Yup, the infamous Dratini. I even put it in a luxury ball, and we low-rolled special defense, and it was kind of just unusable from that point forward. It did roll naughty nature, and if you're going to rock like an awkward nature on something like this, you want to go naughty because generally Dragonite tanks physical attacks better than special. It kind of depends, though. Like, the thing is, Dragonite tanks a lot of special attacks pretty well. You know, things like Giga Drain, things like Energy Ball. You know, it's 4 times resistant to a lot of things. It's really resistant to things like Flamethrower. Like, it tanks a lot of special things well. But the special attacks that it tanks well, it already tanks well. You know what I'm saying? However, the one thing it doesn't tank well, Ice-type attacks, which are almost always special, it's just going to die to that anyway. So it kind of just, you really want the defense to tank things like extreme speeds, you know, random shit, meteor mashes, bullet punches. Like, you want it to tank neutral attacks from physical attacks, in my personal understanding and opinion. So I have this Altaria, this 3x31 Alpha Altaria, been sitting in my boxes forever. I don't know if I just decided that I didn't want to use this on the Dragonite breed last time. I don't know why I decided that. I definitely fucking should. It's a perfect breed. I'm going to go ahead and go through with this for sure. And that's going to make this Dragonite a fucking sick Pokemon. Look at this, 3x31, 31 attack, special defense, speed, naughty nature. We're going to have that Marvel scale, which ends up being, what's it called? Multi-scale, when you evolve it into Dragonite, which makes it extremely tanky. At least when it's at full HP, of course. We're going to have, you know, 20 plus Spatak. With the naughty nature, I can go mixed if I want to. Honestly, I'm probably going to have to run a calculation. I think if I recall correctly, I wanted this to be like a Fire Blast. I like inserting Fire Blast on things, or even Ice Beam. Maybe Ice Beam would be, I'm not sure. The problem is, why go Ice Beam on a Dragonite? Because you can already Dragon Claw Guard Chomp. If that's, you know, that's what you would go it for, right? And you're probably one-shotting with that, but I could be mistaken. I have to calc. I want to go a Dragon Dance build, I think, on this one. Dragon Dance is just so powerful. Also, I mean, I've seen Choice Band. To be fair, I was getting obliterated by some Choice Band Dragonites in PvP, and it was piquing my interest, is what I'll say. I couldn't believe how much raw damage that sucker was doing, and a lot of people switch out on Dragonite because they don't want him to set up Dragon Dance, so they want to be able to switch into something to answer him immediately, so you get a lot of free damage with that Choice Band set. Let's go check PvP stats really quick and see. Yeah, Choice Band has become the majority set. That is crazy. That's really cool in my opinion. That's actually pretty sick. Weakness policy also up to 12%. That is fucking awesome. I wonder if that's some sort of like, you go like Balti Dragonite. What do you try to get hit by? Like a dragon attack? I assume you go like Balti and try to tank. I don't know what. I was thinking like a Dragon Claw from Guard Chomp. But no, that would just two-shot you. You couldn't respond to that. Maybe like an Ice Shard? But that, you're 4 times weak. I don't know if you're tanking an Ice type attack. What are you tanking on a Dragonite? Like, is Volt Switch? I think Volt Switch is neutral, right? Because Dragon resists, like, all the elements. It's a really, really weird typing, but we're going to go through this breed regardless. Going to give us a beautiful Dragonite. I did not realize that Choice Band had become the premier set. You also get to go Choice Band Adamant Extreme Speed on Dragonite, which is really fucking cool, so there's a lot of cool stuff going on. I want to go the Dragon Dance build because I think it's sick, and it can run away with games. Dragonite is definitely mostly a PvP Pokemon, so we're mostly building it for PvP here. However, maybe one day we'll see a dragon raid. I don't think we've ever seen one, but one day if we ever see a big dragon raid, it'll be a good a decent option, I hope. All right, I'm in box clearing mode. I set up 2 really simple field egg group breeds. They are both just 31 attack, 31 speed, the perfect kind of breeds you want to see. I do want to make sure to actually breed one of these male because I have a female field Poochyena that's 31 speed and then 31 speed, but then it also has adamant nature. So I'd like to turn that into a breeder. So I'm going to go ahead and I mean, should I randomly roll? You know what? I'm going to risk it. This is kind of dumb. Maybe I should just pay for one. I was like, oh, let's just risk it. Surely one of these will roll male. But then the problem is, what if one of them doesn't? It costs 5,000 Pokeyen. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to pay for one of them to come out male so I can guaranteed breed with that Poochyena. I'm also going to go grab that Poochyena from my PC before I forget. Also to show you guys things like this. It's good to look at your boxes and try to set up breeds before. I have a lot of Pokemon. I'm starting to gather a lot of Mons like this, where they are 1x31 with a nature, which is really, really good. You do actually want to value those Pokemon, put them aside, use them as proper breeders, and not just like random little 2x31 rolls, right? So I'm going to set that guy aside. I also have my Dratini breed that has hatched. Let's throw that over in our PC, see how it came out. I don't know if we had any rolls on this, to be fair. I don't think there was any like, oh, how's it going to come out? Like, I don't think there was any crazy rolls here, but it's a beautiful Dratini. Like, that is a sick Dratini. I'm super fucking happy with that. Hidden ability. Also, it stayed alpha the whole time through all the breeds. That'll get EV trained in the future delightfully. All right, next up, while those eggs are hatching, we're going to head over to Kanto, and I'm going to go catch one little Pokemon, one Ivysaur over at Route 5 in Kanto, and then evolve it, and that's going to complete the Kanto Pokedex and unlock the next ability patch. That ability patch is going to be a water ability patch because I picked Squirtle in Kanto, which, I mean, it's fine. It's probably like the weakest ability patch, but it's also the single one water ability patch I'll ever have on the account. So it'll kind of just sit in my inventory until maybe one day I need it. But I'm mostly going to be like really safe with it because, once again, it's the only one I'll ever really have on the account. All right, that was not too bad at all. There's the Ivysaur encounter. I have to soak it so that then I can sport, make it a lot easier to catch, and then it should be easy peasy. All right, there's the Ivysaur catch. Don't need any IVs on this thing. Yeah, perfect. Let's go level this. Well, first, before I forget, let's head over to Island 4. We do have our 2 hatches. We can actually check to see if we got like any nature rolls. That would be cool to see. 2x31, 2x31, no nature rolls. This one did. Oh no, this one didn't randomly roll male. So I'm glad we paid for this one to be male, just in case we needed one for sure for this pooch. Now we're going to throw the Sentret over in a box for later. We'll use that one day as a proper breeder. But for now, we're going to go ahead and grab the the Seal. That's also a field egg group breeder. We're going to put an attack brace on that, an Everstone on our pooch. Go through with that breed. It's going to give us a 2x31 adamant field egg group Pokemon. We do want to go ahead and make this male because ideally, this is the perfect breeder for, you know, a PVM Pokemon, not a PvP Pokemon. But if we need like a raid Pokemon on the fly that's in the field egg group, this is exactly what we want to have prepared. So having that ready in advance is going to save us a ton of time during upcoming event season, hopefully. All right, now I'm going to go do a little XP training and set a timer for that as well. I like to log like how much time, how many hours I spend XP training because I do have a goal that if I spend over 5 hours XP training on the week, that counts as a tier 1 goal complete. And that's a good encourager to actually make me do probably one of the most boring things, maybe the most boring thing on the Ironman account, but probably one of the most important things and time-consuming things as well. We have a lot of XP training always to do. So over to the Battle Frontier we head. Once we get the Pokedex done and unlock Mount Silver, that's going to be a massive boon to our XP training. If you don't know, the best XP training spot in the entire game is over there, where you can train on Donphans and Dodrios, but you also need a specific special attacking Rampardos to do that. So it'll be a whole journey once we unlock that. I'm going to do a quick check-in on other Pokedexes. We're about to complete the Kanto one. Johto is obviously done. Hoenn, we're about 40 or so away from. Sinnoh, we're pretty far, I guess 40 as well. And then Unova, we're like 90 Pokemon away. Well, I actually had these 3 different Pokemon in my boxes recently, and I was keeping them to go ahead and level them up and basically release them later. However, I actually already got an artillery, so I don't need this anymore. I'm going to go ahead and release that Remoraid. It had some stats, but it was doubled up in attack and special attack, so I'm not going to worry about it. And Minccino, wait a minute, I didn't realize Minccino is a stone evolution, to be fair. Do I have any extra shiny stones? I do. I think I'm going to go ahead. Not many Pokemon need shiny stone. I don't like to use the evolution stones where possible. The elemental ones, no problem. They cost Pokeyen, so it's easy peasy. Things like the shiny stones, the dust stones, the untradeable ones, I like to try to keep, but hey man, sometimes you just can't. I'm going to go ahead and shiny stone this Minccino, evolve it, and then just release it, clear up some box space. A day off stream is the best time to kind of do boring stuff that's just needed to upkeep the account. Like, a lot of the Ironman account is just upkeep. It's just doing stuff like cleaning your boxes, doing the little 2x31 breeds, doing your gym reruns. Like, a lot of stuff is just daily grinds. That's PokeMMO, that's the MMO. I love it, but it doesn't always make for the most interesting content, and I hope I can still keep it spicy for you guys. All right, not quite the Ivysaur yet, but I was also leveling this Wailmer, because when that evolves into a Wailord, that will also be a new Pokedex entry. So, small little new Pokedex entry here. Also, and what a cool Pokemon. I love Wailord, man. Would absolutely adore a shiny on the Iron Man. The problem is there's, like, literally no real reason to go for a shiny Wailmer on the Iron Man. Like, there's no practical reasons, but you know what? We will reach a point. I think I've been thinking about that a lot. We will reach a point on the Iron Man account where I do want to just shiny hunt for fun, and it's not for a practical reason. Like, I will reach a point where I'm just shunting, right? Was that a Metagross Swarm? Yes, it was. I'm gonna head over there in a quick second. I'm glad I saw that. I just opened up my I was literally just opening up the map to fly. That was lucky timing. Do I want to go finish the Ivysaur evolution first? I think I do. It's level 28. It's so close. We're gonna finish that first. I'm gonna release this Wailmer, or Wailord now, excuse me. Cool Pokemon. Love it very much. Don't need it. Gonna release it. I'm gonna go finish this Ivysaur evolution, then go for those Metagrosses. See when the despawn is in my Discord. All right, there is the final evolution, man. This is Venusaur. This is the Kanto Pokedex complete. It's just crazy, man, how that just passively happened alongside the Johto one. Let's appreciate this moment really quickly. What's up, Venusaur? How are you doing today? Thank you for your help, man. That is 463 out of 604 in the total Pokedex, and the Kanto Pokedex complete. All right, thankfully this Metagross Swarm has like 25 minutes left, 23 minutes-ish left. It was like just spawned, so it is fresh. We should be able to hopefully go catch all of them. I'll take a free Moonstone on the way, though. I just realized, I don't know why I said that I would set a timer for the XP trading for the Ivysaur. That took like 5 minutes. Like, I don't know. Oh, yeah, this is really going to rack up my hours. I don't know why I thought leveling Ivysaur from 19 to 32 was going to do it. But anyways, we're going to go find these Metagrosses deep in this cave, most likely. Okay, there is a Pokeball here. If I recall correctly, this Pokeball is something important. This is the very back of Meteor Falls. If you don't know, this is where you go to single encounter Bagon. I have an inkling that this is something... Okay, not as important as I expected, but a free Dragonclaw TM. Very happy with that. All right, I finally found one of them at least. They are really deep and in a weird location in this cave that I am not used to going to, but let's see this catch. They're usually a pretty difficult one. We can dust ball them in here. We can do timer balls, of course. Let's see how tough this catch is. I don't know if they have takedown or any sort of self-damaging moves, so I'm going to like play around that a little bit by sporing preemptively. Okay, this sucker is a tough catch. It took until turn 14 to catch that thing, which is normal for an alpha Pokemon, not for a random, you know, little spawn. Obviously, it's a Metagross. I get it, right? But still, that is quite a tough catch for a non-alpha Pokemon. All right, up to Metagross number 2. Each one of these is a whole journey. It's kind of the equivalent of catching like an easy alpha Pokemon. So I'm going to show you guys each roll. Man, these fights are brutal. My Breloom actually went down. I think I was just not paying attention. I don't know how that happened, because this thing should be really tanky. I'm going to go ahead and spend the time to actually revive him. I'm running a little bit lower on revival herbs, though, since I used to actually get those by hunting for legendaries in Kanto. You know, I'd payday pickup over at Pattern Bush, I believe. But here we go. On to our third Metagross. Both 2 Metagrosses so far. No IVs. Like, honestly, some of the worst IVs possible, but that's okay. It's, you know, it's for the chance, for the opportunity. We still have 2 more Metagrosses, but there's only... Dude, this is like a 25-minute swarm. There's only 10 minutes left. I'm also, if you're wondering, I'm using my own Discord. It's not even like a tool of my own. It's my own Discord. It has this amazing tool set up under swarm callouts. They do it for alphas, like phenos, everything, right? Now they even tell you like how much time is estimated to be left on the swarm and stuff. And that, oh man, that has been a huge boon. I'm not gonna lie, that has been one of my favorite new assets on the server. Okay, because that third Metagross wasn't too bad, I should still have enough time for the fourth one. Also, Brave is actually like a relevant nature. You can sometimes go, or at least have gone on Metagross in the past. I got, oh wait, that's the Steven fight. Wait. I don't know if I'm ready for all that. I totally forgot. That's like a big fight you can do, I believe. Where's the final Metagross? Over here? Okay. Whew. I don't know if my current team is... If I went to my PC and like got a team, I probably could. That's like some big PVM fight. I just don't even know if there's rewards for it in PokeMMO is the problem. I honestly can't remember the last time I did that. Once again, Hoenn came out in 2015 initially, so... That's when I played, you know, it in full and went through all the endgame content and stuff. Usually I'm just rushing through it for alt accounts nowadays. All right, ooh, that fourth Metagross was the hardest catch by far. Ooh, we see some stats here. None of these Metagross were that good. It literally took me the full, I think 25, I think it took me like 30 minutes to catch these 4 Metagross, dude. Sometimes it's crazy, like little moments like this, little clips like this, just going to catch 4 Metagross. Yeah, that took me 30 minutes. Hey man, that's PokeMMO for you. Whew. Honestly, like any 20 plus, when it comes to like genderless rare mons like this, anything that's 20 plus, like I might just start whipping these breeds together and just trying to breed something up that has 20 plus in like 4 or 5 stats. This thing is pretty useless, to be fair. I could keep that as a rare breeder, plop it over here. I do actually need to do, as you can see, I have 30 Dittos set up at my rares. I do need to do a little Iron Man batch is what I've been calling it. An Iron Man batch just being 30 rolls at a rare shiny, and then I have some more shittos prepped over here. I just haven't been in a rush for like this amount of PC space, slash usually it gets filled up anyway, but if I need to clear some PC space, that'll be an easy way to do so. Also, our breeder hatched a second ago. Didn't really mention it, but we know how it's coming out. 2x31 Adamant Field age group. The HP might have high rolled. That could actually be amazing in the future. 28 HP, a male 2x31 breeder with correct nature. We'll plop that over to our breeder's box. Our breeder's box is looking pretty full, but at the same time, you see a few empty spaces here. I'm gonna go ahead and consolidate all my breeders and see if we can open up a few more spaces. All the spaces would be opened up over here if so in the more breeders box. Okay, wow, you know what? Look at that. We just cleared like 20 or so spaces. Honestly, I kind of have a bit more space than I realized. I mean, a bit more space is less than half a box in my last breeder box, and then all of this being full. Oh man, box space on the Iron Man is a travesty. It's definitely a lot to keep track of. I mean, I'm gonna reach a point as well. Look over here. I'm gonna reach a point where I'm gonna have to have a second comps box. My comps box is filling up. This is getting silly. All right, haven't played a whole lot of PokeMMO today, but we do have an Alpha Pinsir Swarm over here in Unova. Gonna go catch that. Love me an Egg Group Breeder. Now, I also specifically took my Poison Orb off of my Breloom for this fight because my Breloom's already poisoned #1, and this Alpha does have a Thief move. Now, I'm out of Spores, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and glad I actually caught that. I'm gonna go, ooh, do I want to? That's a good question. Ooh, do I want to waste like an elixir or something? I think I do, because I just want to not get what's it called? Or ether? Not elixir. Ether, right? Yeah. We'll do a Lepa Berry, actually. Or should I? No, let's do... Sorry, I'm like back and forth today. Let's just do this on Spore. There we go. Yeah, there we go. We'll do that. I don't want to get the Toxic Orb stolen by the Thief from Pinsir, so I'm going to go ahead and do it like this, and this should work out. Hopefully we don't fail this catch. That'd be really unfortunate. We wasted an ether, but that's okay. We're going to still swap spin to do the typical alpha strategies, and I will see you guys hopefully with a good bug A group breeder. Okay, this fight became extremely awkward because I used a Thunderbolt on my Pikachu and it accidentally paralyzed the Pinsir, so I couldn't spore it. And the stats are fine. 31 Spatak and Bug A group is a little weird. Like Volcarona wants it, but that's kind of the main one, so I don't see a whole lot of... Hello? My game just like Omega froze, but that's fine. We'll take it as, you know, a 2x31 is a 2x31. Yo, what's up? My name's Petrowski. It's a fresh day on the Iron Man, and I just set a 30-minute timer, and I'm going to do something very specific. I'm going to try to get as many effective Pokedex entries as possible within those 30 minutes at the start of the day. I like this kind of strategy. It puts a fire under my tuchus and makes me do a lot more work than I normally would do. If you've never done this while playing PokeMMO, I definitely recommend giving it a try. Setting yourself a timer and trying to do as much work as possible within that timer definitely helps someone like me. But I think I'm going to go ahead and narrow down my focus a little bit more to help me once again focus even more, essentially. I'm going to be focusing on the Unova Pokedex specifically, and I think that will help me just know where to go next and go through things a lot more precisely. Now, when I say effective Pokedex, I mean effective Pokedex. So, what that means is, if I catch one Pignite in the wild, that is effectively 3 different Pokedex entries, because then I can go XP train the Pignite up into an Emboar, and then breed it back down into a Tepig, and boom, that's 3 Pokedex entries off 1 wild catch. Not always how you would do things, you know, when I say things like, oh yeah, I got 20 Pokedex entries in this one 30-minute period. Do not think that as literal ones. You know, there's still more work and more time that has to go into it, but I like the idea of judging it like this, so I'm gonna do that. You know, that's kind of where I'm at. So let's go ahead. I think I'm ready, honestly, to go ahead and just start this timer. We are starting at Pignite Route 7. I have to figure out where Route 7's at in Unova really quick. Kind of cheating a little bit, getting a little bit of a head start, but you know what? That's okay. We're going to need every little second we can. 1, 2, 3, let's go. The timer has officially started. I think Route 7, I'm guessing, is over here. To be fair, I don't know what side of Route 7 is actually on. Actually, this has Twist Mountain on the left side, so I shouldn't go here. That was a small waste of time, but that's okay, to be expected. My party is just generally good at catching Pokemon. I'm guessing Pignite is going to be up here to the northeast over here. We're going to pop Lures. Now, this is going to be a little awkward, to be honest, because the grass is super long. We're going to pick up our free Great Ball over here as well. I don't know, man. We're going to get all the Pokeballs. We're going to explore the world. Deerling. I might not have a Deerling catch. That's another, honestly, yeah, wow, okay. Another really cool thing is that I just don't have a lot of the Pokemon over in Unova. It's actually got my Unova Pokedex is like very, very empty. You know, we should actually log what the starting number is. 206. The starting number is 206, okay? Keep that in mind. I think this thing might be a normal grass type, so I'm not going to spore it just in case. If not, that's okay. It would evolve into a grass type, but it may, I don't know. I don't know if I can spore it. I'm going to go ahead and Pokeball it. Easy catch. There is our first catch. We're already making Pokedex progress. That's 207. Honestly, effectively, that's 208. And I will say, like, so this Deerling's level 30 in the wild, and it only needs level 34 to evolve. To me, that is an effective extra catch, essentially. Both of these I have caught, so I'm just going to run from this, but I'm going to start keeping track over on my calculator on the bottom middle of my screen. I'll tighten it up here in a quick sec. I do want to double check to make sure I don't have Sawsbuck. Yes, I do not. Okay, that is effectively 2 Pokedex entries then. I'll see you guys with a new one. Oh, dude, there's the Pignite. Okay, that was really lucky. That wasn't bad. That's going to speed me up a fair bit. The fact that it only took 2 minutes is actually incredible. Now, I do think there's a really high chance this thing has takedown. Pignite, I feel like as a Pokemon, Imbor's Pokemon, big fan of like Wild Charge, Flare Blitz. Like, these guys love their recoil moves. So I'm going to try to avoid what's it calling him if possible. We should go for the Spore into the Ultra Ball. These things might have a really difficult catch rate, though, to be fair. Once again, if I can catch him, that will be effectively like 3 new Pokedex entries. Heat Crash. Okay, that's fine. I wonder if I can actually check his move pool. Well, he's not my Pokedex. I was going to say, if he's in my Pokedex, I could check his move pool at this current level. Maybe I do just have to risk it, go for a Spore into a False Swipe, and hope for the best. I just misclicked and ran from him. Oh, that's... Hey, man, human error is human error. That's how it goes sometimes. Man, that sucks. What a bonehead move. It's early. I'm just waking up. There's a Zebstrika. I don't have a Zebstrika. If I can catch this, that would effectively be 2 Pokedex entries, because I believe I don't have a Blitzel either. Hoping this doesn't have takedown, but it might. Okay, Thunder Wave is actually really annoying. I'm not going to lie. Let's see if I have Blitzel. Try to Spore through the Thunder Wave. I do not have... Okay, this is effectively 2 Pokedex entries. So honestly, a little bit, you know, of course, I actually purposefully, I missed out on the Pignite catch. So I could get a Zebstrika here, of course. That was actually purposeful, intended mechanic. All right, but that catch is +2. Ooh, I can't believe I ran from the Pignite. Oh my goodness. And now I need to like Paralyze heal my... No stats. I need to Paralyze heal my Breloom and put the Toxic Orb back on it. I took the Toxic Orb off of it because I was going against a certain Alpha that would thief the item. I think it was a Pinsir. And that would have made that whole fight a pain in the butt. So, okay, let's find this Pignite again. It should be 1 in 20 encounters, but I got lucky last time. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this. That sucks. Ooh, Cubchoo. I don't know if I have this Pokemon. I do not. Okay, beautiful. We're getting extra Pokedex entries on accident. I'll take a Cubchoo. All right, there's the Cubchoo catch. We'll take a free Asper Berry. Any berries, man. All free berries, very welcome. Now, we caught the Cubchoo. We don't have Bear Tick. Bear Tick's level 37. That's not too bad. We're going to count that as effectively 6 Pokedex, or sorry, +2 Pokedex entries as well, because that'll be a quick level. If someone was like level 2 and the evolution was 40, I don't know if I would count that, but things like 30 to 37, I'm fine to count that. It's like 2 hordes at Tenant Rule. Little Fungus encounter. I don't know if I have him either, and I do not. Beautiful. When does he evolve into Amoonguss? Is my first thought. Moongus. Sus. Okay, level 39. Yep, 30 to 39. I will count that as 2 Pokedex entries if I can get the catch. I should be able to. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I am so glad that even though I missed out on the Pignite, I'm still making up for it to some extent with other catches. That feels really good. I'm not gonna lie. I was really bummed, but this is working out to a decent extent. And there is that Fungus catch, dude. Hell yeah. All right, some of these stats. I love a good IV one as well. The problem is you really want hidden ability on Fungus. That is like pretty good IVs though, like high defense, high HP, special attack. The problem is, to make Amoonguss good, you need it to be hidden ability. You need it to have Regenerator, and usually, from my understanding, those only come around during events. I don't know if there are wild alpha Amoonguss swarms. That might be an event-only swarm that, as an Ironman, I'm going to have to super look out for. Okay, this Pignite is wasting so much time. I might owe you guys 15 more minutes, to be totally honest. And that will just be like extra minutes on top of it. I'm not going to like pause or reset or whatever. But that might be, I think I owe you guys 15 more minutes, depending on how much longer this Pignite takes. But I think that's only fair. All right, there is that Pignite. Okay, whew. We might do like 10 extra minutes, honestly. I feel like that might work out nicely. Let's go ahead and get this Pignite prepped and ready for catch. Ooh, do I want to false swipe first? And I'm like so scared to risk. Last time I was like willing to risk the false swipe or whatever. I'm way less willing to risk it now that this was a whole adventure. All right, there it is. Did not have to false swipe it. Dream Ball because it was asleep for a few turns. Beautiful. That is going to be +3 over on our Pokedex. Once again, 3 effective. Honestly, like not bad stats as well if I want to go physical on it, which is generally what you would do. All right, this is our first time actually moving locations, which is kind of crazy. Our first time moving spots during this little challenge. Next up is Route 18 in Unova. We're basically going to go do the same thing. Route 18, where the hell? Is that going to be over here? Ooh, that's kind of far out. But you know what? I think I can get there, and I think it's worth it. Let's try to make our way there. After this time is up on the timer, I think I might add 10 more minutes as well. I might pop a repel here as well to get over to the location really quick. We could save our lore steps as well that way. I am starting to run a little bit low on repels. I bought 100 of each repel towards the like beginning of this challenge, or like once I had Pokeon on the account. And dude, they have been honestly some of the best Pokeon I ever spent. It's actually insane how good these repels were. Like, it sounds dumb, but like every single time I pop one, I'm like, thank everything I have repels on this account, you know? Like, playing Pokemon without repels would be such a fucking nightmare. I feel like casual players or new players, or even me as an Iron Man, I was kind of nervous to like quote unquote waste money on repels, because you could just save your money. You could just save your money and tank the encounters, right? Like, theoretically, it's kind of a quote unquote waste to spend money on repels. However, time is money, right? Time is money, and repels saving you that time. And not only that time, but in my opinion, like that energy, like that mental energy of not having to do an encounter, run from it, do an encounter, run from it. I was checking to see if the duo was in grass or water, so it's used that. It's a totally different, it's such a lifesaver. I think repels are absolutely necessary when playing Pokemon. I could not recommend them enough. Okay, there's no way I have a, actually, do I have a duo? I'm gonna have an alpha. Yeah, I was gonna say, actually, I was going to say there's no way I have a Dwebble, but weirdly I think I might have a Dwebble. Maybe I caught one on the way to an alpha or something like that. So we're at 191 lore steps left. We're now over here at Route 18. This is where you should get Duat. Let's see if we can get Duat or something else for our decks. There's a Sock. So Sock, I do have one, actually. I was going to say, Sock is actually, can weirdly and has weirdly been a raid Pokemon in the past. Pretty rarely, but it can be a good backup fighting type Pokemon. You also see a lot of people here doing Time Swipe Hordes. This is why. They're doing Time Swipe Hordes for Scraggy shunting is usually the reason. You also can get Time Swipe Hordes of Throw and Sock here, depending on the time of day. I think at nighttime, it's 100% Scraggy. This is a fantastic shunting spot for Scraggy. And you can actually heal within this house right here, this little green house, and not use any level berries. So it's actually a free shiny hunt, which is awesome. All right, took a few encounters, but not too many, man. We're getting decent enough luck today. There is that Duat. I think I should be safe to, I'm pretty sure I should be safe to false swipe this. This Dwebble hilariously might have Sturdy, is the other thing I'm worried about. Let's see if we see a Sturdy proc. Nope, okay, whew, nice. All right, not too bad. There is the Duat catch. It's going to be +3 over on our effective Pokedex entries gained. So we're effectively gained 14, which, you know what, is not enough for a guy like me. So we're going to keep going. Unova. Next up, I'd love to go for a Tranquil, I think. If we could catch like a highish level Tranquil. Route 12, you know what? That's actually, that route might have some easy Pokemon for me to go for. There might be a few Pokemon over here. This is the perfect place to go to. Route 12 with lures, especially back on this dark grass. The only problem, I think I do have a Dunsparce. Yeah, I need that for the Kanto Dex. The only problem with, they're high level, which is like fine, you know. The only other problem is if I go to the dark grass, there's going to be double encounters. Let me move my Smeargle up here. I don't want these Rapidash Time Swipe Hordes either. These are not beneficial to me, but there should be things like Combee here, Pinsir Heracross. We already have those. I think the main thing I'm looking here for is that Tranquil. There should be tons of Tranquil here. I don't think... Yeah, there we go. High level Tranquil, so we can go ahead and catch it. evolve it, and then breed it back down. And that's 3 like quick Pokedex entries. I'm gonna look for my next Pokedex entry already while we're catching this. This should be a very common encounter here. Roost is fine. I'm actually okay with that. Gigalith is a trade, right? So I will have to catch a Gigalith in the wild, but that is like I just missed like sub. That should be fine. Hopefully that shouldn't cause any problems. We should be okay. Might go for a Spore really quick into a... Yeah, Spore first, False Swipe second really quick here. Let's figure out what we're going to after this. Swoobat will do in the future. Drillbur, Excadrill, we could go for... We could go for a Wild Conkeldurr, because then we can breed it down. My only concern is I don't know where in Twist Mountain Conkeldurr is. Whenever I see something like this, when I see something's in a cave and it's a lore encounter, it terrifies me. Because I don't know, different Pokemon spawn on different like floors, and I just never know which one's going to be which. We're going to Great Ball this just in case. It's almost impossible to tell, so I don't feel super comfortable going for Conkeldurr. Palpitoad, though, however... Palpitoad slash Temple. Could go for... What level is Evolve? 25? I'd rather just go for the Palpitoad. I mean, there's a Tranquil caught, so we got that. Did I already add the +3 for the Tranquil? Now I kind of... Wait a minute. I kind of forgot. Wait a minute. Let me go back to my little... Do +3. I don't remember. Let me check my clips really quick. No, I had not. I added my... +3 from the Duat, but I didn't add them from the Tranquil. I wasn't sure if I added them preemptively or not. So that's the Tranquil caught. That'll be +3 because we'll, once again, evolve it into Unpheasant and then breed it back down into Pidove. Next up, I think the best bet is to go for Palpitoad. Icarus City, very common. We can do that. Oh, is that on the grass or the water? Let's go double check one more time. Icarus City, grass, very common. So I don't know. That's going to be like... over here-ish. You have to like actually go over to like this area. I think, oh, but that's Route 8. There's the timer. I'm going to go ahead and reset the timer and add 10 more minutes and just keep going. Since I made the personal mistake, the error, what's it called? Something tells me that, is there grass up here? I do love this area. I should go up here more. I don't know. Oh, is it up here? That's what it is. You know what? There's always so, okay, it's here. Ooh, I also realized, wait a minute, this is a good spot to get... This counts as Dragon Spiral Tower, though. Is it up here? What is this considered? Dragon Spiral Tower. I believe this is also Dragon Spiral Tower. Okay, I don't know where Palpitoad's going to be at. What I can go do is go get myself a Vanillix or a Vanillish up here. And I don't think I have any of the Ice Cream Pokemon. So I think that would be a free... Yup, that would be... Yeah, let's do that. That's actually a good one. So I don't know where Palpitoad is quite exactly. It might be in the water. The problem is it says grass in the Pokedex. I'm going to grab this free nugget. So fun fact, you can only access this area in PokeMMO when it's when it is winter in game. So this is like the only time / the best time to come up here and do this really quick. I'm going to go for a quick, well, hopefully quick. Where's my single encounter, man? There we go. Quick Vanillish encounter. Beautiful. There it is. You can do time swipe hordes here of Vanillish. Honestly, it's a great time to shiny hunt Vanillish on the Ironman account if I ever wanted to do that. The problem is that it actually ends in like 2 days. I'm going to false swipe into Spore. This should be a pretty easy catch, and this will be +3 in the effective Pokedex entries. Okay, I messed up. I actually can't Spore him because he is uproaring, which makes him, you know, kind of loud and freaking out. So I can't put him to sleep if he's partying, is essentially the TLDR. I still need to figure out where my next go-to spot is. One of the hardest things while doing this is like figuring out what your next go-to catch is. You could go do Whirlipede. I like the idea of that. Pinwheel Forest, Dark Grass. Icy Rock. Yes, dude. Thank you, Vanillish. Yes, please, dude. That is an amazing... I love getting all the weather items. That is a fantastic free item to just pick up while doing the Pokedex. We're going to do Whirlipede next. That's in Pinwheel Forest, it says. I was going to head to Lost Lorn intuitively. We could go to Lost Lorn as well. Let's see. You know what? I like the idea of going... Where's my reactive gas wheezing? I like the idea of going Lost Lorn because there's a lot of spawns I need there, as well as I could get... Where's my wheezing at? Does it not have the correct ability, actually? Let's see. Bold Levitate. Okay. It's also level 40. It's not quite high enough, kind of. We're gonna do a few things. We're gonna put our Pikachu away. We're going to rush over to the daycare. We're going to go buy an ability pill really quick in the middle of this challenge. Got to do what you got to do. We're going to go buy an ability pill. We're going to head over to Lost Lorn Forest. If you don't know what I'm doing, you'll see kind of soon here. And we're going to single encounter over in Lost Lorn Forest and just hope for like Venopedes and other Mons. But I don't want to miss out on the chance for a Zorua. If you happen to not know, the only way, not the only way, one of the best ways to see Zorua in PokeMMO. Where's my ability pill? Didn't I just buy it? Hello? How am I typing so incorrectly? There we go. Boom, boom, reactive gas. Reactive gas is an ability that shuts off other Pokemon's abilities. Do I have a scarf? I do. Thank freak. Okay. Let's head over here. Beautiful. Back on track. Took about 30 seconds. Not too bad. Reactive gas is an ability that shuts off other Pokemon's abilities. Zorua has an ability called Illusion, which allows it to pretend to be a different Pokemon. And when you're shiny hunting Zorua or looking for Zorua in the wild, you have to be using reactive. You don't have to, but it's the best way, really. You want to use reactive gas. I'm going up the wrong path. I always do this, I think. I go the wrong path. I doubt I have this in my Pokedex, so we could catch this for Dex. Beautiful. Wrong path. Still new Dex entries. Do I have any of the Solaces? No, I do not. I will say, this is level 24, and I'd get to level 41. Can I nest ball this? Nest ball, it will be 2.4 times catch rate. We're going to try that. This is a little bit of a stretch to count this as +3 Pokedex entries. I think I'm still going to be honest, but this is where I'm like, okay, this is kind of stretching it. You know, this is a little further off, level 24 to 41, but I think it's still fine enough. We're going to count that +3. And we want to pop a baby repel. So I can head back over here, make it up here, and then head up here. And this is the Zorua location, the Zorua Forest. That's what a lot of people call it, you know, Lost Lorn Forest. People spend thousands of hours shiny hunting here, looking for very specific Pokemon, very specific things. I'm going to go ahead and lead with my Weezing, pop a lure, and just see whatever I can get. It's a really interesting spawn. There's Venopedes here. There's like Swadloons, I think. There's a lot of different things here. We're going to just hope to find some new stuff. Like, there's the Swadloon, and I think so, weird thing. I have a Swadloon, but I don't have a Swaddle or a Leavanny. The question becomes, do I still catch? I'm going to throw a nest ball at this and try to catch this. I don't know if I kept the Swadloon in my PC is my concern. Oh, it didn't catch, though, is the problem. Don't love that. It is bug type, so I can net ball it. That will give us higher catch rate. I'm going to try to catch this thing, and we could just have one in the dex. I don't think I'm going to count this as any potential Pokedex entry. Does that have to happiness? I'll count this as 1 for Swaddle, because I could easily rebreed this down into Swaddle for 1 Pokedex entry. The happiness Evo is too much. I'm not going to count that as an effective entry. You know, it kind of is if I put a lot more work in, but that's annoying. I'm not going to count that. Just going to do +1 for that. Hopefully we can find like a Zorua or perfect. A Pants. Oh, do I actually have this? No, I was going to say, what are the odds? Oh, man, that would have been a great one to randomly get. The monkeys, the elemental monkeys are weirdly a rare single encounter spawn in a lot of locations. I don't think I've ever caught a Petalil. I don't believe so. Okay. Whew. That's a good one to grab. I think that is effectively 2 different Pokedex entries. We can Sunstone it. We'll go ahead, and it's just a grass type, so I'm just going to try to nest ball it. Hope for the best. Not that nest ball is better on grass types. It was more so between nest and net. Net works on bug types. Nest just works on low-level Pokemon. There's the Petalil caught. Beautiful Rash. That's actually like pretty cool. We could turn this into a Lilligant. Lilligant's a pretty interesting Pokemon that can be really effective at times. It's one of the better, it was just +2 to our Pokedex entries. It's one of the better Quiver Dance users in PokeMMO in PvP, but it depends on the tier. It's usually like better in lower tiers like NU and stuff like that, but Lilligant has a place in PokeMMO for sure. Okay, nice. There's a Venipede encounter. That's one of the big ones I was looking for. That will be +3 Pokedex entries. That counts as Venipede, Whirlipede, and what's it called? Venipede, Whirlipede, and Scolipede. That's a pretty big one with 2 minutes left. Beautiful. There is the catch. That is +3. Okay, we're almost at 30 Pokedex entries. I might want to change locations after that. I could stay here for Zorua. I'm gonna keep doing an encounter while I think of my next spot to go to. But I think it's more likely, considering to my hordes, I guess, I'm really low on time. If I could just get 1 new catch, if I could just go skedaddle and get 1 new catch. Let me pop a few hordes, look for the Zorua. I could go to like Chargestone Cave. Ooh. I could go to like one of the caves and go get like Ferroseed. Ferroseed, Chargestone Cave. Yeah, so I would also love to get a Ferrothorn for my Rain team in PvP. Let's see, no Zorua encounters. We're at 1 minute. I'm just going to sprint over to Chargestone Cave, I think. Yep, let's do it. Let's just do it. I'm going to bring my Breloom to the top here. If I can get one more catch, it'll be 30 effective Pokedex entries. Come on. I've got a few seconds left. 45. Oh, come on. It's too easy. It's too easy. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This thing's going to have Iron Barb, so I'll take some chip, but it shouldn't have recoil, I don't believe. I can't spore this. I'm going to go for the False Swipe, bring it down to 1 HP. I cannot spore it. It is a grass type. It's going to ingrain, gain a little bit of HP. It's kind of annoying. The percentage of HP it gains, I don't know if it's different based on my Pokemon's level. Things like Leech Seed are. I don't think so. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just go for the 8 Ball here, Ultra Ball. I'm going to Ultra Ball to guarantee the catch. We have 15 seconds left. We'll count this as the 30th. Well, it'll be 30 plus 31 because Ferrothorn and Ferroseed. So beautiful. That is +2. That is 31 Pokedex entries gained in about 40 minutes. I'm going to let that clock run down. We did it. That was a fun little morning mini game, and I hope you guys enjoyed. That was a blast. That was way more fun to me than if I just was like, okay, guys, today we're gonna passively work on the Pokedex. Like, some days that's better if I'm tired, you know, I get it, but this was way more fun for me today. All right, I just woke up on Saturday morning, and there is an alpha Ditto spawn waiting for me over in Uniput. That's like waking up, heading to your computer, and finding a white monster just cracked, ice cold, ready for you to start your day. It's a beautiful feeling, fellas, but look at all of this lag. Look at all these players. I am tanking frames like nobody's business. I usually get like 500 FPS in PokeMMO, and I'm down to 12 over here for this Alpha Ditto. It's just so funny to see. Now let's watch how much it changes if I just have it here. You know, normally all the players, there's so many people. Head over here and change the player render limit to 1. The FPS gets saved a fair bit, but wow, it's even still hard to find the Ditto. I think that this is it. Yeah, this is it. You can kind of see that. It's still hard to find the Ditto through all the silhouettes, which is crazy. All right, I think this encounter is going to be cooked. It's going to overheat me here. Yeah, and obliterate me. The problem was overheat was raising Ninetales special attack because of my contrary, but I also kind of want to lower its stats at times. I think I'm going to not contrary this next attempt. It should change into Ninetales again when I come back to it. It should repeat that same. If you don't know, Alpha Ditto actually transforms into a random Pokemon each time, which is kind of funny. I'm going to grab something else to help chip it down. I had Weezing in my inventory, and that was just useless. It was just level 40, kind of doing nothing. Thankfully, the spawn was only 30 minutes or so ago, so I woke up at a really good time. We have plenty of time to do multiple attempts until we catch this. All right, that was a tough catch, and I muted the audio for you guys because the fireworks that people constantly set off in the background at these alphas is quite a lot. But honestly, I mean, I fucking love it. That's what MMOs I always say, like, are all about, like that community, that funny community aspect of, oh, you want to catch an alpha Ditto? Okay, we'll do it through all of this insane background noise, and we will take a 3x31 alpha Ditto. Yes, please. A fantastic special attacking breeder. Just need to put 31 speed on this thing and then roll up the HP. The nature's not there, but obviously that's, you know, unlikely to be there. Really good Ditto. Very happy with that. Once again, that is liquid diamonds. That is one of the, it might be the best resource we can get on the Iron Man. Like, I'm not trying to be dramatic, but that's how good alpha breeders are as alpha Dittos are as breeders. All right, but just a second ago, my box 1 was incredibly full. It was almost actually completely full. It was like down to here. There was only a few spots left, but I've moved things over. I've moved a lot of these Pokemon over to our release box. Remember, these were the Mons I caught yesterday during that 45-minute challenge or so, or 40-minute challenge of getting as many Pokedex entries as possible. Now, I'm going to do something very, very interesting. Instead of just going to Tentatrolls and leveling them, I'm going to go ahead and go do a gym rerun, make some Pokémon that I very desperately need, while also switching out which Pokemon is in my party and constantly leveling a new one. So maybe making some Pokémon, leveling these Pokemon, getting Pokedex entries. It's going to be really efficient, feel really fun. The only downside is like having to focus a bit more during my gym run, as well as constantly going to the PC to switch out my Pokemon. These Mons are down here because they evolve in like a different way. I think one of these is like a Sunstone, one is Happiness, and then one needs to be bred down. And you know what? Speaking of being bred down, let's head over to the Unova Daycare Center really quick and just breed a few things so we can actually switch out Pokemon into our incubator while doing our gym run, which is not something I'm used to. I keep forgetting the idea that we can just hatch eggs while doing our gym run. That's insane to a Pokemon boomer like myself. I am not used to that kind of mechanic. So what I want to go do, head over to the Daycare Man, go ahead and go do that Iron Man batch I've talked about, that Iron Man batch of rare shunting breeds, hoping for, you know, a rare. One day we'll get a rare egg shiny on the accounts. Will today be that day? Very unlikely, but one day we will. I also want to go ahead and actually breed this Shitto with this Zebstrika. That's going to get me an OT Blitzel and take care of another Pokedex entry. Now, I'm starting today with, a clean number. 475 caught OT clean. 475 caught OT once again. Let's see what I can end on today. There's the Blitzel breed. I'm going to go ahead and go do many other breeds. I'm going to go ahead and just go through with every single breed in this box. That'll give us 30 chances for a rare shiny to hatch out. I might even have a few extra Dittos and a few extra rare breeders, so we might go a little bit further as well. All right, I think that's all the eggs I'm going to make today. I made 7 eggs plus 29 more, so like 36-ish if my terrible math is good enough to be competent. All right, we're going to now head over to Natrine City. That first batch of eggs already hatched. That's beautiful. We can go ahead and remove all of these back to the PC and then fill all. That is, I literally mentioned that, like, I wish there was a remove all and fill all button when that update first came out, and they added it so quickly afterwards. That's a really, really nice quality of life thing. I'm not going to lie. If we're going to have the incubators, having the fill all remove all is fantastic. All right, next up, we're going to go ahead and move over to Natrine City, start our gym rerun. Our first Pokemon that we are XP training is going to be our Tranquil. We've got our Amulet coins. I'm so glad we have like enough Amulet coins now to like focus and do gym reruns for a while, as opposed to stressing about, when am I going to run out of Amulet coins? I won't be able to do runs anymore. I can go ahead, pop this sucker, get started. XP Ramplifier is on to make sure I can get some levels on my Tranquil. This thing only needs 1 level. If I can just get it, because it evolves level 32, is level 51 in the wild. I just need to evolve this thing one time, get 8,000 XP, that will evolve it, then I need to breed it down into a Pidove, and then we're cooking. All right, only took 1 battle. I was a little worried because it needed like 8,000 experience. I wasn't sure like how much experience you really get in, one gym rerun. I honestly just had no idea, or one like, fight, but there we go. There's the Unpheasant evolution. That's a new Pokedex entry once again. I'm not going to show you guys the progress throughout. We're going to see a big reveal at the end, okay? We started at 475 caught OT. I'm going to guess we end at like maybe 480, 485 in that range. That's what I'm hoping for. Let's head over to the next gym and then also switch out our Unpheasant for a new Pokemon. All right, all healed up. Gonna head over here really, really quick. Move these over a second. Put the Unpheasant in here. Whip it down there for now. I'm just gonna grab Deerling. I'm just gonna go from like right to left. Just grab whatever. I don't want to over focus on what I'm grabbing. Actually, to be fair, I messed up here. I should have grabbed something that was, what's the word? Like needed a lot more levels here, because I'm going to be doing 2 gyms back to back. So I could run out and grab a different Mon before I do the grass gym leader. That might be worth it, weirdly. I know it takes a lot of extra time. I'm not sure. It's slowing down the gym rerun for a little bit of level in progress. It's honestly, I don't know what's more efficient, but we might do it for the fun of it. We're at that point, you're arguing micro efficiencies where it's like, why does it matter? Just do what feels best to you there at that situation. It honestly brings up like an interesting topic / interesting discussion. I think a lot of PokeMMO players recently are kind of worrying a little too much. And like, obviously, I want people to play the way that they want to play. I think it's like the most important thing when you're playing an MMO is playing the game how you want to play, playing it how it's fun to you. I think sometimes players worry a little too much about doing the most efficient strategy when that's not something they really care about, but they feel like they ought to. They feel like guilty if they don't do the most efficient strategy. And that's something I want to, I guess, push back on or talk about. Like when it comes down to like raid Pokemon, right? Like you don't need 31 IVs on most raid Pokemon, or even in PvP. You need 31 speed in PvP a lot of the time. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of the times in PvP, the rolls aren't going to matter. You're going to just 25 plus is going to be plenty good and help you get into PvP and learn more comps and get better at PvP a lot faster than if I'm sure we've all met that person who's like, oh, like I swear one day I swear I'll start playing PvP once I get 15 5 times 31 Pokemon, so I can have 3 different teams with correct, IV, like nature, like it's like so much. And it's like, man, if that's your metric and you actually do it and you have fun with it, once again, more power to you. That's all that matters. But I think a lot of people, it's like the analysis paralysis, and I'm seeing that a lot, especially like the storyline runs. I think one of the places I see it the most is with storyline runs. People will ask me like, oh, like, what Pokemon should I use to beat the Pokemon storyline? And I'll give them what are, in my opinion, like my top 5, top 10. But I'll be like, man, like most things work. Like, get your favorite Pokemon. Get at least one powerful Pokemon. If you just get like a Gyarados on your storyline team, you're probably going to be able to beat it. You're probably going to be good. It's hard to lose the storyline with the Gyarados, right? But I think a lot of people are like, oh, get a team of Gallade, Gyarados. Oh no, don't use this, but use this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I'm going to give you my top 5, top 10, But as long as you're using any Pokemon within like the top 200, you know, like out of the Mons that can do the storyline, if you pick the 150th most powerful Pokemon to beat the storyline, you probably can do it. You know, I'm not going to name you that Pokemon. A lot of people always ask, you know, oh, like, what about Swellow, though, Petrowski? Like, Swellow's really good for the storylines, then I have to do the whole spiel. If you don't know, Swellow's not that good for the storylines in PokeMMO. It is in Emerald, and it is in Nuzlocke, in traditional Pokemon games, but Swellow is not that good in PokeMMO. It's fine. It's like, Swellow's a good example of, like, maybe, like, the 100th best storyline Pokemon. It's very fast, it does a lot of damage, and that's it. In PokeMMO, we have 5 generations of Pokemon. Why would you pick a frail Pokemon that's very fast, does a lot of damage, when you have busted things like Garchomp, you know? To be fair, Garchomp's, like, not actually a good storyline Pokemon, but things like Alakazam are better, things like even Golem to some extent, but it's a bit slow. Gyarados is really the big one. I'm kind of naming bad examples, but if you go look up, like, top 5 Pokemon to beat PokeMMO, you know, I've got plenty of videos on this topic. I've got budget examples, I've got expensive examples. Gyarados is a big one. Any Moxie Pokemon, Sharpness Delayed, you know, things like that. Porygon Z is a banger. Being able to have those stats that early on is just ridiculous. I'm going to fix my incubators really quick here, but anyways, my point was about, like, people, I think, worrying too much about efficiencies in situations where they don't actually care about it, and they kind of just think they should. I think that's something I try to encourage against. But obviously, once again, at the end of the day, if you find peak enjoyment in the game when playing peak efficiency, I think that's important. I'm using this Jimmy Run to ramble right now because it's a Jimmy Run, you know, that's what it is. But another thing I see a lot of is casual players will. This happened a lot in RuneScape. I don't think I see this as much in PokeMMO. We haven't gotten there. Maybe it will come one day, and I dread the day that it comes, and I hope it doesn't come around. But in old school RuneScape, I've never seen in a hardcore MMO, I've never seen the casual players flame the hardcore players more, you know? I think in most MMOs, it's like, okay, the hardcore players have a bit of a gatekeeping problem. You know, they're a little bit harsh and mean to new players, which is obviously stupid and short-sighted. They have a little bit of egos, you know. That's generally the problem in hardcore MMOs. Old School RuneScape is the only game where I saw casual players blame the hardcore players, being like, let us play the game how we want to, like, stop playing efficiently, like, fuck efficient hours played, which was like a metric that was invented to help efficient players play efficiently. Basically, what happened in old school RuneScape was efficient players invented this metric called EHP, or efficient hours played, and they used it so that they could play efficiently. But then casual players would look up their EHP and they'd be really upset because they would do, understandably so, they would do an activity, and I had this same experience. You would do an activity for like 20 hours and then it would be like, oh, you gained 2 EHP. And that feels really shitty. Imagine if you worked like 20 hours at work and they were like, oh yeah, here's a 2-hour paycheck. That would feel like dog shit. That feels frustrating. But you have to keep in mind, like, these are the best players in the world, like, trying to go for like the most efficient rates possible, right? So that's what EHP was. And it would be, I guess, a better comparison is like, imagine if you went to go for a swim down to your local YMCA, like go swim at the pool, right? And you wanted to just swim for fun, hang out, you know, whatever, right? And you like tested how fast you could swim from one side of the pool to the other. And you did it in, I don't know, pool times, bro. You did it in 45 seconds, right? And then it's like, oh, well, at the YMCA, they have like a list of the world record, and Michael Phelps did it in 8 seconds. And you're like, oh, holy shit, like, that's really inspiring. That's really interesting, like how far I am and how, you know, much there is to grow in this sport. Like, that should be the thought process, but instead it kind of promoted a kind of envy or jealousy or frustration towards the endgame players. And a lot of old school RuneScape casual players hated efficient players. You want to know why? Just because they were playing the game the way they wanted to. And I've never seen that in any other game, where usually the hardcore players are like mean to the casual players, like, oh, you should play this way, like, oh, you're bad but if you're not playing this way. I just anecdotally never really saw that in RuneScape. I saw quite the opposite. When casual players in old school, not always, just sometimes, right? I'm not going to generalize everybody, but it's interesting when when any player says, oh, you should play the game the way you want to, that means the way you want to, you know, that means anyway, that means efficient, that means inefficient, that means in between, it means everything, right? It's interesting, people will say things like, oh, I want everybody to play the game they want to, but they don't actually mean that sometimes. What they actually mean is, oh, I want to be able to play the way that I want to and everybody else play the way that I want to. It's very interesting. and they don't see that difference. I actually got a YouTube comment earlier today of someone being like, oh, instead of, so I reacted to a video recently about someone's first impressions of PokeMMO, and they said that they don't really consider shiny hunting content, and that was really shocking to me. I was like, how can you just not consider a piece of the game content? Feel free to not like it. That's totally okay. That's even a good thing, right? Not everybody should like every piece of content, but not considering it content is crazy to me. And someone else left the comment being like, oh, it's like saying watching paint dry is content. And that's really sad to me, because it's like you literally just don't understand the activity, which is totally okay. You don't understand shiny hunting and you don't like it because of that. Totally valid, totally okay. That's your feelings, your opinion. But now you're taking your opinion and you're extrapolating it to fact. Because you feel a certain way, you think it's facts of the world, and that's not how things work, right? I don't care for. Volleyball. It's not my sport. I don't really find it that entertaining. It's not for me, right? Or even looking to do the big one, like soccer, like European football, right? Football, bro, right? Like it's not my sport, but I can still appreciate and understand why someone would enjoy it. And I think imagine if I was like, oh yeah, watching soccer is like watching paint dry. That's really fucked up. I think that's really, really rude. It's maybe how I feel, but it's not an objective fact of the world. And when you present something like that, it's really, really ignorant. So I thought it was interesting. People arguing like, oh yeah, like shiny hunting isn't content. It's sad to me because you're just lacking a basic empathy. It's okay if you don't like it, but trying to argue that something isn't content in the world or something isn't something in the world because you don't enjoy it personally, you're mixing up anecdotals and objective facts and reality. And you are no longer able to see reality. That is a delusion in my opinion. I'm rambling really hard about during this streaming run, but I thought it was interesting. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of ramble. We haven't done this kind of ramble on the Iron Man series in a while. I think during these grinds, like if I'm just doing a grindy activity, I feel like this is the point. This is the time for me to go ahead and ramble about something happening in life or in relation, hopefully, to PokeMMO. But I thought it was interesting. I like to talk about thought process and stuff a lot, and philosophy behind shiny hunting, PokeMMO in general. Let me know your guys' thoughts politely in the comments. But I hope we can all understand each other. I think that's the biggest thing, is just have the basic empathy to appreciate what others enjoy. I hopefully that's the basics, but on the internet you don't always get that. That's where we're at. So I get that, but yeah, people like that I don't really want in my community, to be totally honest. But thank you for watching. I'm gonna finish this run. We're gonna level up this Cubchoo after this and get myself a bear tick. All right, there is the Cubchoo evolution. Back to just pure PokeMMO topics. Here we go. Cubchoo evolving into bear tick. Boom, level 37. There we go. That'll be a new Pokedex entry. We're going to leave this gym, go to the next one, and switch out that Pokemon. All right, here's my Ferroseed evolution into Ferrothorn. That one took a bit and needed a fair bit of XP leveling. We got 29 minutes or so. Sorry, 31 minutes left in our Richest Charm. I was doing the reverse math for no reason. There we go. There's the Ferrothorn evolution. Another Pokedex entry that you love to see. We're going to head over to Kanto, go grab some more Pokemon. We've been switching in and out of our Pokemon, out of our incubators. Just everything going smoothly as planned. Nothing crazy to mention so far. I guess we did hit over 1 million Pokeyen. That's kind of cool. That's something. All right, here's the Fungus evolution into Amoonguss, or others might know him as being a little sus. Don't ask me why I still have this mod. I kind of just forgot I have it installed. All right, there's the Venipede into Whirlipede evolution. Still need to do Scolipede. It did end up dying in this fight, though. This Koga fight was really, really, really strange. He had some really awkward red cards activate. That made it a little awkward, but we're fine. We have 12 minutes left. We got to go to our next region, I believe, Hoenn. And then here is the Whirlipede into Scolipede we just talked about. Hell yeah, more Pokedex entries. All right, now we got Solosis, who's going to evolve into Duosion here in a sec. Still got to get him up into Reuniclus, though. Level 35, currently going to get up to level 41 here pretty soon. We only have 2 minutes left on our run, though, so I might squeeze in one more gym. Probably one more gym. All right, I'm not even going to finish this gym on the Amulet Crown. I was a little late to it, but that's okay. Still got a fair bit of XP on the Duosion. Not quite enough to get to level 41. I might go do a little bit of XP training. I honestly don't have a whole lot of time today, unfortunately. I wish I did, man. I actually want to play PokeMMO, but you know what? Life calls. We got other things to worry about. I'm going to head over to the PC as soon as possible and see what I can do. Whatever to the Tentacruel. Yeah, the Tentacruel area. And let's go ahead and reveal how many Pokedex entries did I get. My Jimmy run is over. I went from 900,000 Pokeyen up to 1,110,000. So what is that? 210,000 Pokeyen gained? Is that right? That's kind of terrible, but you know what? Hey, man, it is what it is. Even a bad Jimmy run is still good progress. Let's check. We started at 475 Pokedex entries up to 484, so almost 10. We got 9 Pokedex. That's like really good in my opinion. 9 Pokedex entries during our gym run. You know, if it was 9 Pokedex entries in an hour of time, it'd be like, okay, wait a minute, that's fucking terrible, Petrowski. What are you spending your time on? But 9 Pokedex entries while doing a gym run? Hell yeah, dude. Alrighty, good morning. It is another beautiful morning late in the weekend. I think it is Sunday right now. I usually don't record on Sunday, but thankfully I'm ahead on the Iron Man project, so I can actually take some time, put some more time into things, as well as spend some time IRL with my wife and friends. Now, today we're back into PokeMMO. We're locking in, fellas. I have a few Pokemon I can go ahead and release here. I got all the Pokedex entries from there. I can go ahead and release those, fellas. We still have these guys to level up, but I don't want to work on that right now. Instead, I just want to keep working on my Pokedex progress. I love setting these timers, this little in-game fake restriction that I do, and try to get as many Pokedex encounters as possible during that time period. We are currently sitting at 484 out of 604 for the total national Pokedex. That leaves us with 604 minus 484, 120 Pokemon left to catch, evolve, or get in some way to complete the Pokedex and unlock one of the biggest endgame unlocks in PokeMMO, being Mount Silver. Alright, but first things first, before we do anything, we have an alpha encounter that despawns in about 10 minutes, so I'm rushing over there. It is a alpha Ursaring, I believe, which will just mostly be a good field A group breeder. I don't think he has any sort of relevant hidden ability. I believe it's Unnerve. Alright, and here is the alpha spawn. I'm going to go ahead and just jump into it, dodge these little Teddy Ursas. Once again, I don't think hidden ability is mostly relevant. I guess, actually, wait a minute. The Teddy Ursa's hidden abilities might be relevant. There's his honey gather. So, there's an argument for maybe trying to get a good honey gather Teddy Ursa, but you know what? I just don't know if it's worth it on a Iron Man account. It's kind of debatable. Honey gather is an ability that obviously allows you to gather honey. It allows you to get some free honey during wild battles, but I don't think I'm going to worry about it, / I don't even know if it's worth the time to make one. I feel like just buying the honey with the Poke Yen might just be better on an Iron Man account, using that Yen, using the gym reruns. Like, I feel like that's going to be a bit better, but I could be mistaken. It really depends on how much honey you get per hour. That is not a mechanic or a farming method I'm super familiar with, to be fair. Alright, as long as I don't crit here, I should be in really good shape. Beautiful. Okay, huge. That's going to put the Ursaring very, very low HP. Allow me to bring my Breloom and get a pretty safe catch here, I think. I can go ahead and start lowering stats as well for fun. Or I'd greedily switch to my Breloom to speed things up a bit, get crit, and absolutely one-shot by a slash. Well, now I gotta use Revive, because I was greedy. We call that the early morning skill gap, fellas. Well, the Ursaring went Super Saiyan. I thought this was gonna be a pretty easy alpha catch, but I doubted the king, and how could I have? Alright, this alpha encounter is going to come down to the wire. He's about to slash my Smeargle. The problem is, he's still +1 speed. I think my Breloom should be fast enough to outspeed here. I'm pretty confident, actually. Oh, but my Breloom is Brave Nature. No shot. If my Breloom being Brave Nature actually impacts me here, if I lose this thing, it's gone. I'm pretty darn sure this thing has despawned. Okay. Whew. Oh, man. I know that Ursaring's base stat speed's around 50. I think Breloom's around 75. Like, Breloom's not, like, that much faster than Ursaring. This is an extremely close encounter. Like, this is actually crazy. Once I'm faster, like, now that... The problem is his stats flipped, right? That made everything the massive problem. My entire team is dead. My entire team is dead. Now that I'm faster than him and have the Spore sublock once again, I should be hopefully okay. I could, even if I really want to play it safe, like start reviving other Pokemon, but I feel like that'd be a waste of revives. If I miss out on this catch, you know, it is what it is, but I really would. I mean, I've spent so much time and energy and resources on it. It's turn 26. This is a tough alpha catch, man. Now we're getting more stat lowers, huge. I just don't want to see him become indignant again. That would be the nightmare situation. If that happens, it's over. It's game over. I totally just lose. Man, he is insta breaking out of balls. This catch is insanely hard. Once again, as long as I have Spore plus Slash, I should be fine. I can infinitely sustain that. That's why I always tell people be sleeping on like how good. A lot of people don't run Substitute on Breloom. It took me a long time of advocating for how good Sub is before people really started running it, because if you have Poison Heal, Toxic Orb, False Swipe, Sub, you can infinitely stall battles, essentially. If you're faster, and you have to be faster, which is really important. But as you can see, I can Spore him, I can Sub, and then even if he insta wakes up here, I basically get to Spore him again and Sub again, and I'm losing 0 HP. I think it's exactly 0. It's very, very close. It's either losing 0 HP or I'm still gaining. I think I'm gaining HP. That's what's crazy, right? So what? Yeah, because last time I would have been at 61. Yeah, I spored that he saw. Yeah, I insta woke up, or he insta woke up, and I'm still gaining. I gained like 12% HP there. Now I get to sub here, and if he like as soon as he stays asleep for 1 turn just like that, now we're in the money, and now we get massive benefits. So you can gain HP in the process while stalling your battle to your 10 turns for timer ball or 11 turns for timer balls. It is turn 32. He is insta breaking out, like 1 HP asleep. This Ursaring better be 4 times 31, bro. I swear, I'm gonna catch this fucker. He's gonna be 31 Spatak and 31 Spadef, and I'm gonna be so sad. Oh man, if this thing is like worst stat allocations, I'm gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be funny. It is what it is, man. We gotta see what this. Surely I catch as well. What are the odds I just fail to catch at this point? I'm running a little bit low on subs, but I have like elixirs or ethers or leppas if I really need so in the back. But oh man, this is brutal. Another insta breakout. I can't believe. Oh, I didn't. I just made a massive mistake. Wow. I almost cost the whole fight. I didn't click substitute. I was really greedy. I went Spore immediately into timer ball. If he insta woke up there and slashed me, I just lose the whole fight. That was almost a killer mistake. And once again, this thing is despawned now, I believe, or it's very close to it. It spawned at 10:41 a.m. It's 11:46 a.m. right? So it's an hour and 5 minutes. Woo! There it is. That was one of the toughest alpha catches I've seen in a while. Turn 36. And like the maneuvers I had. Are you kidding? I mean, it's 31 speed, which like to be fair, that's the best 31 place. But I need to be valuing honestly 31 speed a bit more. I don't think I'm treasuring that enough. But that being a 2 times 31 catch, are you fucking kidding me? It's got 25 plus. Honestly, like, it's actually better than I'm giving it credit for. It needs like a 31 attack IV, and then like we could even roll up the HP. Ugh, was it worth it though? It might have been. The fucked up sentence is that I think it might have been. That's how damn good alphas are, and how damn good like 2 times 31s are in breeds and such. That took me so long to catch. I think like 20 minutes. It's a very, very long catch, but I think it was still worth it. Plus, we get the XP candies, which I do end up using. We almost have 100 XP candy Ls stacked up. How much are these XP candy larges worth? They're worth 4K a piece. I have 93 of them. Obviously, I can't sell them, but it's kind of funny. That's 372,000 Pokeyen worth of XP candy. Just the larges. The extra larges are worth a fair bit more. But that's just passively, like, if you go catch all your... They're 15K a piece, and I have, what, 20 of them? That's 15,000 times 20. So I have like 700,000 Pokeyen worth of XP candy just from passively catching alphas on the Ironman account. That's kind of cool, man, to show you guys, like, if you just catch alphas, you do make Pokeyen, you know, passively. On the main account, you have that timer ball cost. You have to consider a fair bit more, to be fair. All right, but I'm going to head over to Unova. We're going to do a little bit of Pokedex progress. I might even just do some slow, difficult ones today, like going for some of those lore species that have... I don't know. Actually, you know what? I'm feeling kind of active today. I'm feeling energetic. Let's take that energy and actually use it. If I'm feeling lethargic, like a chill day, once again, I can't stress enough. Play PokeMMO every day dependent on your energy. Adjust your strategies. Adjust what you do dependent on your energy. If I'm feeling chill and lethargic, I would go catch like Gigalith, for example, pop a lore, just sit in Mastralton Cave, run back and forth, and like lazily go for that 1 in 20 chance Pokemon, right? But if I'm feeling, you know, pretty good today, I can just go... Do I have a Seismitoad in my... I wonder if I have one in my box. I can go like breed this down, get it into a temple, level that up into a Palpitoad, you know. I could just go catch a Palpitoad over... We checked Icarus City and had problems with that. Moravicrus. We could go over to the Moravicrus though, or like Route 8. Route 8 Unova Grass. Let's do that really quick. Go get ourselves a Palpitoad, breed it down into a... temple, or just go catch a temple. Maybe the temple's easier. Now that I think I used a lot of the Shidos in my boxes, it might actually be better to go for Palpitoad, weirdly. Dark Grass, Pinwheel Forest. That's over here, I believe. Let's go get ourselves a temple. There might be a few Pokemon in temple, or in this Pinwheel Forest, not Temple Forest. Pinwheel Forest that I actually need. So let's heal up really quick and head there. So hilariously, here's a Pidove, and I know that I need this in my Pokedex. I can nest ball this really quick. I have an Unpheasant that I was going to breed down, but honestly, if you're asking me, would I rather use a Shido? Would I rather, you know, utilize a Shido to breed down an Unpheasant, or just use one nest ball? The answer is clear. It's one nest ball. I'm going to go ahead and do that, dude. Hell yeah. It's really funny. I get to say the sentence. Oh yeah, I got a new Pokedex entry. It's Pidove after how many hundreds of hours on the account? 712 hours on the account. We'll take that, dude. I also just can't believe the hours I have now. And like, let these hours please be an example of like consistent, slow progress. Like nothing, I have not put like 100 hours. I don't think there's been a week where I've played more than like 60 hours. I think the first week I played 60 hours, which is a lot, obviously. That's pretty, but like not crazy. Like obviously when you're sucked into a game, there are, you know, you're interested, you're excited, right? But I feel like mostly after, I probably play about 20 to 40 hours a week, which is a lot of hours of video games, don't get me wrong, to the average person, but not a lot when it comes to a professional or someone who's like, you know, what's the word? Like someone who's like taking it really seriously, like wants to be the best. Like I've been pretty like balanced and chillaxed in my hours and still making insane progress. And let that be a, you know, hopefully an example to show people like MMOs especially, but PokeMMO especially, it's a game about long-term consistency. Long-term consistency and it being a marathon, not a sprint, will always outweigh people trying to sprint through the game or you try to get as much as you gotta play long-term. It's the best. That consistent progress is so much more powerful. You'll get more done long-term and enjoy the game longer if you just play a fair bit every day or a little bit, you know, and then take it longer period of time. You know, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to kind of rambling a little bit, but if that makes any sense, you know, just take your time. You can't rush to a lot of your goals in PokeMMO. You just enjoy the ride and have fun. I'm going to use this as another time to go ahead and ramble as I make my way over to some dark grass or just different areas in this little environment. But I've seen a lot of comments recently about PokeMMO. People being like, man, I really enjoyed PokeMMO. I have about 1,000 hours and now I have nothing to do, right? I've ran out of content. And I could, so there's two ways I could answer this, right? Well, the way that I would talk to that person is be like, yo, that's super fair. Like, you know, I hope you have fun with whatever you move on to next. Like, sorry to hear. Like, you obviously, if I were physically talking to that person, I would give a very empathetic, kind response, right? However, to counteract the argument, there's two ways I would respond. Number one, you guys have heard me probably talk about it a million times. My typical spiel of, well, PokeMMO has tons of content. It's not that the game has run out of content, it's that you've kind of run out of ideas, which is not a slight towards you. Like, that's totally okay. Also, there's a nice catch. Hell yeah. It's okay. Like, so sometimes you just run out of things to do in the game for you. I think the wording is what's really important to me. When you say the game has run out of content, you put the blame on the game, but the game's not really at fault, right? If you get bored in Minecraft, it's not Minecraft's fault. The game is not run out of content. It's that you're just kind of done with it, and it's not really your fault. You're just done with it. And I think people will play the game for 1,000 hours and then get mad that they're done with it. And to be fair, I understand, because I think that those players want to keep playing, if that makes sense. They want to log into PokeMMO and have fun and be motivated and like, I get that. That's a whole different conversation. But that is a problem that you have to solve, right? There's things that the game could do to help that. Once again, I brought up achievement logs and you know, goals, in-game quests. Like, there are things that PokeMMO could do and should do and ought to do to make that experience less common for the player. I'm not trying to like blame the player fully. It's just a mixture, right? There's things that PokeMMO could do to make that happen less, for sure. But the problem is, no matter how much content you add, how many quests, how many achievement logs, whatever, there's always going to be players who just complain and blame the game, when in reality, they got 1,000 hours of entertainment out of a free-to-play game, and now they're just done. And that's okay. I don't know what happened. I think it's the live service game. And I love live. I've played MMOs my whole life. I love live service. I'm not trying to shit on live service games. But I think a newer generation of gamers who only play live service games or are only used to live service games, for some reason, they like get upset when they're done playing a game. And if you grew up playing games in my generation, not to say like, oh, new generation bad, oh, my generation good. It's not really that. It's just positives and negatives, right? But if you're from my generation, you bought Crash Bandicoot 1. You played it until you couldn't beat the rat boss, because obviously he was stupid. But no, like, you played Crash Bandicoot 1, and then you'd beat it, and then you'd move on, and that was the game. That's it. And you were totally happy with that. You were totally like, that was a money well spent. But I feel like nowadays, more than for some reason, the mindset has changed between people. Where like, if they can't play a free-to-play game or like a $10 game for the rest of their life, they get upset, and I don't understand. I don't get that. I don't get it. Now, I do, once again, empathize with the frustration of wanting to I think that's the charitable take. The wanting to want to play. And the problem is PokeMMO can only do so much. And I want them to do more, don't get me wrong. But if you just sit there complaining for years, hey, PokeMMO should add more achievement diaries. Oh my god, excuse me. I can't cut that. That's disgusting, but excuse me. Anyway, if you just sit there complaining for years, PokeMMO can't cut, or PokeMMO won't add achievement diaries, you're just going to sacrifice your own fun. You're sacrificing your own enjoyment. Versus you could have had fun all along if you just made your own achievement diaries, if you just made, you know, your own fun, your own quest log, your own list of goals. Like, look at what I've done with the Ironman account. The Ironman account fully represents everything I'm talking about here. I was a little bored for my main account, and I was not a huge fan of some of the changes being made towards shiny hunting, right? So what I did was I made a different style of account that would bring back sort of some of the feelings. I took control of my own life and of my own actions, and I did what's in my control, right? I could have just sat there and cried about incubators and cried about, you know, chum buckets for years or for months, right? But instead, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna play the game the way that I enjoy. They're providing this service, providing this game. I'm gonna do what I can do and make it fun for me. So I started the Ironman account, and now we're really deep into it. We're having a great time. So I think just encouraging people to do what's within your control. Don't get me wrong, like, asking for change is important, and advocating for change is important. But I get a little bored of people constantly asking for change and then never doing anything on their own end. They're like, you know, they're not changing. It's like the people who everybody knows someone like this who is like, yeah, I'm going to change my circumstance in life. Just give me, you know, another year. And then they just keep saying that for another year and another year and another year and another year. And you start to realize, like, wait a minute, this person's just trying to, like, have other people do things for them. They're not really making any action, which is tough, man. It's a tough situation to be in, but I see that a lot in PokeMMO, so I want to just talk about that thought process. Apologies for the burp. I don't like doing that on mic, so excuse me. Anyways, I'm not finding any new Pokemon. We got that temple, which is nice. Back to the Pokedex progress. And we're just doing some chill Pokedex progress. No, like, timer, no fire under my butt today. We're going to do a pretty chill one. There is a Joltik spawn over here in Mistralton City I can go grab really quick. Probably a few spawns, actually, here. We got the Ferroseed recently. I can go grab this Joltik, though, and evolve it into a Galvantula and get 2 Pokedex entries like that. I can actually get a horde of them here, which I feel like is probably one of the faster ways to do this. Also, there's a chance for Tynamo here with hordes, and Tynamo is kind of a rare single encounter spawn, so that would probably be a better way to go ahead and do that, is just do hordes here. The problem is that this spot is really deep into the cave, or like pretty deep in the cave, deep enough where you don't want to have to run back to the PC and stuff. That'd be a huge pain in the butt. I'm going to catch this male level 23 Joltik. All right, there's the Joltik caught, dude. Hell yeah, we can evolve that into Galvantula here pretty soon. We might need to do more XP training than I realized. We have a lot of, we just have a lot of Pokedex entries stored in XP right now, but I kind of like that. I like the idea of storing as many encounters as possible, storing those Pokedex entries, and then just, like, on it, once again, chill, lazy, lethargic day, cranking those out, kind of utilizing that. It's almost like saving up a resource, you know, saving up the Pokedex entries. Kind of funny, but it feels pretty true. I'm going to go ahead and do a few more hordes. I'm going to do my full inventory of hordes here, hoping for a Tynamo Swarm. It's pretty rare. I think it's like 20% chance, maybe 10% chance. Let's see if we can see one. Yeah, Tynamo. Really beautiful shiny is actually shiny Electros. Yeah, so this would be the Tynamo, and then Electric, or whatever is what it's called, and then Electros would be fantastic. I also need... Frillish is a pretty fast Pokemon to get, Frillish and Jellicent, and I actually really want a competitive Jellicent, possibly. So that would be a cool one to go for. Get like a good IV one, or at least decent enough IV. Now, wait a minute. Can I lure this? Okay, I had a mini panic attack. I was like, wait a minute. Am I able to get Escavalier? Yeah, Escavalier and Exceldor end up being some of the weirdest Pokemon for my Pokedex, actually. And you actually want Exceldors that has Sticky Hold. I'm going to have to go for these. Yeah, Route 6, Unova, Darkgrass. Okay. I don't think I want to do, like, the hard catches today. We'll save those for a different day, which maybe I'll regret, but we're going to do that for now. Once again, also keep in mind, we started today with 484 in our national dex. We're going to see how many I can do with that in mind. No Tynamo here, unfortunately. I'm probably just going to leave and come back some other time for that. All right, next up, we're going to go for a Swellow, I think, really quick. Kind of a weird Pokemon, but catchable over in Unova in a few different locations. I don't want to have to hoard this Pokemon because it's a flying type that would actually obliterate my Breloom hilariously. Don't need a Tangela. I think it's just normal grass, not dark grass. Let me double check though. When you're doing Unova catches, you always want to check whether it's dark grass, you know, like check the type of encounter it is pretty aggressively, because that can change things dramatically, obviously. Route 13, uncommon Unova. It should be right here in this patch. I can't remember the last time I was in this patch of grass. We need this as well. Now, this might have self-destruct or memento, so we need to be a little careful, but this is a Pokemon that we need. Okay, I either got extremely lucky, or this thing doesn't know self-destruct or any self-KO move, because it woke up 3 times. It has used Tailwind, Amnesia, and Baton Pass. It has used 3 moves that weren't self-destruct. So once again, I either got extremely lucky here. What turn is this? Can I timer ball this? Wow, I can. I either got extremely lucky, or this thing just doesn't know. This thing can get self-KOing moves. Let's go ahead and double check. If this thing has self-destruct, that was an incredibly lucky catch if this has that. Let's go see really quick. Destiny Bond, I mean, it would have been a pain in the butt. This thing is just a pain in the butt Pokemon. It has so many things that can KO itself. All right, and there is the Swallow encounter. That wasn't too bad. Only took like 10 or probably 10 or less encounters. Let's go for the catch. Hopefully no double edge or takedown here. That was a little greedy to go for the false swipe first, but we're fine. Yeah, Air Slash, this is actually a pain in the butt. Yeah, this will do. Oh, and he got the flinch. Are you kidding me? Flying type is 4 times super effective against Breloom, so whenever having to go against Mons like this, please don't flinch again. That would be super unlucky. Okay, we should be fine. This thing broke out of a Great Ball into breaking out of a Dream Ball. Wow, this thing does not want to be caught. That agility also created massive problems. The fact that that made it faster. This is a Dream Ball with 4 times catch rate, just so we know. It's been asleep for max turns here. It's got to catch. Come on, I don't think it's possible to break. Yeah, it must have broke out of some small chances, though. There we go. We got the Swallow. I would love some IVs on this. Getting flying age group breeders is a little bit tough from what I've seen, but okay, no IVs. That's okay. New Pokedex entry achieved. And then I'm going to head over to Chargestone Cave really quick because I don't have a Clink Clank or Clink Clang. So, you know what? I probably want to go ahead and go for, yeah, just, wow, the only one that spawns in the wild is a Clink. That's pretty crazy. I didn't know that. I'm going to go get a whatever Clink over in Chargestone Cave, and that'll just allow me to get 3 Pokedex entries, essentially. In the future with XP training, of course. That will take a bit. Oh shit, there's the Dynamo encounter. That's a very rare, if not rare, single encounter spawn. That's actually so sick. That will also give us 3 Pokedex encounters. That is fantastic. That's like so good to see while just going for the Clink catch. All right, there's the Dynamo caught. That's so good, dude. That's so sick. That was a real, give me the Clink now. Okay, the Clink afterwards would have been too perfect. All right, but after I catch this Clink, I feel like that'll be enough Pokedex encounters for the day. We're a lot stored up. We'll have to XP train in the future, but I'm happy to, like, looking forward to that, honestly, which is kind of funny / comfy. We can also do this passively while doing our Jimmy run, like talked about before. I'm probably going to go look to do a breed. Next, we have some Iron Man raid Pokemon we still have to create. The big one I've been looking at recently is, unfortunately, Archeops, but that's going to be a really difficult one. So in case you forgot, earlier in this episode, we created a list of Pokemon that I want to go ahead and create as raid Pokemon on the Iron Man account. Now, we've actually already made, I think, 2 of these in this episode, which is kind of crazy. The Magnezone and the Crawdaunt, right? Now, Technician Breloom, we have to wait for a hidden ability Breloom. Are you serious? Another Dynamo Swarm before Clink? Clink is a very common encounter here. This is rare. That's so weird. Let me go check. Because the reason, so Dynamo is one of the biggest Pokemon changed. It's very rare. What? That's wild. I almost want to catch this. Like, can I quick ball this? Just, maybe it'll have good IVs. I can make a cool Electros. Electros is a very cool Pokemon. It's one of those few Pokemon without any weaknesses. It has no, it's an electric type with Levitate. So if you're like Assault Gear on it, it can be pretty powerful. Honestly, like some stats there are fine, but yeah, I can't not catch that. That's so rare. I could just do a quick Horde to get this Clink. It should be split here with Ferroseed and Clink, so I'm gonna go heal up and get my Sweet Sense back. But anyways, back to the raid Pokemon. We have Magnezone made, Crawdaunt made, Water Spout Blastoise I don't have, Durant, Samurott, things like that. Archeops is so tough because it's obviously a fossil Pokemon. I'd have to go fossil farm in Unova. I don't have any, Archeops fossils. I'd have to go fossil farm in Unova, which is where I'm at, or like, Rock Smash farm to try to get 1 Archeops fossil. And then if I were to get 1 Archeops fossil, then from there I could go ahead and breed that. And I could like fix, I could really play the video game from there, but I'd have to get 1 Archeops fossil first, which might take quite a long time. There is the Clink Horde. Hell yeah. All right, there is our Clink catch. Came out naughty nature with whatever stats. That's fine. We're just going to level that up and get the 2 other Pokedex entries. That's going to leave us with 492 Pokedex entries from 484. So we gained about 8 Pokedex entries, and we have like at least 6 more stored in our PC. So that was like pretty chill, pretty quick. Some nice passive Pokedex stuff. We're going to move anything that needs to be leveled. For example, these 2 Pokemon over here to the release box is what we're using it for right now. Same with like the temple, like that needs to be leveled. This needs to be leveled. Does this need to be leveled? So Waddle, I'm assuming. So we have the Levani actually. We don't need to worry about that. So this will go over to breeders. These 2 will go over to release. Some of these will just get released, like the Pidove. We have that Alpha Ursaring that can go over to breeders. then I believe we need a Drifloon, so I'm going to keep the Drifblim. We're going to put that over down here in release. We can actually go ahead and release this on Pheasant and the Pidove, since both of those are done. And then the Swellow, I think we also, Swellow and Tynamo, I believe we can also go ahead and release. We have the other Tynamo. We don't need both. There we go. That should be good. So here's the Pokemon we have left that need to be XP trained for more evolutions. These need different things like happiness and, you know, I think one needs a Sunstone. This needs to be rebred down. And we do have like a few Shiddos down here in backup for Pokedex. So that's nice to see, honestly. And then here's our rare spawn. And I actually need something pretty important from here. I'm about to do something kind of interesting, kind of complicated, but hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. All right, I have something in plan with this Squirtle in my inventory, and I'll see you guys over at the daycare man so we can actually execute the plan. And we're going to have to go catch a few other things. See, I'm going to go ahead and try to make a Water Spout Squirtle. Now, if you don't know, a Water Spout, or like Blastoise, a Water Spout Blastoise requires a chain egg move breed. So that requires one breed prior and then another mon to breed with the Squirtle to then get the move. I have to breed a male Wailmer, you can see the bottom left-hand corner, a male Wailmer with a female Remoraid to make a male Remoraid, obviously making sure that the Wailmer has Water Spout. That will transfer Water Spout over to the Remoraid, and then I will take that male Remoraid and I will breed that with a female Squirtle, and I will get a Water Spout Squirtle. And then once I have Water Spout on the Squirtle, I can go ahead and breed up the IVs. So before I can even start breeding up the IVs for a Water Spout Blastoise, we first have to get Water Spout on a Blastoise. I have to spend about 21,000 Poke-Yen to go ahead and make a female Squirtle. I need that thing to be female. And then we need to go do a little bit of fishing. First things first, we'll go do Wailmer over in Hoenn. Actually, I could do Remoraid first over here in Unova. It's actually like right over, isn't it over? You can go to a few different locations, but I think you can go to, actually, Battle Frontier, very common. We'll probably just do it all in Hoenn then. You know what? Let's just do it all in Hoenn. Wailmer is 100% spawn. Remoraid should be, let's do Remoraid first before I forget, because I know the Wailmer spawn like the back of my head. I spent a lot of time there. All right, so Remoraid should be very common here to go ahead and fish up. Let's see what we get. We need a female Remoraid. So if we get a male one, we're just not even going to catch it at first. We just need a female. Yep, we're just going to run from this, not worry about it. 2 Remoraids, 2 males so far. 3 Remoraids, 3 males. This is the part where you start writing the comment. Petrowski, I don't know if you know, but there's actually an ability called Cute Charm that influences the rate of your gender on your Pokemon. Oh, so I should use Cute Charm on something that's a 50-50 gender spawn. That's just a quick catch to get started. Okay, let me go grab that. It's definitely worth my time. Okay, the backseat commenters are looking smarter and smarter. 5 Remoraids, 5 males. 6 Remoraids, 6 males. I will not let the YouTube backseaters be victorious. I will stubbornly sit this out until I get a female. Anecdotal examples are not good statistics or evidence of change. Let's see. Come on. No! 7 Remoraids, 7 males. Does this thing have a different gender ratio? I wonder if Remoraids are like only 12.5% chance to be female or something like that. At that point, it might be better to breed one, but let's... I'm going to double check that on Bulbapedia really quick. There's an I mean, hilariously, this could work. Okay, but it's male. Okay, I just Googled it. The gender ratio on Remoraid is 50-50. I've just so happened to see 9 different breeding options, Remoraid and 1 Octillery, 9 of them, and they've all been male. That's like some like there we go. That's like some fucking hitting enough coin flips to become a billionaire or like millionaire off of blackjack type shit. That's crazy. 9 coin flips in a row, hit them all heads essentially. Okay, let's just go ahead and just weird Iron Man luck. You know how it is. Let's fall swipe sport, catch this fella. All right, there's the Remoraid caught. Don't need any stats. Actually, stats would actually be like a problem. It makes things like more complicated. 29 Spatak is fine. Now we want to head over to the Wailmer spawn. And the Wailmer spawn is just right here, right when you fly into Hoenn, which I actually love. It's a really cool shiny hunting spot. Really beautiful shiny. Love the big purple, like big, big dumb purple whale. Wailord's the biggest shiny follower sprite you can get in PokeMMO. Aside from alphas, to be fair, Shalfas. But the dream is one day they make a Shalfa or an alpha Wailord so that it's possible to have a Shalfa Wailord. And that sucker would be huge. And we need a male Wailmer, so that's perfect. We got that, first encounter versus our Remoraid, which took 10. Not a big deal, though. We're going to go ahead and catch this. It's going to bounce on me. Oh, no. All right, there's the Wailmer caught. Hoping for no stats once again. Rash. It actually has really good stats and defenses. I mean, I'll take any random rolls, but we're not going to try to pass those over. I thought about, part of me wants to brace the Spatak on this because that would actually be nice, but I don't think it's worth it. We'll figure things out when we get to the actual breed. So let's go ahead now. Next up, we have 2 options. We could level this thing up to 48 and get Water Spout, or just heart scale Water Spouts. On a main account, I would severely recommend just heart scaling Water Spouts. on the Iron Man, I think I'm gonna go level. It's 9 or so levels. Yeah, I don't want to let it evolve though. That'll actually be important, but it's 9 or so, 10 or whatever levels. I think that will actually, like, the hard skills are such a fucking tough resource. They are such a pain in the butt to farm. I think it's actually efficient to go XP train this, which is so weird. Usually you would like, value the time so much more, but the time it takes to farm the hard skills is so bad that I think this actually ends up being better, but I could be mistaken. I'm gonna move everything that I need for the breed itself over here. We have our little Squirtle preemptively made. Honestly, 19 but this thing got rolled up a little bit. We'll take that. This will be over here. Let's go grab our Pikachu and go level this Wailmer. All right, it actually took about 15 minutes or so of XP training, so a bit more than I expected, but here is the Wailmer. This should be the final level that it needs. This will be 48, getting Water Spout on it, but so I took 15 minutes to XP train, maybe like 10 to 15 minutes to be fair, and I saved like probably like 2 to 4 heart scales, and previously I was getting like, at the best scenario, I think I was getting like 8 heart scales an hour. So that I spent 15 minutes XP training, worst case scenario, to best case scenario save like 30 minutes of time. So still I ended up saving time by doing the XP training on an Iron Man account specifically. So that's nice. I think that ended up being the right decision, even though on a main account you would have definitely just used the hard scales. All right, so now we have our first breed, okay, which is going to be Wailmer plus the Remoraid. I love we can just go to our PC like this. Beautiful. This will put Water Spout onto Remoraid, and we need this to be male, I believe. Let me pull up the notepad document so I don't forget. Yep, male Wailmer plus female Remoraid. Make a male Remoraid. That is extremely important. If we fucked this up, it would ruin everything. So we can now go ahead and breed this. And then once this hatches, we can breed this with our already female Squirtle, and now we'll have a Water Spout Squirtle. That wasn't too bad. And I can take this time while we're waiting for this Pokemon to hatch to go ahead and explain, like, why is Water Spout Squirtle even good, or Water Spout Blastoise, rather. If you don't know, I mean, it's a really good gym rerun Pokemon, so I will be trying to breed this up, 31 attack, 31 speed, and then modest nature, using it in gym reruns in the future, which is fantastic. This will upgrade our gym reruns. Usually want 2 of these to be fair, so it might be a little awkward, but it's also just a good PVM Pokemon for upcoming events. It's used in certain raids. It possibly maybe it's used in other things, mostly like raids, and then just random PVM. There's all sorts of PVM in PokeMMO. Water Spout's such a powerful move. You just want Pokemon with things like Water Spout, things like Eruption, the fact that it can do 150 plus stab, right? So when you think about how strong is Water Spout, you look at the obvious 150 base power. Okay, that's sure, right? That's something. But then what if you're using Water Spout with a water type Pokemon, which that's almost like 100% chance that you're doing that, right? Well, now you multiply that by 1.5 because 50% a buff for using a stab move, right? Now it's 225 base power damage, not really base, but 225 power on a move, right? Well, now what if you're Water Spouting under Rain on a water type Pokemon? Well, now you multiply this number by 1.5 and you get 337. Using something like Water Spout under Rain is equivalent to, if not more damage than just straight up using Explosion. Traditionally, one of the most powerful, weird, one-off moves in all of Pokemon, Lickilicky's Explosion is one of the most powerful ones you can get. And you get that by using Explosion on a normal type Pokemon. So that would be 250 times 1.5. So this will be stronger than, yeah, one of the few things that is stronger than Water Spout, you know, Blastoise. However, to use the Explosion, you have to kill the Pokemon, KO the Pokemon. To use Water Spout Blastoise, which does, once again, 337 damage, which is like 50 less damage, and you're not even dying. You're not even killing the Pokemon to do this. You're just using some setup moves beforehand. So yeah, Water Spout, Eruption, those things are just so strong in PVM. Right, I kind of got distracted for a little bit, but our Pokemon did hatch kind of ages ago. We're going to go grab that Remoraid, put it over in the PC like so, or it should have get sent. Where did it go? Right here. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Remoraid into female Squirtle. I'm going to go ahead and make this. Ooh, I actually don't think I want to make this Squirtle female because I can go ahead and basically breed it with a Ditto. First things first, once we get later in the breed, maybe I want to make it a female to open it up to the egg group breeds, but to start, 21k is kind of expensive. I'd like to avoid it if possible. We have plenty of Dittos. Surely I have a Ditto that's like 31 speed and like 25 plus attack. We should have something here, so I'm going to go ahead and do this random roll. It goes Water Spout on Squirtle. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Don't want to put this in a luxury ball quite yet because it's also not totally done yet. All right, and here it is, just the pretty boring Squirtle. 21 Spatak. I think that high rolled actually though. 21 Spatak, Water Spout. That's the big thing here. We're actually gonna go grab this in our PC and move it up. I'm gonna try to breed up the IVs a little bit here. I might not finish it right now, but if we have the Pokemon, I mean, to do it in our boxes, that would be phenomenal. I'm going to go ahead and name him the Spout, just so I don't forget that he does have that egg move. It's really easy to forget that on these kind of Pokemon, and then let them just whittle away in your PC, like poof into nothingness. Let's go ahead and grab him in my box, or grab him in my party, and see what breeders I have for him. All right, I have a ton of different Dittos for this thing. I have this one that is 26 Patak and Modest, but I don't want to use this yet because I won't be able to get both the 31 speed and the nature. So we're going to save that for a little bit here. We have this one, which is 31 speed, 27 plus Patak. I think I'm just going for decent enough Spatak while also having the IV. And I think these are going to be the two Dittos I end up actually using. I'm going to end up saving this Ditto, I think, the Modest one with 31 speed. We just don't need that for this breed, and I'll show you guys why. You always want to, try to save the breeds where you can, but also don't skimp too much, right? So I'm going to buy, I think 2 power anklets is what I'll need for this entire breed. Let's go ahead and grab that. We'll need at least 1 Everstone, I believe. And we're just going to be rolling up the Spatak here. I'm going to go ahead and power brace this. Yep, this Ditto. Am I doing anything on the Squirtle? I don't think so. I think I'm just letting him do whatever he wants to do. Let's go see what this breed looks like. Boom, boom, just like this. 31 speed, 21 to 27 Spatak. We don't need to make this any roll because we're using Dittos for this breed entirely pretty much. Water Spout is on it. That's important. We're going to go ahead and click breed and go through this. I'll see you guys with the hatch. Then once this hatches, I should be able to... So I'm going to go ahead and do it. Speed Brace... no, sorry. Everstone, this Ditto. Speed Brace, the Squirtle. So that'll be 31 speed, 26-ish special attack, and then Modest nature. It's going to give us the perfect Blastoise we need. Pretty darn simple breed. I mean, it takes a while, a lot of time, a lot of breed. I keep saying pretty simple breed, but it's funny. I keep saying pretty simple breed. This took like 6 different, if not more, breeds. This was not a simple breed. I keep saying simple breed. I had to get a specific Remoraid, a specific Wailmer just to get the egg move on it, and then I think it just feels simple because I had all the resources aside from the Remoraids, Wailmer, which that it feels simple because of that, because I had the Pokemon left over to do it. But this took multiple hours. This took like 2 hours. What am I sitting here saying simple breed for? I gotta kind of learn that terminology. It's kind of funny out of my brain. Like get rid of that habit, because I don't want to imply that things are simple when they might actually be difficult, and it's okay to say when something is difficult. I think a lot of times we're gonna get into more philosophy, because I think a lot of times gamers are scared to say, or like don't know how to admit that something was difficult or is difficult, or rather, once you learn something, it feels easy to you, so therefore you say that it's easy when in reality it's difficult. One of the big comparisons I always give for this is the boss Zulrah in Old School RuneScape, if you're familiar, or even like fight caves actually. Like Fire Cape, I think a lot more people might be familiar with the Fire Cape in Old School RuneScape. The Fire Cape is easy once you learn it, right? But learning the Fire Cape is really hard. It's a huge overcoming step, right? Once you get that first Fire Cape done, doing more afterwards is pretty easy, honestly. Like doing it again, it really just comes down to nerves and like just not getting too nervous, right? That's mostly what the Fire Cape is. But your first time when you're so nervous, you're learning what all the mobs are, what attacks they do, where they spawn, when they spawn, following the wave list guide, right? Being scared of Jad, like learning the reactions, learning what to do. It's really terrible. Learning where Jad spawns. Jad's spawn location was one of the scariest things like back in the day. It's really, really tough, man. Like learning the Fire Cape is really, really difficult. I shouldn't say really, really, but learning the Fire Cape is tough. I think that's okay to say. But I think people in RuneScape do respect that. But then with things like Zulrah, they'll be like, oh yeah, Zulrah is so easy. Well, Zulrah is easy once you learn it, but learning it's tough, man. I think that happens a lot in video games in general, because I think people have been told their entire lives, video games are just a game. They're just some silly little thing that people do to pass the time. And that was the same way for sports, for football, for cricket, for baseball way back in the day, before things like the NFL existed, before the Major League Baseball, like before before sports became a professional thing. They were just a fun thing people did in their backyard. And and they were seen, I'm guessing, I didn't live then, but I'm guessing they were seen as the same way as video games are. But for some reason, we look at video games in a very different, we demean and we belittle video games in a very different way than what we do sports. I think it's interesting. Or versus like chess, or like it's funny, certain activities are seen as, oh, you're very smart for playing chess, or it's a good use of time, versus like something like PokeMMO, which uses math and patience and endurance and time and strategy and all these things. It's not really seen as that, even though it logically should be. We let these like social norms cloud our own enjoyment and our own perspectives of what we're doing. And when I say we, I'm including myself in that picture. Sometimes I doubt, and sometimes I like have these, I feel like a little bit of shame for playing video games, and that's silly. As long as you're not, as long as you're going to work and getting your stuff done, don't get me wrong, like video game addiction is a thing, but as long as you're showering, spending time with loved ones, going to work, going to school, whatever it is, as long as you're doing that stuff, what's wrong with playing some games? What's wrong with spending your life and with the time that you enjoy and using the time that you enjoy to do the things that you enjoy? That's called chasing your categorical desires, which is something that most philosophers agree is the meaning of life. I could rant about categorical desires all day. I think it's one of the most interesting topics. If you want to learn more about it, just Google it. It's basically it's just a fancy word for like passions, hobbies, interests, things like that. But anyways, out of the philosophy mumbo jumbo, there is our Squirtle hatch. Let's go ahead and go grab that from our PC. We can plop the speed bracelet on him, head over to the old man. Thanks for helping us out yet again, fellow with the balding spots. We're going to see 25-ish special attack. Would love to see a high roll here. I really want it to be 25 plus. If it's 24, that would suck a little bit, but it is what it is. I'm going to put this sucker in a luxury ball. This is a complete water spout Blastoise here that I will be EV training in the future. Luxury ball, 31 speed, 25 attack, water spout, modest nature. That's a beautiful PVM Pokemon right there. And I think while that's hatching, it's to give us the perfect time to go ahead and do our little outro and appreciate what we achieved in this episode, because I don't even know if I remember fully what we achieved. I think it was a lot more than I realized. I'm feeling like I didn't do enough in this episode, but that may not logically be the case, and I want to make sure I double check that. That's the point of these Iron Man goals lists. And first things first, we can knock off some of the raid Pokemon that are like PVM Mons that I wanted to make in this episode. We went ahead and just made a Water Spout Blastoise, and we got a Crawdaunt made. We can go ahead and delete that, and a Magnezone. This isn't even my main goals list, and a Water Spout Blastoise. That's 3 amazing PVM Pokemon created in this episode. And now we can get over to our actual goals. First things first, I did farm 14 Amulet coins in this episode, setting me up for 2 more weeks of gym reruns. And it took an extremely long time. If you recall, my luck on that was terrible at the start of the episode. I didn't actually use that many Amulet coins in this episode. That's the only bummer there. Only 3 of them ended up getting used. Now, I don't believe I farmed any Everstones in this episode, and I didn't XP train for 5 hours, maybe like an hour or 2 total. I honestly did very, very little XP training in this episode. 3 new good IV Pokemon, I for sure achieved that. Did not win 10 PvP games, and I did farm Apricorns. However, you know what? I don't think I farmed enough. So you know what? I'm actually going to go do another batch after doing these goals to make sure I go farm enough to actually consider this a completed goal. And this is going to be a repeatable thing where I start doing like, here, you know what? I'm going to call this, actually, I'm going to not consider this a completed goal in this episode because I don't think I earned it. I only did 1 batch. I don't think it's enough. I don't think I did enough to deserve this to be considered a completed goal. We're going to do 3 Apricorn runs. Repeatable. That's what we're going to call this from this point forward if we want to complete that goal moving forward. A lot of our goals are becoming repeatable, but that's the reality of the account. It's a grindy long-term thing. You want to be doing a lot of these things and looking towards that small progression and not constantly looking for giant goals, because otherwise we're going to reach a point where we're not completing any goals at all throughout the episode. I'd rather have the small goals be stepping stones towards those larger ones. Next up though, these all 3 obviously got completed. These were added, because they are huge goals and they all are completed. So that is, boom, we can smack all of those off the list. That's pretty crazy to see. Now on to our tier 2 goals, and this is where things start getting exciting. Earn 1 ability patch. I am so happy to say that we completed our first Pokedex and got our first ability patch in this episode. That honestly, I think that is so freaking cool. And we are actually criminally close to 500 Kanto in the Pokedex. That's our next milestone goal. We are definitely going to achieve that next episode, as I will definitely focus on that and maybe looking to make some more raid Pokemon, some high dragons, going for that Archon breed would be a huge one. And then defeat Ho-Oh 4 times. We did do in this episode. This was the 4th one, I believe. Let's go check our instance info. It's actually ready again, 16 hours. We defeated Ho-Oh for the 4th time today, and we have a few 6 legendary lures stocked up for when the legendaries rotate around, which happens tomorrow at the time of recording. And using a website that I actually haven't had the chance to show off yet in a video called PokeMMO.info, we can actually scroll down and see that right now we're in August. It's Moltres and Suicune in the wild, which I don't really care about. Next month is Articuno and Raikou, and I probably will try to go for that Raikou. But what I'm really looking forward to is honestly October, try to get myself an Entei for the Fire Raid team. That would be phenomenal. Maybe even a second Zapdos, which is kind of funny, but I think I'll have too much going on in October. I still need to complete my entire Pokedex before event season rolls around in October. Complete my entire Pokedex, get every single PVM, every single raid Pokemon I could possibly need, and then also EV train and XP train all of them. So we have a lot more to do in the next about month and a half. I've been saying for a while that I started preparing so early and how important that was, but the time is kind of disappearing very quickly, and I think if I started preparing any later, I don't know if I would have gotten everything done in time. Also, quick note, our egg did hatch. So you guys already know how it was coming out, but the special attack, we did medium roll. We got 25 special attack, 31 speed, modest nature, just so you guys can see that. We're going to go ahead and go grab that and throw that over in our comps box to train next episode. We have a lot more Mons than I realized over in our comps box, dude. Wow. But anyways, the point was we did defeat Ho-Oh, and I went ahead and completed that goal, and then I changed it to 10 times. So we will upgrade that goal for the future. And then consume 60 Pokemon via breeds. I know that I did at least, I think 45 or 50 Pokemon via rare breeds. I think I did do this episode. That's a tougher one to calculate. I might be a little off. There's been times in the past where I didn't think I had quite done it, but it is a repeatable goal as well. We're going to go ahead and copy that. I think I did complete this goal just barely this time. Once again, kind of a tough one to track, but I did about 50 or so rare breeds, and all the breeds I did for Pokedex entries and for other things in this episode, I think I cleared it, to be honest. Still no secret base work, still no synchronized Pokemon leveled up, and then a balanced team is not quite created, but I have a lot of pieces. You know what? I wasn't planning on going for Articuno as well. Articuno comes back, I believe, next month, but it's kind of tempting because that would get me the each legendary bird achievement, which I actually really want to do. Obviously, it'd be a really cool thing. If you have each legendary bird, you never really need to hunt them again. Will I ever really need Articuno for anything? Probably not, but would it be cool to have the collection on an Ironman account? Absolutely. We are also getting our way up to 50 gym reruns. That's a tier 3, like very long-term goal. I think I have about 30 or something done so far, about 34 or so. Yeah, 35 total gym reruns at the moment. That is slowly trickling its way up there. All right, so I have my completed list of goals totally marked down. And before I show you guys that, I need to remind you that I thought that I didn't do that much. I didn't feel great about this episode, and this is a sentiment that I constantly push on my channel, is that we are working so hard right now. I feel like so many people in the current time frame, the current spectrum, the current social zeitgeist of life, right? We are working so hard, and we don't always write down what we do. We don't always realize how hard we're working. We worked so hard and then we feel so bad. And I think it's really important. Let the Iron Man series be a reminder to maybe write down some things. Note what you did today. You probably did more than you realized. You're probably doing better than you realize. You're probably doing a great job, in my opinion. So let's go check it. 14 Amulet coins farmed, 3 new good IV Pokemon, a competitive Magnezone, a competitive Crawdaunt, a Water Spout Blast. That's 3 PVM Pokemon right there off the bat, plus more that I don't think I even tracked. Wasn't my Dratini bred this episode as well? As was my Rhyperior and my Magmoarter. Like, I bred many different PVM and PvP Pokemon. Now, the Magmoarter and the Rhyperior, the Magmoarter's too niche. I'm not going to track that. But you know what? I am going to add the Rhyperior. We're going to put Raid Rhyperior because that has been meta in very niche instances. And then I am going to write down the PvP Dragonite. So we even have more goals than I realized. This is so many things, man. This is so many things achieved. This is so much hours of time put into this game, knocking things off my list. And sometimes you just forget how much it takes to knock those things off that list because you just get so used to knocking things off the list. I've always said that I think acclimation is both humans' greatest strength and humans' greatest weaknesses. It makes us get used to things when times are bad, but also get used to things when times are good and not appreciate those good times as much as we should. But back to our goals. Water Spout Blastoise, the ability patch, like that's a massive goal in itself. If this whole episode was just getting this, I would honestly be happy. Defeating the Ho-Oh. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 goals achieved. When was the last episode where we had 10 goals achieved? That is insane. And since I didn't shout it out at the beginning like I normally do, we are also up to 1 million Pokeyen, almost 25,000 encounters, 714 hours played, 27,000 BP still we still have to spend, 492 caught OT in the Pokedex, and now 16 episodes achieved on the Iron Man account. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as I did making it. Like the video if you did, subscribe to the channel if you want to see daily PokeMMO videos. I do upload every single day. Follow me on Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday generally, but I have been pulling back a bit and trying to do a little bit more creative content and focus on guides. So usually streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET on Twitch, but it's a little bit up in the air. If you want to see when I'm live, the best way is to sign up to my Discord and go over to the Patrowski live chat and sign up for the role there. You should be able to sign up for whatever roles you want in my Discord as well, and you get alerts for things like Alpha Swarms and Phenos if you're trying to complete your Pokedex like I just did or am working towards on the Iron Man account. If you want to join the community, Discord link is always down below. And if you want to go above and beyond and support my content, support my channel, really allow me to be here, you guys make it possible. YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, PayPal and Venmo donations, as well as Factor. The best way to support my channel by far is signing up for Factor. It's a meal kit delivery service where they send you these chef-made meals that are nutrient dense. I always glaze that I love their vegetables. They season the hell out of their vegetables. Their vegetables are so good. The green beans covered in amazing pepper and salt and whatever seasonings they're putting on, it's so fucking good. Garlic powder, it's phenomenal. Check out Factor, link in the description. You get 50% off your first box, which at that price, oh my, it's hard to go wrong, right? 50% off of food in this economy, man. That's a great deal in my opinion. And if you don't want to continue, if you find out it's not for you, you can go ahead and cancel after your first week. But it is the best way to support me. Factor is very generous. I am super, lucky to be able to partner up with them. It's a company that I believe in. I always say, me and my wife used Factor before we were ever even sponsored by them. So it's truly a product I believe in. I turned down 99% out of all of my sponsors, and I chose to take Factor, which is showing something. So check out Factor, link in the description. 50% off, plus it's the best way to support me. Just thank you so very much for watching. I'm so lucky to wake up every single day and play some goddamn PokeMMO and just enjoy myself and upload these silly little videos, and I'm so glad this game is where it's at, man. It has grown so much over the past 4 years, and it's an honor to be here. Thank you again. Have a great day. Play PokeMMO or whatever games you're having fun with today. Feel free to take that break before the upcoming event season, but for now, I will see you guys later shortly. Peace, Reno. Yo, what's up? Outro Petrowski here, and I wanted to take this time to say thank you to everyone who goes above and beyond and supports my channel. Your names are all listed here. You make it possible for me to make helpful and mildly entertaining content for the game that I love and make it available for free for everyone to enjoy. Thank you so much for allowing me to even be here.